Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joe Moran and I'm here with River Brown, RJ Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 230. In this episode, we are joined from West from Six Man YouTube to talk about KD calling out teammates, the Celtics Cavs losing streak, if the Warriors should bench Klay, the Kings playoff hopes, and more. Shout out to you for being on the show, Wes. We appreciate you and your time.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to it.
10:30 a.m. Australia time.
Right now,
Nice
Wes
dedication.
is in Australia.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 a.m. That's why in the back we have the Josh Giddey jersey to represent for Australia right
Of
here.
course.
You gotta have it.
You're right there?
Yeah,
what's going on with your
when
hands?
it's really cold outside, my hand gets white.
Yeah, your hand is shockingly
Really
white.
fucking white, bro. It's
Yeah, that one's a little bit more white than the other.
Yeah, it's like.
Is this
damn.
new?
No, this is something.
Oh,
But just I didn't.
you
feel
just
like
look
it was-
surprised.
I didn't feel like it was that cold when I was outside. I was only outside for like 32 seconds.
It is cold
chilly.
outside, bro.
But 32 seconds.
Seasons are changing.
Yeah, winter.
It's dark outside right now. Daylight
Yeah.
savings. It's 5 p.m. and it looks like it's
This is
10.
the last year with daylight savings.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
How can you just remove daylight savings?
That's it. They're cutting it
Don't
off.
ask me.
What do you mean?
That's
They're
it.
getting rid of
Once
it.
they,
Who's
yeah,
they?
once you spring
The
forward,
government? I don't know.
we're not gonna spring back. We're not gonna fall back anymore.
What shit is that?
I'm lit.
How do you just randomly decide to get like to? All right, whatever. I
It
don't
seems like
Because
the
there's already
universe
some
thing.
places that don't like do daylight savings
care. That's
time.
what makes it different. That's why it makes America different.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm tired.
That's
of it.
gonna suck. That one time in the year where I get to sleep an hour in is not gonna be there anymore.
Nope.
That used to be lit when you
Shit.
work on daylight saving. You get a little
So now-
extra hour.
yeah. Now the latest that it's gonna get dark out is gonna be 5:30. The earliest, I guess.
I mean, it was dark at 5 o'clock today.
It was pitch black over by my
Yeah,
crib.
pitch black at 5
sure.
o'clock.
It's ass.
It looked like it was night already.
So ass.
For those of you listening and are watching right now, we have a special announcement to make. We have partnered with Playback TV. That's where you can watch live streams and games with us on the website and the application. All you have to do is make an account and sign into your TV provider. We're going to be doing a live stream of a game every single Tuesday, primarily for the primetime games that are on for the NBA. But if the game is trash, we'll flip back and forth to a better one. So for those of you guys, if you guys are interested in watching games with us, Playback TV, the link is going to be in our description. Let's get on to the show because Kevin Durant made some comments, and I feel like we should hone in on this first because
Oh, okay.
it's
You
big time
shit
news.
out of me.
Kevin Durant, in an exclusive interview with Chris Haynes, said, "Look at our starting lineup: Edmund Summer, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Claxton, and me. It's not disrespectful, but what are you expecting from that group?" What do you have to say about the comments that KD made?
Well, to be fair, in the interview, he did say some good things. You know, he did talk about how him being a leader, him setting an example for the young players. So it's not all bad. He did have some good some good thoughts into the interview. But damn, those comments right there, that shit was crazy. I mean, like,
Did
just
you like it or no?
I understand, but I feel like there's a way to go about it. I feel like he didn't have to say that in the interview. He didn't
What's
have to
wrong
say
with
that out
keeping
loud.
it a stack?
I just feel like when you're a leader of the team, like when you're the leader of the franchise, leader of the team, calling out your players and like basically telling the world that your players are trash. It's something like even like if you even go back, like Westbrook never did that and he had a bad
Facts.
roster. Steph
Not
never
as
did
bad
it.
as this one.
This
This starting lineup,
OKC
Steven
team was
Adams,
not good.
Andre
Victor
Roberson.
Oladipo, Steven Adams is
Yeah.
better than any two that the Nets have right now.
I
With KD.
I really don't know about that.
What do you mean? Who's better, Nick Claxton or Steven Adams?
That's a toss up.
It's not a
Nah,
toss-up.
it's Steven
It's not a toss-up.
Really not okay. Not by that much. I'm just
Victor
gonna be honest.
Oladipo's better than Joe Harris, O'Neal, and Edmund Summer.
Victor
Easily.
Oladipo can't shoot, so the spacing is garbage.
He shot 35% from three that year.
Come on, stop. Like,
That's an average three-point shooter, though. He was a good player. He averaged 16 that year.
They started Andre Roberson. Come on, what are we doing here?
He
Like,
was a
let's-
great
defensive
defender.
pest.
They couldn't score, and he was Matisse Thybulle
couldn't.
without a game plan.
And they had Taj Gibson.
Oh my God, this guy's still.
Just go.
Bro,
Let's talk
that
about
Ross
Kevin Durant.
that Ross is better than this
They're
current
both
Nets starting
not good
lineup.
rosters.
They're both not
Yeah.
good. LeBron's.
Are we
had-
talking about with or without Kyrie?
Without, of course.
So Kyrie's about to be out
even
right
with
now.
Kyrie.
Well, I'm talking
Coming
about
back
what's
right
out
now.
here right now.
It's
This
just-
starting
it's-
lineup.
It's the same roster, and even
No,
then, you
it's
still
not.
don't call out your teammates. There's a way to go about things. I understand Kevin Durant doesn't have help right now. I get that point. You know, he's out there, he's doing his thing, but you don't go out there in an interview and call out your teammates. Mind you, Royce O'Neal just hit the game winner last night. Same guys you called out. You don't go out and you call out your team, especially as a leader. But you know, Kevin Durant has never kind of like over the past couple of years shown that leadership ability, that leadership role, and he's won it out of Brooklyn. You know, he even said, and I understand this part when he said, if all 5 of us play like trash, who are they going to point to? Me. That is indeed correct. You are the best player on the team.
That's what you did.
It happens to every superstar in NBA history. You don't get, there isn't we're just going to pick on Kevin Durant. No, this has happened to everybody. So this isn't just a you thing. But I do think there's a certain way to go about things, and he could have kept that part out. He could have went about it a different way.
Wes, what do you think about KD right now?
I mean,
comments.
something you can't really say. I respect the fact that he's always, he'll speak his mind pretty much all the time, which sometimes to his detriment. Like in this case where it could have been fine if he just said, they're going to put all the blame on me, and kind of insinuated that he was saying his teammates were trash. But to literally name them is kind of a different level of disrespect that I haven't heard before. So you can't blame him though, because you know who's attempting the second most shots outside of Kyrie Irving and KD? It's Royce O'Neal. He was the 5th best starter on the Utah Jazz. He was their 7th option. Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson were better than him off the bench. And now he's putting up triple doubles, which respect to him. He put up a triple double and they won. But if he's attempting the 2nd most shots on your team, that's just bad. That's just bad. I don't know what else to say. But you just can't publicly say it like that. It's a bit too honest sometimes.
They traded a 1st-round pick for Royce O'Neal. They better utilize the hell out of him.
I mean, they don't have any other choice, let's be honest.
So there's 2 parts to this that I want to talk about. The first part is how I can respect KD for being very open and transparent. He kept it a stack. He said, this team is not good. Let's just be honest. Without Kyrie, what expectations can you truly have? The only expectation you can have is that I'm Kevin Durant, and because I'm on the court, you expect us to be better than we actually can be. Now, I can respect him being honest in that sense, but in another sense, my competitive side comes out, and I don't appreciate that sentiment because you're Kevin Durant. You understand that you're on the upper echelon of players in the history of the game. You're treated differently like you alluded to. So that's the only part about me that doesn't love this. Another part about this. I want to feel bad for Kevin, right? But how can I when he is the one who decided to go to Brooklyn? He's the one that in the offseason, he said, and that's another thing that he alluded to. It wasn't because that he was running from the grind. It was more so he wanted someone to put pressure on him. He wanted someone to be on his ass when he's not at 100%.
He said, I asked for a trade because I didn't want to get all the blame.
No, that's not what he said in the interview. No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, he was saying he wanted to be pushed, but to go back, why didn't he get pushed? Look at the head coach. And that's who chose the head coach. It wasn't fucking Edmund Summers,
that's
right?
A fact. KD's going to Steve Nash. He's like, yo, let's work on this. Let's practice a little bit harder. KD was actually being adamant. He was trying to put himself in a position where he was going to be forced to work harder. And if it meant that the coach was going to be on him to motivate the guys around him, he was fine with that. So I appreciate KD's statements to a degree in this sense. But again, like I'm alluding to, I cannot feel bad overly because Kevin Durant decided, I want to go to Brooklyn. I want to be the guy. I don't want to be in Golden State anymore. I don't want anyone questioning my legacy. I'm going to go to Brooklyn. I'm going to bring a championship to a franchise that's never had one before. And now you got to reap what you sow, and that's unfortunately the truth.
Go ahead.
I'm siding with KD here.
Of course you
pretty
are.
easily.
That's fine. And listen, it
know,
was cool of him.
This
it was
thing,
cool, but
the only thing that got traction from that interview was that quote. But other than that quote, the interview was open, was honest, was insightful, and it made me root for Kevin Durant. Directly after the quote, he said,
exactly. What the fuck?
After that quote, he said, I'm really having a good time. I wish y'all could hear me talking during the game. If I got mic'd up more, people would stop asking me if I'm happy or not. I'm enjoying every moment I get to step on the court, and part of it is because I tore my Achilles and the pandemic. I didn't know if we were going to play again. I didn't know if I was going to play again. There's definitely a heightened gratefulness for basketball for Kevin Durant, as you can hear in that quote. And in the interview, he talked about more than just a starting lineup. He talked about how he requested a trade for basketball reasons.
Correct.
He didn't like how they were preparing the shooting rounds. He wanted to practice more, but Steve Nash wouldn't. And he does feel like Jacque Vaughn has instilled that in the team currently. And they're 5-3 without Kyrie Irving. They have some solid wins. I know they got blown out by the Kings, but
and the Lakers. Don't forget about that. We beat them too.
I guess. But the Kings are actually a good team. Kevin Durant just wants to be respected as a team in the basketball world. And it's funny because he spoke out about how critics say he's not a leader, and they talk about his legacy and how he views it. And he talked about how the way he views his legacy is what he can teach Cam Thomas and younger players coming up in the league to get them prepared for the NBA. I want to make this point because when we talk about players and their legacy, we often individualize it and totally take away the team aspect of the game into it. When KD had a historic Game 7 against Milwaukee Bucks, the most points in Game 7 history, all people say is he choked in overtime. That's what Riv said.
He did.
Nobody talks about the team and how the entire team let him down.
I'm just trying to figure out how he just completely forgot that I said he was amazing for 4 quarters and didn't score in the OT. But, go
Thank
off.
you. God.
People make it individual, and they totally disregard the circumstances a player like Kevin Durant has had to go through. The point is that if you just can't please everybody. If he stays quiet and he doesn't complain about the situation, then people will hold everything that's happening him against him. If he speaks out, he's now not a leader and he's a bad teammate. Although it looks like the Nets teammates, they love him. And people that want to say he's not a leader for not talking to Kyrie and getting him on the same page, what can you do with Kyrie? Kyrie has his own individual beliefs. He has his own stance and his views on things. Just man to man as a person, if you believe in something, I'm not going to try to change your beliefs. What Kyrie's standing on right now those are his beliefs. So I don't think KD should get the bulk of the blame for that. And he's been the most available player for the Nets. And nobody ever talks about Sean Marks and how at a time Sean Marks was viewed as a good GM. But you see teams like the Miami Heat, they always find a way to find gems. Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Omer Yurtseven, guys like that, Gabe Vincent. Who have the Nets been able to find? They let go of Bruce.
Cam Thomas.
Oh my god!
Put some respect on Yuta.
That's
some respect on Yuta.
It's just funny because they let go of Bruce Brown, who quite literally is perfect for this current Nets team. They need a guy like that on this team. There was the 2021 offseason. What was their big splash for agency, which at the time I understand that people thought it was good, but revisionist history tells us something different. Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty Mills. They brought in a bunch of washed players that didn't contribute at all, and Sean Marks has not been able to find the talent to complement this roster, and that's why it's KD, Kyrie, half of Ben Simmons, and then everybody else.
Let me say this really quick, because we forget that the Nets did put together a very solid roster prior to KD and Kyrie coming into town. Mm-hmm. You had Spencer Dinwiddie. You had Karis LeVert. You had Jared Allen. You had D'Lo come into a situation where he was traded to you guys and his name was thrown to the mud and he ended up exceeding expectations with the Brooklyn Nets. We forget that they put together a very good roster. Joe Harris, add him to the list as well. They put together a very solid roster. KD and Kyrie join. The point of no return was the Harden trade. And if Harden, Kyrie, and KD stay healthy, we're looking at Sean Marks and we're treating him like one of the best GMs in the league because that was a power move. The unfortunate part of it was that they weren't all available at the same time. But when they played together, they were 16-3. The Harden trade was the point where you have to look at the Nets and understand that that's where the franchise took the biggest hit. And I'm sure we all understand that. But let's not forget what he did to get the Nets into that position where KD and Kyrie were even interested in joining in the first place. They had a solid foundation. They were a playoff team when no one thought that they could be. KD and Kyrie comes, the entire landscape changes. The Harden trade ended up changing the landscape of things. But that was supposed to be the move that put them over the top. If they're all healthy, we all can sit here and agree that that's a championship squad.
Sean Marks at a point in time was a good GM who was good at finding rare gem talents. It doesn't look like it now, though. It definitely doesn't look like it now.
But he's kind of handcuffed right now because all your money's allocated to 3 players, essentially. Who really can you go and get in free agency for minimal coin that's going to be solid?
Also, comparing them to the Heat is tough.
They could
have
got Otto Porter last offseason.
They did bring in TJ Warren, who hasn't played yet. Like he's a decent signing.
Yeah,
and Seth Curry should be better than
Seth Curry was a solid trade.
Like he was averaging 16 a game last season in Philly, and now he's averaging like 8. I don't think he hit a shot last night. Joe Harris also was like 16 a game. Some of this is unfortunate. At the same time, yeah, he has missed on quite a few plays as well. So like, there's a bit of slack that I'd give him. Like Ben Simmons, we thought he'd be decent he had his first good game, 15 games into the season, and they
great.
won. I think if he was playing like that the entire season, they'd probably be above 500. So there are some things where you can see what they're doing, but yeah, it's just not working out.
Yeah, no, this Nets team is still trying to find its way right now. I mean, you have obviously Kyrie been in and out of the lineup, more out than in over these last couple of weeks. You have Ben Simmons, who hasn't been able to figure out his way. So it's really hard to look at the role players and say why they can't be consistent or why they're struggling when you have the stars or the expected stars and Kyrie, and to a lesser extent Ben Simmons, not performance expectation or in Kyrie's sense, not being at the floor at all. For Kevin Durant's interview with Chris Haynes, I do think there were some positives and negative takeaways. What was kind of ironic in this is at the end of the interview when he's asked about being a leader and how his name is never brought up in that conversation. I understand you can be a leader and bend the truth, right? Everyone looks at this lineup with Edmund Summers and all these guys in here, and Nick Claxton, and we recognize that this is not a championship level starting five. Everyone at this table knows it. Everyone in the league knows it. Kevin Durant does not have to go out in a public interview with Chris Haynes, one of the biggest reporters in the NBA, and call that out. And let what everyone knows, put that on his tape and say, I'm letting you guys know that I don't even believe in this starting five. There's ways to go around that, especially if you compare it to, we talk about all the time, especially with quarterbacks in the NFL, when they go up to the podium after the game, the best leaders don't say, oh, the offensive line played like shit, the wide receivers dropped the ball. The best quarterbacks we look at leaders and say, I got to perform better. I got to, make this play and that play. It's the same thing here with Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, KD's not the reason why they were off to a slow start. He's the only reason why they're winning games. I mean, he's obviously Kevin Durant. He does not have to go out and shit on these players who are still trying to find a way on this team. A couple players that are new, like in Edmund Summers, who didn't have a role, right? Who really got put into this position that no one is really expecting him to. And you have injuries all over the team as well. The good part that kind of surprised me as well was the talk about being, tougher at practice, being held accountable, because all of the talk over the last couple of years was that, they picked Steve Nash. They wanted Steve Nash to be the coach because they didn't think they needed a head coach. They're just too talented to be coached. Kevin Durant is kind of coming out and saying, well, that was more Kyrie than me. That was Kyrie who was saying that we don't need a coach. I still want to be coached hard. I still want to be held accountable. And if I'm screwing up, you let me know when I'm making mistakes. Because right now it looks like Kyrie was the one who made that decision of saying we don't need to be coached. I think looking back on it, it might be a bit more obvious, especially with the way these last couple of years have gone, Kyrie compared to Kevin Durant. We look at Kevin Durant, and if he becomes available, obviously every team's going to be interested. If Kyrie becomes available, there's a million things wrong with Kyrie right now, like not even just, on the court. And the Lakers they're desperate right now. The only reason the Lakers are interested is because they're desperate. They have no way of maneuvering this roster to be a championship contender. If they get Kyrie for a minimum, maybe they could, sneak their way into the playoffs and be a first-round exit. So I did think there was some good and some bad from this interview. Mostly that quote's going to stick out because it should stick out. You shouldn't be saying that about your teammates. I'm not coming on the show being like, yeah, I did a pretty good job, but Riv, Joel, and Drew, I don't know, this got to be better. That I sound like a dickhead like that, right? And I kind of feel the same way about KD. But I'm glad he wants to be held accountable, and that puts a bit of a better light on him.
I mean, you make valid points, but I think one thing about Kevin Durant that is true is that he wants to be in a great basketball situation. The reason why he went from OKC to Golden State is because he wanted to be coached under the best coach in the NBA in Steve Kerr, and he wanted to play team and fluid basketball. He wants to be in a great basketball situation. We all make mistakes. He made a huge one going to Brooklyn. He did not think it was going to be like this, but he does want to be in a great basketball situation, and that's all he cares about, and I believe that.
Could have gone to the Celtics. That was a great basketball situation.
Brad Stevens is a hell of a coach. Trade from right now. Trade Jalen Brown.
Why would we trade anybody right now?
Yo, bro, I'll never forget this interview. This post game just popped up into my brain. It was during the Westbrook season. He was averaging triple double, and some interviewer, he asked him a question. He was like, "What do you think about your team? Something about how your team not helping you out tonight." He asked it to Steven Adams, I think, and Westbrook just grabbed the mic. He was like, "Nope, don't put this on him. This is a team thing. This is a us thing. Don't put that on him. Whatever we do as a team. We do together." And it just like that just popped in my head because it just reminded me like you defending him is hilarious. It truly is indeed.
Well, he's got to ride with the Nets.
Yeah, it's truly indeed.
No, I think he was being honest.
No, I think it's
He's
funny
already
because
you
asked for a trade.
You could be honest, but
you could be honest, but not be like you can be real. Like it was wrong,
bro. KD has been bought out on the Nets already since the offseason. He asked for a trade.
Yes.
If he was bought in, this is a different conversation.
Whether he's bought in or not, you don't name drop the other 4 guys on the roster with
It was ugly.
Regardless of
It was
what
ugly.
regardless of if you
was
know
it
they're
real?
trash, you don't name drop them.
You can
at all.
acknowledge that it was real as hell,
real.
but you can also
There's
acknowledge
a way to go
There's a
about
better,
that.
it
much
was
better way to go about
an
it.
ugly way.
Not if he wants
putting
out of
things.
Brooklyn, which is what he's wanted in the offseason.
doesn't
If
make
he
it right.
wants it,
That
but
was an asshole
don't be
move.
that much of a diva where you're calling out your own teammates. If you really want nothing to
won
do
the
with
next
Brooklyn,
game.
just sit out.
It worked. They won the next game.
They won the next game. Like
What are you
that's
talking-
such
against
a,
Portland.
It's
Portland
such
was
a, it's
one of the
short,
best
it's a
teams in the
short-sighted
West.
view, though. We won the next game. It's a short-sighted view. Be
If
like,
you-
well, we
if
just
you-
won one
if-
game.
if you
If they
call-
go,
Yeah,
if
this
they go
is
win
crazy.
10 in
Bro,
a
bro,
row, okay.
If you call us out on the show, and the next show does 1 million views, thanks, Joe. I appreciate you.
No, he's
They
still an
won the
asshole.
game.
He's still undoubtedly
I'm
an
still
asshole.
an asshole, and if the 10 shows after that get 3K, we're gonna be like, oh, well, maybe this isn't
Well,
sustainable.
you started the buzz. You know what I'm saying?
But eventually the
KD's
buzz is
starting
gonna
to-
die.
KD's starting the
This ain't-
motivation. Now
This
Kyrie's
wasn't
coming back.
This wasn't
Ben
no
Simmons playing
motivation.
better.
Wasn't,
This
no.
wasn't a motivation thing. This was just him being an asshole and calling out his teammates.
He could do that behind closed doors. They have a players only meeting. He said, you guys could play better. I want you to do X, Y, and Z. That's fine. The stuff that media doesn't see, fans don't see, but don't go out and report this. You know it's going to be all over Bleacher Report, ESPN the next day on everybody's Instagram and Twitter. It's going to make you look like the bad guy. I think Kevin Durant has to know that.
So you'd rather him say that this group can win a championship?
I'd rather him just not name drop. Just don't name drop guys. That's
But in the
into the trash.
context of what he was talking about, it's not that he was saying they sucked. It was just like, what are you expecting from this group?
He doesn't
like,
have to say we're going to win a
expecting-
championship, but he can say, you know what? I have confidence in my guys. We still have a long way to go.
He don't
but it's
even have.
November.
He don't even
But
have
it
to say all
seems, it
that.
seems like
That's
he's
all you have
having
to say.
all-time great performances, and they're losing.
The best way
No,
to put
that's-
it is like this. In 2018, right? It was who? Grant Hill, J.R. Smith, LeBron James,
Grant Hill.
Kevin Love.
George Hill?
That's what I meant. I
Hill.
apologize. Honest mistake. George Hill, thank you. Tristan Thompson. Right. The expectation wasn't that they were supposed to go to the finals, but you would not catch LeBron dead saying that.
Because they're
But they
that,
did-
They're that deep in already, though.
No. They're just two.
K-
It's just,
KD
one's a
didn't-
leader and one's not.
KD didn't say this when he was in the playoffs facing Milwaukee with nobody.
As he shouldn't.
But he doesn't get a pat on the back for that.
You're not supposed to
I'm
say
not saying
that.
gets it. I'm just saying right now it's understandable because he's already asked out of Brooklyn. He's not bought in. If he is bought into Brooklyn and he is devoted to this team, it's a different.
But
It
don't call out your
matter.
teammate.
No
You
matter
can do
if you're bought
anything,
in or
but don't
not,
call
you
out
don't
your
call that
teammates.
Bro,
The
if I
guys are going out.
if I don't want to be your teammate anymore, I'll call you out.
No, you won't.
Yes.
No, you won't.
If
No, you
KD
won't.
obviously doesn't want to be in Brooklyn no more.
That doesn't mean you call out your teammates. It's not their fault you're there. It's not their fault that you don't want out. It's not. It's the front row. You call out the FO. You don't call out the players that go into war with you every night. You don't do that.
By technically calling out the players, you are calling out the FO.
I guess. I mean,
But
you don't call out the dudes that's going to war. They just went to war with him last night. Like they just went to war. That's what I'm saying. You don't call out
You're
the
in the
players.
locker room every day
Like you're in the
together,
locker room.
you're going-
You practice with them. They following you. You gonna call out the dudes that's following you every night,
The reason why I had no problem with that is because I feel like KD has said it to their face 100 times.
which is fine.
But
Nobody's saying
if
that.
he can say it to
and
the
he
media,
can.
he'll say it to them.
That's
He's just
not
being
cool.
real.
But he
Not-
can
that's
say it to
being real.
them. Don't say it to
That's
the
just
media.
it's
You
just
shouldn't
certain
have
things you
to
don't
say
say
it
to
to
We
the
already
media.
know. What he's saying. We already know. But no,
we know
everybody's
that.
saying
We know
what
that.
he's saying.
I agree. We all know that. That's how I started
We're
my
just saying
monologue.
don't say
We
it in the
know
media.
this team
You
is
don't
not a
name drop
championship
the players.
contender. With this starting five, hell
Pause.
no.
We didn't know. We knew.
No, well, no Kyrie
You did
and
not
no.
know
You had
this.
Golden State making the finals.
I did.
Quit it.
And
They're garbage right
nobody's.
now.
But you don't stop saying we knew that they're not a championship team. You didn't think that. You thought this team was D1.
No,
So
I said if everything goes right, yes.
And
Oh my
Yes.
God.
You had them
Yeah.
over
Everything
Boston.
goes right. You did have him over Boston.
Yeah, I didn't know Kyrie's gonna release a film
You had
promoting
to know Kyrie was on
anti-Semitism.
some weird shit.
I
every
didn't know
year.
Kyrie
Ben
does
Simmons
weird
would
shit
be
every
this
year.
bad. I mean, there's a lot of things that factor into it. But point blank, period, the Nets should trade Kevin Durant. They should trade Kyrie. They should
That's
rebuild
fine.
this thing.
That's
I
fine.
agree.
I'm
Should
not
have done
mad
the
at it.
offseason. Should have fired Nash and blew it up in the offseason, but they wanted to run it back one more time, wanted to get a little greedy, and now it's blown up in their face.
I'm all cool with rebuilding. Rebuilding. It don't matter to me.
They did it successfully one time. They can do it again.
The problem is they're just asking for way too fucking much for Kevin Durant.
I mean,
Is there such thing?
In a sense, yes,
Why?
because they're not getting any deals.
It's just hard for a team to justify trading away their entire team and future.
What do you have?
for
That's
Kevin
why the
Durant.
Celtics just trade Jalen Brown.
What's
Why would I do
the
that?
contract? 3 years?
Why
4
mess with
years?
it?
You have 4 years of Kevin Durant?
Possibly a lot of injuries. That's the gamble.
I guess you could say that, but he's been relatively healthy, and when you need him most, he's there in the playoffs.
That's true. But you're pretty much gutting your team to get him.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but you're gutting your team. So now he's going to go back. He's going to go from one situation to another situation. Now he has to backpack because you gutted your
But
team.
likely he'll have a more reliable number 2.
That's true.
A team is not going to gut their roster for KD at this point in time.
I know.
They're just going to trade a lot of picks.
Correct.
That's what's going to happen.
Who was trade for him?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what's going to happen though. Nobody's going to gut their roster for KD at this point, given his age. It's going to be a team that's ready to win now. That's one piece away, and they trade a couple players and picks.
The Suns
for
could do
KD.
it.
No, the Suns?
The Suns could do it.
Who? Ayton and Bridges
No,
and picks?
a ton of picks.
And Ayton Bridges.
Ayton and Bridges.
And then you're just stuck with CP3, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant.
You'll live. And
Okay.
Cam Johnson hopefully he stays.
Oh, they do have to
Jay
pay him.
Crowder would probably be included in that trade because
Yeah,
Jay
he wants
Crowder is
out.
probably
Jay
out.
Crowder, indeed. I forgot
Campaign.
That's okay.
Nobody wants
Campaign
Jay
Loki
Crowder.
needs to stay. Say it again.
Nobody
No,
wants Jay Crowder.
Loki.
At least in
High
Nets,
key.
he just doesn't make sense for them.
No, agreed. But I just feel like in that situation where he wants to get traded, they're making a trade. Throw him in there.
Top 5 MVP ladder. We're going to list our top 5. And I'm curious to see where you guys have each player ranked because NBA just released their MVP ladder.
I was
And it
angry.
feels all over the place. Now, Wes, I'm going to start with you. Your top 5 MVPs this season, 5 to 1.
We starting from the top.
Yes, 5 to 1.
Yeah, starting at 5 to
5 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make clear.
At number 5, I've got SGA. At number 4, Steph Curry. Number 3, Luka. Number 2, Giannis. Number 1, Jason Tatum.
Oh, you don't care about winning
Don't care about winning.
to a degree. Yeah.
That's why I've got Tatum 1.
No, the last two, SGA and Steph.
Yeah, but like Steph's the best player in the league right now. So I'm giving him that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not putting him right up the top. So I feel like if he continues on this pace and there are a few games below 500 or like they finish with 35 wins, I think he'd still be top 5, top 6.
That makes
Because
sense.
he's doing something literally never done before.
So,
But at the same time, they're not winning enough games to be in the
I'm
conversation.
just gonna backpack off what he's saying because I have Curry number 2. I frankly
God
don't
damn.
care.
wait, so hold
that they're
on.
not winning
You don't,
games.
so you don't have Steph in your top 5.
No.
That's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Really?
That's dumb.
Because
I
he's
do.
legitimately the best
that was
player.
wrong.
You have
That is
Giannis,
dumb.
it's
I don't
Curry,
have
the
Steph
rest
in my
is
top
noise.
Who's your top 5?
I have at 5, I had Dame. 4, I have Ja. 3, Giannis.
Ooh.
2, Tatum.
Dame over
1,
Steph?
1, Luka.
Dame?
Bro, Curry, and I don't have to tell you this because you're the biggest Curry fan that we know.
Oh, no,
33,
sweatshirt.
53, 45,
No,
93,
I'm with you.
7 rebounds,
I'm with you.
7 assists, 2
he's
steals.
Been absolutely ridiculous, but winning matters in the MVP race.
It's so early. Like,
And-
even Luka.
Well, I mean, we're doing it. What the fuck?
But I'm
We're
just
doing
it's
this today.
even still like you're expecting Golden State to play well. I'm expecting Giannis has missed some time, and even still, I expect
That's why
him to
Giannis had
still
3.
be.
We're
That's
we're
fine.
talking about a 4-game difference right now.
And also, people.
Yeah, but Portland is first seed,
they are.
and they're
And-
exceeding expectations at the
without a
moment.
doubt.
And
And
Dame has been.
So why didn't you have
pretty
D
great.
Book in your MVP race last year?
What are you talking about?
You didn't have D Book at all in your MVP race last year, and the Suns were first in the West all year
I don't
long.
remember if I had him in my MVP race.
you didn't have Tatum in your MVP race.
I don't remember
That was
if
the
I-
issue.
I don't
You definitely
remember.
didn't
At what
respect
point?
D Book or Chris
Huh?
Paul.
At what point are we talking?
Late in the
I
season.
literally don't know.
Because first half,
Yeah,
obviously. you're
I
not
don't know.
gonna
What
take
the,
them.
No.
I don't know.
But listen,
I don't know.
like I was gonna say, NBA has Luka number 1, and right now they're the 7th seed. So to me, right now, clearly it's skewed in their logic of why this is happening. Yes,
Not
does Luka
necessarily.
have
His
video
numbers are
game numbers?
stupid, yeah.
Absolutely, but the efficiency Curry
No,
is,
Curry's
is showing
I would have him like 6 or 7.
is unbelievable. The only reason why I'll give my list really quick. I have SGA at 5. I have Giannis at 4, solely for the fact that he's missed the most games out of anyone.
That makes sense.
I have Luka at 3, Curry at 2, and Tatum at 1. Tatum's playing on the best team, on the best offense right now, and he's the best player, putting up unbelievable numbers as well. Curry, efficiency-wise, has been the best player
You could
in
say,
the
you
NBA.
technically could say that about Dame. Dame is technically
Dame has
playing
been
on the
fantastic.
best team in the
And,
West. Technically.
Dame has been unbelievable. Dame would be
Yeah.
number 6 for me.
That's fair. I have Steph at 6 or 7.
And what
SGA
Ja's
at
doing,
6,
he's 50, 40, 90 right now.
I have John my 5.
No, I'm sorry, SGA's. I meant to say SGA. 50, 40, 90 right now. Yes, they're not winning games, but even
Yeah.
still,
A lot of my
he's playing the best right
a lot of my
now.
5 are merely winning plus what you're doing. So
You had SGA in your 5?
no. I have SGA and Steph sitting right out my.
So why isn't Tyrese Halliburton in your top 5 then?
That's a good question.
Pacers are winning right now.
And he's on historic pace right now.
He's the only guard averaging a double-double in the NBA.
I don't know why Halliburton is in my top 5 right now. I guarantee he's not in yours either.
He's not, because I don't attribute winning like you're attributing winning right
Well, I
now.
mean, MVP,
But
most of the time wins.
That's why I feel where you're coming from,
Yeah,
but you
that
need.
was just dumb.
But I'm still shocked to hear you not say Curry's in the top 5 when
No.
clearly
Yeah.
it's obvious he's been at minimum a top 2
Even if you don't want to
player.
give him top 3, at least just like I have SGA at 5. I don't think he really,
who's your
really has
top
a real
5?
chance of winning.
Who? Yeah, repeat.
It was Dame, Ja. Sorry, 5 Dame, 4 Ja, 3 Giannis, 2 Tatum, 1 Luka.
Luka's 7 seed.
7 seed matters.
Bro, really though?
7 seed matters.
The difference between Luka and Tatum is that significant, with Tatum being on the number 1 seed Celtics.
I was thinking about putting Tatum at 1, but what Luka's doing with that team, like the difference between Golden State and Dallas is the team with Golden State is just underperforming. I just don't think Dallas is just that good.
I don't disagree.
I think that's the big
The
difference.
7 seed. It's not
7
like
seed
they're the
matters,
first
though.
seed.
I mean,
They're 8 and 6.
Do you want me to take? Do you want me to
They're
take the seeding out?
They're 8 and 6.
If you take the seeding out, then Curry
'Cause I can
needs
flip
to
it.
be
Yeah,
1.
if you want me to take the seeding out, I can flip it. Just put Steph 1.
That's my whole point
It's
of
not
why
because you have
this
Tatum
logic.
1.
But I'm taking both into account of a player playing excellent, which
So
Tatum
then,
is.
how many wins does Boston
Portland
have?
has 10.
Boston has 12.
So let's go, but you don't have Dame in your 5. Because winning isn't that you're not putting that much weight into winning.
Dame is 6, and that's not. I feel like that's not a slight. It's just that
Dame
SJ
is
is playing
5 for me.
slightly better. Curry's playing better.
But
Luka's playing
Dame's team
better.
is winning.
Yes, but is Dame playing better than Jason Tatum?
No,
I
I don't have Dame over Jason Tatum.
Is Dame playing better than Giannis?
No,
Is Dame playing better than Luka?
no,
Is Dame playing better than SGA?
nope.
So then what's the conversation here?
He's playing at a great level. while
Those
winning.
4 guys he had over him.
Except SGA.
So, but you're saying why don't I have
Dame
Dame?
is
I'm
4.
giving you the credit.
Oh, I think at Dame 5.
No, I think 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
5, yeah.
I
So,
think 5.
That's my whole point, though. You're acknowledging to me that these guys are playing better than Damian
The difference
Lillard.
between what we're doing is you're just weighing what they're doing in the number column more than I'm weighing winning. That's the difference.
I'm doing a little bit both because I have
you
Tatum
you
1
have
though.
Dame at 6. I have SGA and Steph at 6 or 7. The only
Do you
difference,
have- do you have
yes,
Steph-
that,
I
I would
didn't
put
know
them
that.
right there. So the only difference with us is I'm valuing what Dame is doing with Portland winning at the moment. It's still early
their
as
team
fuck.
is very solid
No,
as
it's
well.
still early as shit. I
Correct.
agree, but as of today, they're the number 1 seed in the West. You have to put some consideration into that. You're just valuing what they're doing more at an individual level. That's fine. I'm not saying your list is wrong.
I'm
That's
just doing a little bit of both.
yeah, which is understandable. I just value
Still,
MVP.
You like
I
to say
value,
it's
I like winning a
November
little more.
what?
Well, we're doing a fucking MVP ladder as of
just
today, bro.
saying.
Like, what do you
Exactly.
what do you want me to
As
do,
of-
bro?
but
Like,
as of today, seeding is extremely close. Like,
so
them
do you want
being
me to take this? Do you want me to take the seating out and redo the whole thing?
I mean, you don't necessarily.
'cause
I just want a
you want me to do
combination
it.
of the two.
I'm weighing and winning a little bit more.
A little bit. You don't have Curry in your top
That
5.
doesn't mean he's a fucking 13th seed.
So, bro, they're 4 games out of first place.
They're under 500.
I understand, but it's a month into the season.
So what do you want me to
He's
do?
been the best player in
We're
the
doing
league.
MVP ladder as of today. What do you want me to do?
I
I
want
get
you
it's
to-
early.
to-
I get it's early. And I even tweeted yesterday, by January 1st, the Golden State would be a top 5 seed. I tweeted, so I understand it's early. We made a topic about what's going on today. What do you want me to do about it? The seeding is
It's
what it
just
is.
you of all people. I'm shocked.
It's
that
about winning, bro. At the end of the day, it's about winning. I'm sorry. What do you
That's
want me to do?
debatable.
What the fuck do you mean it's debatable?
Russ was what, a top 6 seed? What
He
did
was
they
a top
say?
6
Yeah,
seed.
but
He's
the
average- he did-
triple-double
he's
never-
averaged triple-double
yeah.
for a season.
That's true.
For the whole
53,
season.
53, 45, 93.
He's bugging.
That's right on
He's-
33.
he
7 and
is
7.
bugging.
2 steals.
Last year, Steph was on a elite path. Why was he number 1 ranked? Not because of what he was doing, but it was because of that, and because they were the number 1 seed in the league at the beginning of the year. That's why Steph was the consensus MVP at the time. It's the same concept, bro. It's the same concept. I can't put Steph in my 5. I can't. I love him. I can't.
They were a playing team, and you were putting Steph into
He did
MVP
something historic for the
conversation.
season. He did something historic for the season. If he does this shit for the season, I'll put him in my top 3.
I mean, all right, that's it. And I'm fine
I'll
with that.
put him
I'll
in.
level.
If he does
I'll
this
level.
shit
I'll level.
for the year, I'm gonna put him in
I
there.
won't beat a
But
dead horse. I'll level with you there. But I'm just shocked.
I like your list. I do.
All right, thanks.
'Cause you show SJ some love. I love.
Hey,
I love
We're
he's been crazy.
less than 20 games to this season. I am not accounting for winning that much in my list at all. It's actually top 5 players that I feel like have been performing at MVP level. Number 5 is Giannis. It's 30 and 12, 6 in PER, a stock, a game, a block, and a steal.
Giannis is Giannis.
I have Giannis at 5. Number 4 is Jason Tatum, 31, 7 and 4.
On here.
First in the East, 5th in scoring, 8th in PER.
He said he's not counting winning, so.
Number 3, I do think SGA has been better than Jason Tatum this year. He's been a better player. SGA, 32, 4, 6, 50, 40, 90. He's averaging 1.4 blocks per game as a guard.
Crazy.
Almost 2 steals, and he's third in PER. He's right now, SGA has been playing at the level of Luka and I wouldn't say Steph. Steph's kind of in his own tier right now. Number 2 is Luka. What he's doing, he does this every other year, but this year the usage is taking another step. First in scoring, 7th in assists, first in PER, and when he wasn't on the court for the Rockets game, their starting lineup combined for 27 points in total. Dinwiddie, just by himself, outscored the entire Mavericks starting lineup. That's how valuable Luka is to his team. And number 1 is Steph. 7 30-point games, 2 40-point games, a 50-point game, 33, 7 and 6, 44% from 3. He's easily been the best player in the NBA to me. Are you mad that Tatum's not above it?
It's just funny. It's funny because every time we talk about the Celtics, Joel just finds a way to shit on them one way or another.
Wait, is SGA not playing better than Tatum right now?
All of these guys are playing at elite level. Like, there's a reason
SGA
why
almost beat Shaw by himself.
He didn't.
But he almost did.
But he didn't.
You
cool.
messaged me and said, "Yo, SGA was giving us hell."
Grandmother had balls, she'd be your grandfather.
But look at what
phenomenal.
SGA had versus what Tatum has on his team.
For sure.
And
I
he
mean,
took you out to the
the
wire.
Celtics are obviously the better
But
team.
is
the best
SGA
team in
not
the
playing
NBA
better
right
than
now.
Tatum this year?
They're both playing phenomenal.
Who's playing better?
It's very close.
Who's playing better?
I would take Tatum right now.
He's not playing better than
I would
SGA.
take Tatum. I would take Tatum.
It's close, though.
Defensively, especially.
Yeah,
I mean,
defensive-
he's gonna be
the
an all NBA
defense
defensive
part,
team.
SGA's averaging 2 steals and a block a
Okay.
game.
I know statistically, but in terms of just being a defender, Tatum's bigger, could do some more things, and overall just showed more.
And
defensive.
what's your list, man?
Top 5, all these guys are playing at elite level, like I mentioned. MVP ladder for a reason. And I don't take winning into a ton of account here, but if I have to make some tiebreakers because all these guys are playing so well, 5, I have SGA. He's having a breakout season. He's been one of the best guards in the NBA. 4, Steph Curry. 3, Giannis. 2, Luka. 1, Jason Tatum. I don't know how you want to slice it. 12 wins, 2 more than any team in the NBA right now. First in the East. And you got to remember, this was a team that, coming into the season, you lost Ime Udoka. You don't have Robert Williams.
Facts.
You bring in Malcolm Brogdon, who we had some conversations about. Oh,
He's been amazing.
what if Marcus Smart struggles and Brogdon is a star? What about all the Marcus Smart significantly brought down his turnovers. His assists has been up. Jason Tatum has come and been the clear best player on this team. Well, I don't know what that was. While the number 2 player, Jaylen Brown, has also stepped up his game. Jaylen Brown's averaging 25. I said this could be an All-NBA season for Jaylen Brown.
real new.
He could be there.
He's not gonna
He
be
could be
All-NBA.
there.
He's the same player.
He's averaging 25 a
he could be
game.
there. He's averaging
He's the same
25.
player?
He's averaging 25.
Who would Jaylen Brown make the All-NBA over right now?
Is he not the same player? He's the same player. Like, I don't think he got necessarily better at anything.
He's still not good at dribbling.
That's what I'm saying. He's like the same player, but he's just putting in more
All-NBA team
effort.
means that he's gonna have to be. He's listed as a shooting guard, correct?
Yes.
He's going to have to be better than 3 guards.
I think Steph and Luka locked down first team. Then you got Ja.
SGA's
Trey,
over
God,
Brown.
Is Jaylen Brown going to finish the season better than Brandon Ingram?
Brandon Ingram's a wing, so
True.
Is he going to finish the season better than SGA? Hell no.
Yeah,
Unless
the way
SGA
SGA
gets
is going right
fucking
now,
hurt.
probably not. But right now, the way Tatum's playing,
that's always
is
been
just,
the issue, though.
He's just on he just looks like a different level. He said in the offseason, like, this was the roughest summer he's ever
Tatum?
had as a pro. Yeah,
I'm with you. I got him top 2.
because of that loss to the Warriors. Like, he felt the impact. That interview with Taylor Rooks, where he
Understandable
got
when he
very
plays shit.
honest. Yeah, I mean, like, that's a hard loss, and he said he doesn't want to have that feeling again. He's coming to the season on a different mindset, different level. He looks aggressive.
When you
He's
play like
not
dog
he's
shit.
not complaining about calls
easy.
anymore. He's not, complaining to the ref that he's not getting hit. He's getting back on defense after this. Like, he's made improvements for sure. Already playing borderline MVP level last year. I know he wasn't in the conversation, but he's even improved his game more. I mean, he's career high in points, right? That's not something when you're averaging 27, 28 for multiple years and you take a 4-point leap. That's a significant jump with all the offseason stuff that went in for the Celtics team. First team in the East.
Who's All-NBA? Who deserves All-NBA more, Jaylen Brown or Desmond Bane?
Right now,
That's an excellent question.
I would say Bane.
Bane's hurt, no?
He's missed some games.
Yeah, Bane's out.
What do you think, Wes?
That's a toss up. Jeez, just give me Bane. Why not? Like,
Why do you say
more
Bane?
fun name. Just a more fun name, to be honest. I don't know. It's a 50-50.
I can't be mad at that.
Nah, it really is a toss-up. It really is.
No,
They're
they're
both
both great
averaging
players.
I don't
very
think Desmond
similar.
Bane.
And I know you would. You'll take anyone over a Celtic player. Like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that, buddy.
you'll probably take RJ Barrett over fucking Jalen
shit.
Brown.
Oh, no,
Oh, now I
that's where he
would've
draws the
gone
line.
You know who I'll take over him though?
Who?
SGA.
JB?
Clears.
I can't be bad. SGA is a
Clears.
fucking baller.
We're going to talk about that
And the
later.
would you
I'm
rather, I
interested.
had a very hard time putting JB over SGA.
You know what's even more shocking, and now it just occurred to me? You're wearing a Steph Curry hoodie.
Yeah.
And you ain't have him in your top 5 MVP.
You think this hoodie's about MVPs or championships?
I don't know. You tell me.
Look at the picture.
He
knows.
He was
It's
finals
haunting him
MVP,
right
though.
now.
Yeah, me, you know,
PTSD over
you know
here on
me,
this side.
me and Tatum, chop it up every once in a while. He doesn't care about the MVP. He's told me personally.
He definitely
He told me we don't care about MVPs. He wants rings. That's all he cares about. We have conversations.
Is it disrespectful we don't have Jokic in this conversation?
No, he's not scoring.
No.
He's averaging 28.
He's taking a back seat. He's not interested
The
in winning another one.
MVP ladder had him at 4, so that's why only reason I was curious.
Yeah, right now
I think they're just trying to get in tune.
yeah, he's trying to get Jamal Murray back in rhythm. So he's
For
taking
sure.
a step
That's
back.
obvious.
That's taking some time.
I was getting smoked in fantasy last time I checked. Jokic has not been holding it down.
It's a shame. I am also getting smoked
Your
by
team is
P.
mid in fantasy.
He's
That's
undefeated.
rich.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I almost
Undefeated.
beat him.
You didn't.
You're
a big almost
Yo,
guy.
bro, he didn't. he beat me because I didn't set up my lineup for Monday, bro. That's why John Moran had 40.
On your bench?
Is that my fault?
It was
That's
an
on
accident.
you.
It was an
That's
accident.
on you.
It was an accident.
I'm
I don't
losing to
remember.
P because Bane, Kyrie, Nurkic, Boncaro all have missed time. Like, that's how crazy is that?
I'll be honest, I'm getting smoked right now.
Oh, the
but-
NBA season.
That
baby.
is facts,
Not
though.
surprising.
But Boncaro, Kyrie, and
4-0.
Bane.
Well, Kyrie's missing games because
He's back
Kyrie.
Sunday. He's back
He is
Sunday.
back Sunday. Apparently, he went above and beyond the Nets' expectations.
Okay.
It's good to hear,
PR
man.
move?
I'm happy.
I don't care anymore.
So Joel and Wes were the only two to have Jason Tatum at the top of their MVP ladder.
Oh, so fuck me, I guess.
Oh, you
Sure
did
did.
too.
Did
My-
you?
Just a
I-
few
I
ball
didn't-
knowers.
I
at
didn't-
the
Run
table.
yours again. I didn't hear you.
I have
ball
I have
knows.
SGA, Giannis, Luca, Curry, Tatum.
Oh, you did have Tatum.
You were
at
sick.
four.
I had Curry at 4.
I was.
Luka and Giannis, like,
The thing is, when you make the argument of most valuable and you take Luca off the team and you see what Dallas is, then yes, that's a more than valid argument. But the 3-point shooting isn't there. The free throw percentage could be better. He's turning over the ball a lot.
He
But
has the
obviously,
ball all game.
all the time. So that's the other way to look at it as well. So yes, I'm being hypercritical when I really shouldn't be.
putting up
They're a
2K
7
numbers.
seed. He's putting on video game numbers, but so is Curry.
that's true.
So Drew, Joel, and Wes were the only three to have Jason Tatum
More
at
than
the
50%.
top of their MVP ladder.
50% of the table.
60% of the table. Now, the Celtics, right now, they have the best record in the NBA. So that does pose a question if they are the best team in the league right now. Wes, what do you think? Do you think they're the best team in the NBA? And if you had to just pick between the Celtics and the Bucks playoff series, both fully healthy, who would you favor?
I mean, the playoff series adds something different because Chris Middleton will be back. But as of now, the Celtics are the best team. They've gone from what a decent offense last year to the best offense in the league. Defensively, I think they're middle of the pack.
They
but
are. Mhm.
I think that's some bad luck. Like Karis LeVert dropped 40 on them. That shouldn't even count. Steph Curry dropped 40 on them.
I shouldn't
They've
even
had
count.
a couple of other monster performances that I think it's a little bit of bad luck. Defensively, I still like them. Derek White's been fantastic. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum. We know Jaylen Brown can lock up when he needs to. And then offensively, they're just getting a lot more threes. Tatum's gone to a different level. He's getting to the rim more. Their offense looks more fluid. It's just gone because the second half of last year, they were also the best team in the league. This is nothing new. We've seen this. They're just kind of extending it to start this year. And 2 of their losses were in overtime games against Cleveland. Like they could be 14-1 right now. So I think they have been the best team in the league. The Bucks have also been great through injury, but once they get Robert Williams back, get that rim protection, like they're tough to stop.
I can't wait for Rob to get back. The Celtics defense is
Kneecap?
really,
Kneecap. When's he come back?
Is that his
Soon.
new nickname?
soon.
Can you stop?
Yeah, have some respect.
The way
What the
he
hell's
moves.
wrong?
Worry about your boy
Chris?
going to the G League. How about that?
Who?
Oh,
He
no.
has a ring. He has a ring.
Yeah, sick.
Does anybody on your team have a ring? No.
No, I don't think
I
so.
know.
Oh, my God.
We didn't have anyone on the
You
bench
didn't
just
have
ride a fucking roster.
Hey, listen, man, get a ring and then we can talk.
Okay, we can.
Oh, my
What's it?
God.
13 seed, right? Okay, cool.
Ring? 4?
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, 1?
Man, bro's the fucking.
You haven't had a
Steph Curry
ring
fan.
in.
Sick.
You have 1 ring in
Bro's
30
a,
years.
Bro's the fucking.
You have 1 ring in
bro's
30
a
years.
Warriors, Astros,
Hey, buddy.
Eagles fan.
Buddy,
Like, sick,
buddy,
bro.
buddy. You have 1 ring in 30 years.
Nice, bro. Aren't you a Bulls fan?
After Bird.
Aren't you a Bulls
you
fan?
have 1 ring.
Aren't you a Bulls fan who
You have 1
roots for
ring.
Curry?
And then before
you're
Bird.
a Bulls fan.
And then
You're
before Bird.
You're a Bulls
before
fan.
Bird.
A Bulls
before
fan
Bird,
who roots
you
for Curry.
You ran the
You're a
Martin
Bulls
Luther
fan.
King era
Riv,
and just had hella
Riv,
rings. Before
Riv,
that, after
Riv,
that,
you're a Bulls fan.
You
Don't
have
get lost
nothing,
here.
bro. You
Don't get
have
lost here.
literally nothing. After the Martin Luther King era,
Man.
you didn't do anything. After
I'd
Bird,
I'd be
1
sick
ring.
because he knows the Bulls
I
don't
know.
got shit, and now his
they
other
don't.
team in the West,
If
the
you
Bulls
haven't-
don't got shit right now.
If you haven't built the
it's
super
cool.
team,
It's
you
cool
don't win.
because
Now,
you
the
said
Bulls
it,
are extremely
you,
big.
you said it on your Joel
Hold on,
Moran
hold on.
podcast.
Walt
Hold on,
Frazier.
hold on,
Hold on,
hold on,
wait,
real
wait.
quick. Joel Moran podcast, shout out, phenomenal podcast. Recommend doing it. This young core that was supposed to take over for the Warriors, I don't know what's happening
They
right
suck.
now. I mean, this was just something Riv has telling me about for over a year now. How they're this young core.
With respect, they
Go
aren't
ahead.
playing good.
Yeah, no, they're
It's
playing
funny
like
that
shit.
he made the interview when their top 3 pick, Mr. RJ Barrett, is garbage. Dog.
He did this last year.
shit.
Easy. He did this
And
last year.
back to you.
Thank
1
you.
ring in 30 years.
Okay, that's fine.
30 years.
I want to talk about my Celtics, best team in the NBA right now.
Best team in the NBA right now.
Best team in the NBA right now. 13 wins. How many?
I like
how
you
many
guys. You
wins
guys are good.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that.
How'd you guys come out the East?
You did 1 seed. I respect
To
that.
be
'cause
fair,
Iron
he
has
was
the 1
able to
seed.
witness the Celtics ring. You didn't witness any of the Bulls.
Well, you can't witness anything good about the Knicks. So I'm sorry that you
We're in
can-
the same boat. The Knicks have won I didn't see the Knicks
You haven't
championship.
seen
You didn't see
the,
the
you haven't
Bulls.
seen the Knicks win 2nd round series, go to the Eastern Conference Finals, have an MVP. What have you haven't witnessed them do anything that revolts anything. Like you haven't. What have you watched? It's been nothing. You've watched Melo come in there, hit a couple big shots in the regular season. Cute. You lost to Paul George.
Jeremy
Then
Lin.
you had RJ Barrett. Jeremy Lin. That was a week of
That was
greatness.
lit, though.
That was
It
amazing.
They made a documentary about 2 weeks. That's embarrassing. That's how bad the
Stop
Knicks
it.
are.
Embarrassing or is that
He
impressive?
changed Asian culture for basketball.
Nah, it
What
was
are you talking about?
history. It was history.
Kobe.
Let's just talk about the last couple of years. The Knicks were the 4th seed. We won a playoff game. The Bulls just lost. We
lost to
both
the
got
Bucks.
gentlemen swept.
You lost to the Trae Young. We lost to the Bucks.
They made
Different.
the Eastern Conference Finals and took that Bucks team to 6.
Yeah.
They did better than y'all.
We
called
lost
it
to the
fraudulent.
Bucks. You did
It
call
was
it fraudulent.
fraudulent. Then the very next year they were done in the
It
first
doesn't
round.
matter. So then what's the
the hoopla?
basis of what you're saying though?
You have no
The
basis.
Knicks and the Bulls are both mid. But you like to walk around with a high horse like you're not mid.
I don't
The Bulls
even,
are mid.
I don't-
No, he
I
really
don't.
doesn't walk around the high horse because he doesn't even acknowledge really that the Bulls are his team.
Because we're not good.
Yeah,
The
that's
difference
not
between the difference between me and him is he's a Knicks
Where's
fan
the
that run up
loyalty?
in here and he'll make videos. Knicks. He'll come in here 3rd seed.
What is
Shit
it
like that? I'm not
Repeat-
doing that. I'm
repeat,
realistic.
We repeat in this year. This is our year. Let's get the championship,
I'm
boys.
gonna get a repeat.
Which one though? The Clippers or the Warriors?
Clippers
Yeah, I don't know. You
Well, the
picked,
Clippers
you
can't
picked 7
repeat.
fucking teams to win a
No, I
championship.
know. That's why I said I said
Well,
the
if I said
the
we're gonna
Warriors.
repeat, the Clippers literally can't repeat.
No, I understand, but that's why I said my second statement. This is our year winning the championship this year.
Well,
So that's
neither
what
of them
I'm
are
wondering.
winning the championship this year.
The Knicks haven't won one in 55 years.
It doesn't matter. But the team that I'm picking to win the championship is going to win this year.
Who?
I picked Golden State last year. I was right. Oh, you would like to know. I'm keeping my thing a secret right now.
Of course you are, because you're gonna jump ship when it hits April, June, May. Like
No, I'm just keeping it a secret. It'll be announced in a few.
Minnesota. I got it. I got
Minnesota. The
Yeah,
turnaround.
yeah,
Boston
yeah,
like
yeah.
turnaround
I got
this year.
you.
You never
The
know.
storm is
They've
brewing.
been playing better.
The Celtics defense has been a bit overblown. It's really been held down the first few games of the season. To start off the year, we let up, hold up, I just had it here. We let up 117 to the Sixers, 104 to the Heat, 120 to the Magic, 120 to the Bulls, 130 to the Cavs in overtime.
120 to the Magic.
But over the last 10 games, the Celtics are number 6 in terms of defensive efficiency. They've turned it around significantly. It's really just that first week or so of the season that's really been holding them back. We already know how great the offense has been. I wasn't expecting them to play at this type of level, both offensively and defensively, especially with Robert Williams out, with Al Horford minutes going to be restricted to start off the season. We really don't have another big, like Grant Williams is our other big. He's not even really a big, right? The Celtics have been phenomenal this year. I mean, we talked just Jason Tatum is my MVP right now. Jaylen Brown has improved his game. As I mentioned, Marcus Smart has cut down the turnovers. His assist to turnover ratio has really improved since last year as well. And jokingly, but Sam Hauser has been a big impact to this team. A guy who could come in, he could hit the three, not just stand in place, but he could do a little movement too, moving in and hit into that three that the Celtics have really been looking for years. They tried with Evan Fournier. They brought in Gallinari this past season.
50%.
Yeah, he's on an unbelievable level right now. Is it, is it possible for the whole year? Who who knows? But he looks like someone that
That's fucking crazy,
can play
bro.
minutes
For the whole year?
in the playoffs.
Joe Harris,
it's probably not going to
what did he-
happen. But
what was he? What did he average first season?
Not
45.
50.
yeah,
Pretty close.
Sam
He's
Hauser's been significantly. I couldn't even expect this because last
Respect
season
Luke
he was just red and bench. I'm not. No.
Luke Cornett's been solid.
Okay. The Celtics, that doesn't mean they're perfect, right? They still need to go out. They need another big desperately because you cannot rely on Robert Williams and Al Horford for the remainder of the season. Payne Pritchard has kind of got phased out of the lineup, so I think he's probably the one to get moved in a package, if anything. What are we looking at?
Joe Harris is a savage.
48%.
Oh my god.
So maybe Hauser can. But right now, I would
That's
take
different
the
volume, too, that
Celtics
he was-
as
Oh my
the best team in the
God.
NBA. In a playoff series against the Bucks, you know I'm going to take my guys. You know I'm going to take the Celtics. But it would be a good series. They're the two best teams right
Luke
now.
Cornett just had 15, 8, and 4 blocks. Respect.
You
him.
didn't talk about Marcus Smart's playmaking as of late.
No, he talked about it earlier on.
I said
early on,
yeah.
yeah.
His turnover to assist ratio has really improved.
good. You mentioned it though. I think the defense is getting better, but I think once Rob Will gets back,
That's
the
it.
defense will get right back to it. You need that type of rim protection, especially with the type of wings and perimeter defenders you guys have. Once Rob Will gets back and you get that defensive interior back, everything will be just perfect. Offensively, you guys have been at a historical rate. You know, Jason Tatum is constantly improving his game, especially as a playmaker, making the right reads. Even Grant Williams putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket. He's been improving his game. And it's a contract year, so, you know, he definitely had to step up his game. But I had Boston as the number 1 team in the East. I had Boston coming out. I still
Easy pick.
think they'll come out. You didn't pick them.
You had them as the 5 seed.
I wanted to be different.
No, you
You had them
didn't.
as the 5 seed.
I wanted to be different. I
What
wanted to
where'd
add a
you
little
rank
spice.
Tatum and Brown as duos?
Oh, they were definitely the best for me.
No, where
It was
he-
the
he like
best.
They
5?
were.
I don't think he was that
Only
low.
the real
they
had them as number 1.
They were low. I don't remember where
Only
you
No,
the
I had
real had
Giannis
them
and
at
Middleton
number
over
1.
them, and I had Harden and Embiid.
The one I had in front of him, they haven't played yet, so I you know what I'm saying? I can't really, but yeah, the Celtics are the best.
I don't
team
think
in
we
the league.
answered the second part of the question. Was it on this question or a different one?
What's the second part of the question?
Well, no, we didn't get
Let's
to
wait
it
to
yet.
let,
We're-
let's
we're
wait.
gonna
Let,
to
let
it.
me. Do you want to give your analysis and let me?
I'll do it real
All
quick.
right, go ahead.
You know, in the offseason, Joel and I exchanged a lot of texts back and forth. We were high on this team. The
Oh
moves
my
they
God.
made.
No.
Can this
The
guy
come
stop?
out-
we actually have it on tape. We have it on tape.
I told Joe we were at the bar. I tell the story all the time because it's one of my favorite stories between friends. That I told him the Warriors were gonna beat them in the finals, but I said, "Don't worry, Joe. You'll be back next season. You'll be back. Don't worry." I shook his hand, gave him a hug. He shed a little tears on my shoulder, and you know we went from there. Are the Celtics the best team in the league? It's between the Bucks and them. And this question really comes down to this. If you add Middleton to Milwaukee and you add Rob Will to the Celtics, who do you think comes out to be the better team? Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks are an elite defense. They're a good offense. I think Middleton makes them a great offense. Right now, the Celtics are an elite offense. They're a good, great defense. Rob Will makes them an elite defense. I do think the addition of Chris Middleton is going to take the Bucks over the Celtics just a little bit. And Mike Budenholzer has completely switched around the defensive scheme of the Bucks to where they're not allowing a bunch of threes every game. And I think the turning point was the playoff series when the Celtics in the playoffs, they shot 292 threes, almost 42 threes a game, and made 37% of them. I mean, you had Grant Will shoot 18 threes in a game 7, have 27 points.
He's a legend.
And I think that was the final straw for Mike Budenholzer because this year they are the number 1 team in the NBA at preventing corner threes, and they're 5th in three-pointers allowed a game, which means they really contest and close out very well. I think that's been the turning point for the Bucks, and now for a team like the Celtics that they shoot the 3 ball so much, that's going to be a tougher match for them now that the Bucks aren't helping on these drives as often as they did, and they're just relying on Giannis's weak side help defense or Brook Lopez just being good at drop coverage. I do think that schematic change. I would favor the Bucks in the series, but it'll be extremely close, and they have the better player. It's still Giannis. I know Tatum's number 1 in the MVP race for you, but Giannis is the best player.
Listen,
with Curry in the NBA.
I tweeted in April, it stands true. The only player right now that you could say clearly is better than Jason Tatum is Giannis. That's fine.
No, Curry's better than him. Luka's better than him.
Maybe.
Jokic.
Maybe.
Jokic is better than him.
If you put if you had to choose any of these guys to on your roster,
Yeah.
Listen, Curry.
It's a conversation.
Curry now
it's a
gets out to that
conversation.
Like
Tatum's a wing.
Oh my
He's
fucking
fucking.
God.
He's fucking 6'9", 6'10".
24,
He could
gonna be
defend.
25.
He could put up 31.
Let's not forget
He
that.
could play
Christ.
make. What can't he do?
I can't do it.
Luka, you don't get the defense.
about to leave.
Curry, you don't get the size.
Oh,
Jokic, the center.
Jesus Christ. I can't do this shit
It's
no
not
more.
ridiculous to say.
Bro, come on. Let's be
Is
for real
that
here.
is it crazy
All right,
to say?
Listen, Riv.
Because he did this before
you
too,
spaz,
and he got me upset.
Riv, before you spaz, let me fix what he's saying, because I understand the thought process.
Of course you do.
I understand the thought process. It's Giannis. You have to put Curry in that conversation. I'm sorry, you have to put Curry. You have to. It's just solidified.
Say-
Not Curry,
say
but
sorry,
not
Corey.
Luka.
I can understand the Luka, but the defensive aspect,
Oh my
I feel
goodness.
that. I feel it. It's definitely a prominent thing that I take
Going
into
on 2
account.
years now.
Steph's offensive,
Luka is by-
Steph's
Luka-
offensive game is far more
I'm
impactful than
not
his
disagreeing.
Tatum's two-way
I'm not disagreeing.
ability.
That's why
just
just
a fact.
listen. Just throw
It's just
Curry in the
a
mix.
literal fact.
Just throw Curry in the mix and then shake
It's not.
his hand.
It's not
and
your
level.
time yet. I know you want to push this.
Nah,
Tatum
stop
over.
it. He's here.
I'm just
He's
talking.
here.
No, I'm talking about. I know you want to push this Tatum over Curry thing. It's
Yeah,
not
nah.
time yet.
I'm not
It-
saying I'm exactly pushing it.
No, you're getting.
I'm
You're
just
trying
saying
to.
it's in the conversation.
No, I'm telling you, the conversation isn't here yet. I'm sorry, it's not.
It isn't.
time
It's not
yet.
even close.
It's
It isn't.
not.
It isn't.
You thought.
It isn't.
You
Hey,
listen.
hey,
Listen.
I'd tell you.
It's not. When he had the little fall. We had the little fall off in the regular season. Steph last year. You thought, okay, this might be the creep up.
I was once the Nets series came. That's when it.
Yeah,
really started
and then the
pushing it.
playoffs happened, and then the finals happened, and you saw, oh shit, I capped. It's not here yet.
LeBron
And now you see-
had a rough first finals.
Yeah.
Rough
Yeah.
2 first finals.
Yeah, and then this year it's like, come on, not yet.
Come on, bro. It was a
He's
one
getting.
five.
He's there.
He's
If he's not there, he's there. He's
It's
there.
Giannis, Curry,
Yeah, it's
Tatum,
like,
Luka, Jokic.
Bucks Celtics playoff series today. If
that's
it
another
happened,
thing
all
that-
healthy.
yes.
Who are you guys taking?
So that's what I wanted to say. The verdict's not out on right now as we stand. November 19th, the Celtics are the best team in basketball. Best offense, middle of the pack defense. But as he alluded to, it's because of a cold stretch they had to start. But once Rob Will comes back, I firmly expect them to enter back into the top 5, maybe even potentially be the best defense in the league again. But the verdict's not out until Middleton comes back, because it was very evident that if Middleton had played in that playoff series, the Bucks probably would have won that series. But again, he didn't play. Celtics took advantage. It is what it is. But once Middleton comes back, the way that Milwaukee has come out the gates and started to play, I need to see Middleton healthy and then match up before I can have my opinion on who the actual best team in the NBA is. But as of where we stand right now, today, Celtics have it.
What's Middleton's
Timetable?
prognosis? Yeah,
It's because they're playing so well.
They're taking
They're
their time.
allowing it is allowing them the luxury of not rushing him back.
I need him to come back. My fantasy team's dependent on it.
oh, you picked him.
Oh, imagine Middleton. That's the player
This
that
is still
you're
the same
that's the-
injury
that's the
from
guy
last
that's-
season, right?
Bro, don't talk.
This is
Don't
still
talk.
the same injury from last season.
Yeah,
the
yes,
playoffs.
yes.
This is a long time we're talking
They're
about.
they're letting him when you're winning like this. They don't
know.
care what seed they
That's
are.
true.
Realistically, they just want to have their guys healthy and ready for a playoff run.
I heard the same thing about the Nets. I mean, they're not going to be a 7th seed. But
The Bucks have culture.
it's true.
They have Giannis.
They have culture.
I just heard about the Nets last year. We
Well,
don't care
well, the
what
second
they
part of this question,
happens.
ran to the Celtics.
and Wes, I want to get your thoughts on this because in the offseason, we have a lot of arguments on this show, as you can see.
That's understandable.
And me and Drew said that Jason Tatum, listen, man, he surpassed
Oh, you was
Kawhi.
not here for
You're
this.
obviously in
Wait,
there.
hold on.
No, I'm just
Hold on,
laughing.
hold on.
I'm just
Why
laughing
are
at
you
you.
laughing? Why are you
No,
laughing?
you was not here for this. No, you
No,
wasn't here for this.
you
Yes,
you
this-
actually say this?
Yes, this was
Oh,
them two versus
Nah,
me.
he
Oh,
actually
my
was in.
bad.
He's in here.
My
He's
bad.
good.
I had to show Drew proof.
What's it's
this
crazy,
morning.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
He actually texted me 2 videos. He's like, just so you know, for when we talk about this later on the show, I want you to know
it's
what
very
I
rare.
said.
It's very rare.
Nah,
I
he was
get
in.
praise from Mr. Joel over here
Joel
from
was in.
Boston. Very
I
rare.
praise him all the time.
Joel was in. I think yes, he was in.
What are you talking about?
Dumb, you
This
dumb
guy.
motherfucker.
One thing about me is I tell the truth.
Dehls,
I'm not
Dehls,
biased.
I want you to get ready to watch a
dumb as shit.
masterclass because they're
Oh,
going to think
masterclass.
they have this. Watch, just
masterclass.
watch what's about to go to.
All right.
watch.
Okay, but listen
Just-
to this. So Wes, listen to this. So in the playoffs, Tatum was on this great run, and we said, listen, Tatum has surpassed Kawhi. You know, we're not saying that Tatum is better than what Kawhi showed in the playoffs previously.
Correct.
But moving forward, Tatum has now surpassed him in the rankings, and we don't believe Kawhi is going to come back and be as good as Jason Tatum. What are your thoughts on that, real quick?
Well, it's a difficult one because we've seen like 40 minutes of Kawhi in 3 years. But as of this time, like I haven't seen Tatum reach a level that Kawhi reached the last time he was in the playoffs. That series against Dallas was better than anything Jason Tatum has
That's fine.
ever done.
Yeah.
But Kawhi's also, it's been 2 years, and like it's kind of, we've seen what happened to Anthony Davis.
Oh, God.
He was playing over that extended period of time, but the consistent injuries, and he's fallen off. Like you wouldn't have thought Anthony Davis would be at this level. I don't think it's going to happen to Kawhi because he just seems like a different beast. But like Tatum's reached a level of 31, 7 and 4, elite defense. Kawhi would have to get back to his best to get ahead of Tatum. So I think I'd give Tatum the edge just because there's too many unknowns with Kawhi. We don't see him on the court. Does he even want to play at this point? Like, I feel like he'd be happy retiring at this point. I just don't think I can trust Kawhi at this point. So I would give Tatum the edge, but I haven't seen Tatum actually eclipse what Kawhi did just a couple of years ago. That's the only thing I would say.
And real quick before you go, we're not talking about is Tatum better than Kawhi ever was.
No.
We're simply saying
that's not
today,
no.
Tatum versus Kawhi.
Yeah, no, but my thing is like the last time we saw Kawhi, that was only a couple of years ago. That was what, 1.5 years ago against Dallas, where he was dominant. And then against Utah, I think he shot like 65% from 2-point range. And we know how many middies he's taking. So that's like on mid-range shots in the playoffs against Utah, the modern day Bill Russell, Rudy Gobert, of course, and Dallas. So like he was cooking them all series long. So he was incredibly good just a couple of years ago. So I think he could still get to a great level. But yeah, Tatum's been doing it for like a year and a half now. Kawhi's just been sitting on the sidelines.
All right, masterclass. Let's hear it. From a guy who's played 60 minutes in the last two.
Anthony Davis has played more games.
I'm sorry. What's the question?
You said masterclass.
Well,
does Tatum clear
clearly
Kawhi
you two
now?
are attacking me.
Does Tatum clear Kawhi?
Does Tatum clear a man that doesn't play?
Clear is, yeah.
Yo, that's the question.
In 2022, who would you rather have?
You used to be so disrespectful to Anthony Davis because he never played. Kawhi's not available.
No,
you're giving
You
him
also
slack.
used to be super
Oh my
disrespectful
God.
to us for taking
Told you we're gonna
Tatum
get
over
attacked.
Kawhi.
Told you we're gonna get
Meanwhile,
attacked.
we told you this.
Told you I was
Kawhi
gonna get
cannot
attacked.
stay healthy. So how can you rather a guy who can't be on the court?
Well,
that's my question.
I'd rather
Riv.
the better basketball player. That was
In
my
2022, the better basketball player
How
is
can you
Jason
say
Tatum.
that if you haven't seen the other guy play basketball?
And that's all I need.
What do you
That's
mean?
all
You're not
I
saying
need.
Tatum is. You're not. See, this is my problem with YouTube buffoons. You're not
like
saying. You're not saying Tatum is a better basketball player than Kawhi. You're just saying Tatum is more available.
2022,
which
he's
is
a better
fine.
basketball player.
No, but how?
What do you mean how?
What? How do
Right
you know?
now-
How do you know?
He's a better defender for sure.
What the fuck?
In
Kawhi
2022,
just went 2 for 8, 6 points. He ain't do nothing.
Are you fucking serious? That's like his first game in like 2 weeks. Are you serious
So
right
tell
now?
him to play
So
in
that's
those
what
2
we're
weeks.
That's
He
what we're
was
doing.
available. He just didn't want to play.
Because they're not
Jason Tatum's
rushing him.
playing.
Jason
Tatum's
Tatum
So you're
is
saying you guys-
entering
so you guys-
his
MVP level.
prime. He's entering
Okay.
his prime. Kawhi, I don't know if he can ever reach his prime level again.
Which is fine. If we're talking about who's more available now, Tatum is more available. I probably would take Tatum now. I didn't think Kawhi.
Let's
right now,
go. Hold up.
what you're
Let's-
hanging on to is the ghost of Kawhi Leonard,
Drew,
what
Drew.
once was.
Drew, let's go back to the original video that started this whole nonsense.
Now this is
this is the video right here.
Let's go back.
He's not gonna be as good as Tatum.
This is what people did with Steph Curry. Steph Curry missed
My bad.
the full year, and people were pushing
Kawhi's not
game
Steph.
over him.
Kawhi's
No,
not Steph.
Kawhi is just
not.
as good as Steph.
No, he's not.
was.
Kawhi's not just as good as
He
Steph.
was.
That's cap.
He was.
That's cap.
He
That's
was.
cap.
Was he not?
What are we talking
Steph
about?
wasn't in the
When-
playoffs.
When Kawhi
Nah,
at his best,
you're right.
he was.
You're right.
Did you
You're
thought
right.
you were gonna catch me?
He's
there?
not as good as Steph.
He was.
He was.
He was.
I don't
What-
know about that.
No, he
Nah,
literally
Steph-
was.
different
Like he was talking about that Dallas series, that Jazz
Wes,
series.
am I
he was
bugging there?
otherworldly.
Maybe not as good as Steph, but I know what you're saying. I get your point.
He was right there.
Maybe
Like,
Like
just
if you
a
were
little bit
taking
little
Steph
bit.
Curry right there,
It's Kawhi.
was
He's
Kawhi
right there.
Leonard.
no,
But
he's
you
right
said
there. He's
just
right there.
as
You're
good
right. You're
though.
right.
You
You're
ain't say he's
He's
you know,
just as
nah,
good.
you ain't nah.
That's fine. I'm fine with that statement.
how he
let's
tried
keep-
to
I get the
let's
point.
keep
I get the
going.
point.
Let's
Yes,
let's keep going.
facts.
Let's keep going.
No, yes, people
No,
are pushing.
he's not.
What does Tatum do better? There's literally nothing on the court.
His offense is
It's
better
what-
than
no,
Kawhi's.
it's not.
Yes, he is.
No,
he has
it's
a better,
not.
He has a bigger bag and he's more.
Oh, you're a bad guy.
But he's
Okay,
more
so
consistent.
Kyrie's better offense than Tatum,
That's
right?
not
Because
true.
he has a bigger bag, right? Right?
That's
right?
mid-range
what you said.
shit.
All
I
right,
was
that's
wrong.
what you said.
We're
Who's
talking
more efficient?
offensive.
Kawhi.
Who's a better passer?
Who's a more efficient? Kawhi. Who's a better mid-range shooter? Kawhi.
That's
Who's a
debatable.
What the?
That's
crazy.
debatable.
That
That
was
was crazy.
crazy.
That's debatable.
You hate-
In hindsight,
you
I
don't
can't
like
say I
Kawhi.
don't. That's
You don't
not
like Kawhi.
true. I'm speaking very
Joel,
on. No,
who's
look,
a better
look at me.
mid-range shooter,
It's
Kawhi or
Kawhi,
Jason?
Kawhi.
It's a conversation.
It's not a
clear.
conversation.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Kawhi's one of the best mid-range shooters in the
this is
game.
Better three-point shooter, Jason Tatum. Better passer, Jason Tatum.
Better defender, Kawhi Leonard, by
That's debatable.
far.
At this
At
point
the
in
time,
time,
it
Not
wasn't.
no more.
At the
Tatum.
time, it wasn't.
it's a conversation.
How's it a conversation? You haven't even seen him play. You have to go with what you've seen.
Exactly.
You have to go with what you've seen. And what you've seen is
what I've
Kawhi
seen
clears.
is Jason Tatum lock up Kevin Durant that no one has done before.
Huh?
Don't play with Jason Tatum.
Tony Allen has done it. Ron Artest has done it. Kawhi has done it before.
Jason Tatum, that's the video right there.
Dehls, am I bugging? Let me ask
only
you
thing
this, was I bugging?
Non-biased guys. That's rude. At the moment, because it's funny how quickly things change. After the Nets one, it seemed easy. He cleared. And then after the finals, you're looking back on it, you're like, oh, that might have been a little
in the
premature.
mid-range, it was horrible in the finals.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
so
Tatum in the finals, it's
but
obviously
Tatum
not the
even
player
before
he
that.
is.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Listen, I can admit I was wrong. I can admit I was
That's not
wrong.
the year. But I mean, right now, I don't know. No sane person right now is saying Kawhi over Jason Tatum.
That's fine.
Okay, so what
Are you
so what's the
saying?
conversation we're having?
Are you saying? Now, let me ask you, Riv, very plainly, right now, Kawhi Leonard or Jason Tatum?
Tatum.
Okay.
Until I see Kawhi Leonard on a court, Tatum.
He's been on the
Can you
court though.
trust
These were the comments of the video. Why is this convo? Answer is Kawhi. Recency bias. Kawhi.
When was this video uploaded?
It
Last year
was
playoff time.
Last year playoff
What
time.
one
April
playoffs?
29th.
Okay, so this is second round around
Second
then.
round.
Yeah.
Kawhi has ended 3 dynasties. No debate. Riv just clutched a 1v2. No conversation. Kawhi is better.
The only thing you had over me in that whole debate was the mid-range.
That was a terrible.
It was a bad opinion.
Terrible.
The bag shit was hilarious.
And no, but the bag shit, let's be honest, though.
What?
Yeah, well, Tatum's
Tatum's got that.
Flash, he's
He's definitely more smooth with it.
Yeah,
And the
he's
defensive
handsome.
side of the ball right now is Jason Tatum. And that's a
Yes,
respect to
yes,
Kawhi at
yes.
his peak.
The man
Kawhi
who-
clears.
The man
but right
who
now,
does not.
2022.
Y'all bringing up that video is so funny because
Bro, people love to bring that up whenever we're on the show and say, "Riv,
Well, but
man,
you have to-
we
you have to
gotta
think.
tell these guys they don't know shit about Kawhi Leonard."
The vid came out April 29th. That was after they swept the Nets, I'm assuming, right? So we were a year removed from what we seen from Kawhi. Like, we were just a year removed of what he was shooting. Like Wes said, Shaq-like efficiency from the mid-range. Like,
crazy.
nobody really does that. So
crazy.
I'm arguing the point of what we've seen from a year. Now, of course, hindsight in 2020, it looks great. He's not playing right now. So I don't have a year. Now I have like a year and like
3 games.
like
yeah,
yeah,
3
like I
games.
had like I only could go off 3 games. He hasn't played much, so yeah. Right now the conversation is Tatum, but off that video, it was only a year removed from what Kawhi and what we've seen a year from what Kawhi's shown us. He was clearly a better basketball player than Jason Tatum.
But you were projecting Kawhi to continue being better than Tatum, where we projected Tatum to be better.
Of course, because
than
I didn't
Kawhi.
think Kawhi would come into a season and still his knee is still fucked up.
But another thing is that you could just have understood that Tatum was just on a different trajectory, which is what we were saying.
Tatum could be on a different, but I thought Kawhi would still be the same player, and I still thought that player, from what we've seen, was going to be better.
How
than
much
Tatum.
faith do you have in Kawhi returning to that level of player consistently? Not playing a couple games
right now.
for a
I
week.
only think he can do it when it matters.
Because here's another issue, right? Kawhi was already injury prone. He was already game managing. So he missed around 20, 25 games a year.
Yeah.
Now he misses an entire
Exactly, yeah,
season
yeah.
on a bigger level, bigger scale injury of a torn ACL. Now you're asking him to come back and load manage a more severe
which is-
injury after missing an
This isn't
entire
even load
year
managing
as
now,
is.
Because I
He can't play.
like Kawhi is like regular season. He's gonna give you this smooth 26, 25, 6 and 5. Like, he's not gonna take it too hard in the regular season.
That was your MVP pick.
That
That
was my
was your
dark horse.
MVP pick.
Yeah, I wanted to be different.
Like I did with Boston. I understand you.
What about
I
Minnesota?
knew that was coming.
What are you talking about? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I just
can't
wanted
let
to
this
be
shit
different.
slide.
I genuinely didn't think Kawhi would come in and still be hurt, like still have knee issues. So
You want to make the jump? I'll
You
let
know,
you.
and
You
I
don't want to make the
That's-
jump
and
to
I
Boston.
feel you. He
I've been a
played in the
Boston guy, man.
preseason a little bit. It shouldn't have been this, but it's Kawhi.
I mean, every time he comes back, he looks fucking
He looks solid.
ridiculous.
Except
so
this last game.
Well, I mean, this is
I mean, yeah, opening night he was solid.
I only expect him now to just playoff time. If he still shows me the same
Playing
Kawhi,
against the Lakers really count at this point in time?
I mean, weren't you guys the best defense in the NBA for a week?
We were, man.
literally we're the best defense in the NBA for like a week and some change.
That was
I
so
hate us.
unsustainable.
You guys were like 26 in the last 10 games or something.
No,
like that.
I think we're very close to dead last.
Oh.
Yeah, the Lakers suck. It's not surprising.
Nah, they were in 26. Golden State's 26.
No, last 10 games.
Golden State's 26. I
Or
remember
maybe-
that number
maybe it's
very
28.
cleanly, like very cleanly.
Now, since Riv, you have the floor right now. This team you had making the NBA Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and now they're on a 5-game losing streak. You had them winning the championship, and I just want to get your
lying
thoughts
is insane.
on the
Like,
five.
wow.
Lakers
the guy-
middle of the pack defense.
I want to get your thoughts on a 5-game losing streak. Are you worried about the Cavs and your expectations that you had for them before the season?
Why did you just lie like that?
Yeah, saying
What
they're
are you
going to win the
talking
chip's crazy.
Did you say that?
No, I didn't even have
I
them
might
beat
have
the
missed
Bucks.
that one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do feel like you said they can
How?
go. That's
Holy
all I'm
shit.
asking.
Dehls, you see
Riv,
what's going on?
Riv,
I
Riv,
feel like you said in a couple
Riv,
years.
you could correct me if I'm wrong.
You
but
definitely
I do,
said Eastern
I do
Conference
feel like
Finals.
No, I
no, I
1000%
know you
said
said ECF, but I feel like you did say they can go.
to the finals.
Yes,
No.
I feel like I do remember that, Riv. And if you say
remember
that
like it
that's
was
what you
yesterday.
said, then I'm going to take your word for it.
I remember
said
like
they
it was
couldn't beat
yesterday.
Boston or the Bucks.
Okay, all right.
I said they have a chance to go to the ECF
No,
if
but
Boston or the Bucks play on the other side.
Facts.
That's what I said.
All right, all right.
That's what I said. You about to lie, aren't you?
No, that's what he said. That's what he
I
said. That's
remember-
That
facts.
is bar
I
for bar. what I
remember
That
said.
is bar for
I
bar.
have good memory. I don't usually get things wrong like that.
You're sick. You're a sick guy.
Your memory's spotty, with all due respect.
I don't think so.
Because you don't be listening, bro. That's why.
No, I listen all the time.
Lies.
I listen so well that I remember lyrics to songs.
Congrats.
Everybody does.
Everyone
Yeah.
does that.
No, I don't think everybody does.
Now,
the
babies
hell?
babies actually can recite words.
Oh, they
So,
can.
yeah.
To talk about Cleveland for a little bit, their defense has been good over this tough stretch. You know, Allen missed some time. Mitch, he missed the game, like the Garland explosion, which was fucking
That was lit.
incredible.
The day after we were talking about
They
it. That
came
was
back,
cool.
you know, Garland was showing his things. He needed that game, I feel like Garland needed that game.
It's like in garbage time though, low key.
It wasn't.
And they lost.
The Timberwolves were up like 30, bro, like 20.
Timberwolves, they back?
They're not back, but it was a good win.
One seed still in
Who knows?
Is the agenda back is the question.
I'm definitely. I like
This
the
is-
Timberwolves. I root for them. I'm not back though.
Bro, it was like 2
there
weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks
this
ago,
was
the
a
sky
new
was
year.
falling.
I
Season's
thought this was a
over.
new year.
I thought we had
I
it,
thought it
man.
was a
I
new
thought we
year.
had
What do you
it.
mean? The
What, you
sky's
thought he
still
was
falling.
gonna-
He literally came up here and said, "This is a new year. He's not gonna do what he did last year."
I'm shutting down
I'm
these
shutting-
agendas.
like,
A, B, C, D,
He
E,
literally
F,
said
G.
that. He cut all those
was that the
agendas
last
off.
NBA
I
one
did.
I missed?
Wait, when
Oh.
did I say I have that agenda again?
No, you didn't say that.
didn't
but
say
I was
that.
asking you.
No,
But
I
it
don't.
didn't sound like
It didn't sound
were-
too. It sounds like you might jump back
no,
on.
they're playing better, but I still don't believe in this team.
Okay, just making
I
sure you
like the
said that.
Kings better than the Timberwolves right now.
Playoff series. Take
And
Kings?
that is my legit agenda. That y'all told me the Lakers are gonna be better
You think the Kings could beat the Timberwolves in a playoff series?
in a playing game. Yeah,
Playoff series.
I think it's possible. It is possible, but I feel like they would most likely meet in a playing game, and I kind of trust this Kings fire right now that they're playing with.
That man says
This
fire in
passion.
November.
They have Mike Brown as coach. They'll be fine.
Good coach. To talk about Cleveland for a second, like I said, Mitchell's missed time, Allen's missed time. The defense hasn't been really good just to do this roach. But I'm not really worried. You know, teams go on stretches like this, especially with the Cleveland's relatively new team. They go on stretches like this. You know, you still see the potential in this team, like the 2 games they played in Cleveland. But a lot of these games, you know, they haven't been good towards the end of the stretch. Like I'm to lock in on that Golden State game. They weren't that good down the stretch. You know, they had that game in the hand. I felt like I was scared because I thought Golden State was going to lose that game. But then they made they had a couple turnovers, took a couple bad shots. Garland has taken a little bit of a back seat, kind of like Mitch run the show down the stretch, which has been fine up to this stretch because Mitchell has been a top 10 player in the league right now. He's been great. But just defensively, they haven't been good. I think once they get that identity back, you know, Evan Mobley's been fucking amazing on the defensive end. Once they get that identity back, you know, stretches like this happen a lot towards the season. This is just one of their stretches, but I think they'll be fine. I don't think this is something to overreact to.
It's like they have a backcourt of an average height of 6'1". I mean, that's really what it's like.
I don't think that's why the defense has been bad.
No, but I'm just saying maybe that's one of the reasons
Mitchell's
why
been
there
fine
are
on
some-
defense.
He's been okay. But offensively, he's been otherworldly. Absolute credit to him. So now this is what I want to say about the Cavaliers.
See what he did to Jaylen Brown down the stretch?
He cooked.
He locked, too.
Okay, good for him.
I don't know how people do that at that size.
To talk about the Cavaliers, if your expectations for the Cavaliers that are similar to mine, that they're a playoff team for sure, then you shouldn't be worried about the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are going to be a playoff team, absolutely 100%. But if your expectations for the Cavaliers were to be an ECF team, were to be a potential championship team, then you should have some worries. Because that really is not a possibility, honest to God. And I'm not saying this to be rude. People are trying to label me as a Cavalier hater. They must not know my backstory. They must not know my origin story. That being said, you
He
can't.
left.
I miss him. I miss him every day. I really do. You just cannot look at the Cavaliers, and this is, with all due respect, they're a solid roster. They have a bright, bright future, one of the brightest futures in the NBA right now. You cannot look right now and say that they are going to be a better team or that they can beat the Celtics and or the Bucks come playoff time. It's simple as that. This stretch is not worrisome to me because I know what the Cavaliers are. They're a solid playoff team, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. But that does not mean that they're an ECF team. They're not a championship team. Are they better than Atlanta?
Yes.
How confidently can you say that?
Like Cleveland's
Because
defense.
offensively, it's pretty close. Defensively, I'm going Atlanta.
Atlanta hasn't really.
Why does Atlanta have a better defense?
Slightly for the
Atlanta hasn't
backcourt
really
because of
played nobody to
DeJounte.
start the
Because what's
season.
going to kill you with the Cavaliers offensively? It's going to be Garland. It's going to be Mitchell. Correct?
Mitchell's a good defender this year.
I don't think he understands that.
Yeah.
I'm still sleeping on it. Maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe
Maybe
you
I
should wake
shouldn't.
up
The
and watch
Cavaliers
the game.
have a
I
better
do watch-
defense in Atlanta.
They do. They do
Jared
right now.
Allen and Evan Mobley.
They do right now.
Make that defense.
But
Wait,
when they
so my
play,
question-
it's gonna be a different
My question
story.
for you is, and I'm not saying like this matters. I'm just asking a question. What you said, if you're a team, if you're a person who thinks Cleveland could make the ECF, this should be worrisome. So you're basically saying they cannot beat the Bucks.
No.
They cannot beat Boston.
Correct.
Even though Cleveland has
They
beat
beat
them
Boston.
twice already in high pressure
It's regular
situations.
season.
But that's what I'm saying. What does this stretch, this loss, like this stretch of losses, matters more than the actual games where they beat Boston?
The stretch of losses doesn't matter to me, is what I've said.
I'm saying, as opposed to if you're hypothetically speaking somebody who is thinking they can go to the ECF, which one would matter more to you?
If you're someone that thinks they can go to the ECF for the championship, that's a very good question. I guess you have to highlight these 5 games, right? Because you said it, their defense hasn't been great, but yes, Allen has missed a couple games. And there's just things to fix. They are a new team with Mitchell coming in. You're still finding yourselves on the defensive side of the ball. And even still, numbers-wise, they're still a top 10 defense. And offensively, of course, they're one of the better offenses in the league. My worry is with these 5 games, it's just that they're not this perfect, the cream of the crop teams that people are trying to associate themselves, the Cavaliers, with.
Even though they
That's-
beat
I
the cream
don't-
of the crop
I don't
twice.
think-
But it's still early.
But to be
still,
fair-
it's still
So I'm just
early.
asking.
Correct.
Was the
To be fair-
expectation them beat
Yeah, I don't-
elite off
Their
first month
expectation
of
was
the
not
season?
that.
No, the expectation that some of them have is that the Cavaliers are a championship team.
I don't think they are. I don't think anybody.
I
I don't think
disagree
anybody
with
had
that.
championship expectations for the
Dark
Cavs.
horse. They were dark horse championship
Riv said they
contenders.
could go to the ECF.
If they didn't face the Bucks or the Celtics, so he had the Celtics and the Bucks over the
You're
Cavs.
giving them a weird way to get there.
I mean, the
They
Heat
said the
literally
Bucks
did
and
it.
yeah, facts.
The Heat, we didn't. If the Heat literally did it, that's why I'm saying there's a possibility that the Cavs can follow that route.
I mean, the
I think they could
Cavaliers.
beat any other team.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to compare the Cavaliers to the Bucks and the Celtics because the Celtics and the Bucks are just far more into their development.
Absolutely.
They've had their
More
guys for
experience too.
more years. Tatum and Brown are 2 solidified all-stars, where the Cavs, you have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland showed out last year, but they're still trying to play together and find ways to share the ball because Garland has taken a dip in stats, a huge dip in stats from last season. It's not worrying because it's a brand new team. There's up and downs in the season. I said this last show, and I don't know if you sided with me because you just kind of flipped it right now where you said that you think Atlanta's just as good. I said last show, the Cavs and the Hawks are in the same tier. They're in the exact same tier for me. That is a series that'll go 6 to 7 games. There's no doubt about it. And the tier 1 teams in the East are the Celtics, are the Bucks, and the next tier are the Hawks and the Cavs.
I feel like I
think we all
maybe
had
I said that I
Atlanta.
favor Atlanta, but the tier
Atlanta's
of
a-
teams,
yeah.
I also do include Toronto in that. I know you guys
Toronto's
don't.
not in that tier.
I think they are because without Siakam, they're still a top 10 offense and defense.
They're barely 500 without Siakam.
Without Siakam? Or do you mean
I'm
with
talking
Siakam?
right now as a whole. No, with Siakam, obviously they're amazing, but I'm just talking right now in totality. They're still the 5th seed in the East, and even still, numbers-wise, offense, defense, they're top 10 both.
I don't know.
Respect
The
them.
Cavaliers.
Respect them.
No, the Cavaliers to me.
No.
I understand where the hype is coming from. The Cavaliers to me, if everything does go right, they could upset the Celtics or the Bucks. Like if everything, they could. There's a chance.
I ain't saying
I don't give the Raptors
Losing
even a
me.
little bit of a chance to do that. The Raptors have no chance to make it to
Really?
the conference finals. They have none. Absolutely
Even
zero.
though they
Nick
have more
Nurse being
experience,
the head coach
they
doesn't
have
matter
They
to
have the
you.
better coach and they have more experience in Cleveland.
They have zero chance. They don't have the star power of Cleveland.
Siakam,
They have zero
some
chance
respect
to
on
go to the conference
Siakam.
finals.
I
Oh,
think the
Siakam
shot
was going
creation
crazy.
outside of Siakam's an issue for them.
That's
a
I
good-
thought Scotty
that's a
Barnes.
fair
Scotty Barnes
point.
has been bad.
Yeah.
He's-
Outside of
I
Siakam,
have-
yeah, you
I
thought
like
he was
them
going to take a
back
superstar
it's a
lead.
Taking
shame.
a step
It's a
back.
shame.
That was crazy.
It's a shame.
Yeah, that's super.
But hey,
facts.
you don't talk crazy because you said that Siakam peaked. Is all I'm saying.
Facts.
So we're both wrong here.
Hey,
That's it.
you called Scotty's Giannis like. I'm
I-
throwing that out there.
Bro,
I
yeah,
gotta just do
he
that.
moves like him for sure. He does.
Get the,
Oh my God.
What do you mean? He moves like him. But seriously, the Raptors outside of Siakam, they have no shot
Can the
creation.
Raptors beat Atlanta?
No,
No chance.
no.
I mean, there's a world.
What's
There's
wrong
a
with
world.
you?
There's a world.
Facts.
There's a
No,
world.
it's facts.
There's a
They
world.
cannot beat Atlanta.
The biggest
They cannot-
Atlanta
We
hater
haven't
in the
even,
world.
we haven't
That's
even
why it's
spoken
really
about
moving
OG
me.
Anunoby and the leap that he's taken.
No, defensively, he's been a
Defensively,
fucking
he's a
amazing.
savage, and even
Offensively,
offense,
it's still tricky.
It's in the
tricky.
works though.
It's
We
been in the
see
works for years.
No, but even
This shit's been in the works for a long
OG
time.
No, but
is
this
who
year
he
he's-
is.
he's come-
He is who he is.
His shot creation is dog
He's
shit.
an elite
But he's
defender.
been
He
getting
cannot
better
create
this season.
shots.
We love Bags here. He has no
He
bag.
doesn't. He
The
doesn't.
bag
He
is not
doesn't.
there.
He doesn't.
Scotty bag is dog
loaded.
shit too.
He's loaded.
I hate Scotty's bag. It's really
And Fred VanVleet is a great spot shooter, but he cannot drive to the basket consistently and generate shots for other people. Listen, the Atlanta Hawks are clear of the Raptors. So are the Cavaliers.
Clear. You're
They
losing
are
me.
clear of
losing
them.
me.
Raptors fans
They
gonna be
are
on your ass.
clear.
Nick Nurse is the best coach of the three teams. You're taking
Yes.
Nick Nurse every time.
yes.
Okay,
You're
sure.
correct.
You have to have talent to win at the end of the day.
Pascal Siakam is on the
Okay.
Raptors.
Both.
Yeah.
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 I
There
mean,
is
the Nets had
nobody-
talent.
The
Of course,
Raptors
got
starting
swept.
five is
I think
still
you need coach a little bit
amazing.
more.
You have the Hawks who have two All-Stars in
Hawks are-
DeJounte
listen,
and
I like
Trae
the
Young.
Hawks.
DeJounte
Clint
Love.
Capella
There we
is
go.
one of the
DeJounte.
better centers in the
Listen,
NBA.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't take
don't think
the
Klay
Hawks,
hurt them in that
but you're
series.
saying clears. You're losing me.
You're losing me
No, they
also.
do
You're
clear
losing
them.
me. I'm saying
All right.
there's the two teams. You have the Celtics. You have Milwaukee. There's three
I
teams
think,
in that
I
next
think
tier.
Toronto
The
offers that
Cavs, the
defense that
Hawks,
can give
Toronto,
Atlanta's
correct.
backcourt a problem.
Also,
Like,
your
serious
boy
problem.
DeAndre Hunter. I know you said you
Oh,
had him
God.
That's
over
enough.
RJ.
DeAndre
DeAndre Hunter
pretty
is
well
been-
offensively.
He's been
Yeah,
decent.
he's been
He
good.
has. He
He's
has.
healthy now. Look, the Hawks, I feel like they've been getting slept on. Part of it is
I'm not me. Are you
do you
sleeping on the
mean?
Hawks?
I don't know.
Are you?
I got a front row seat to watch them live, and they put on the show
You
for me.
slept on the Hawks. What
I
are you
didn't
doing?
sleep on the Hawks.
Oh, so you-
I always
so-
slept
so
on
wait, so basically,
Yeah.
I slept on
season.
Chicago for sure.
So wait. That was a weird Chicago.
That was unnecessary.
stretch, but,
That was fucking
No, but it's true though.
It was
You
very
were out-
weird.
You were out on
But
Chicago. You weren't
so
slept
but
on-
you
out on
you
them.
had to go live to see what we've been telling you about DeJounte for weeks now. You needed
Months.
to go
He had to
live.
fly out.
You had
He had
to
to
fly
fly
out
out
to
to
see that in
ATL.
person. Well, we've been telling you for months that DeJounte is really like that. This wasn't no fluke, but you needed to go live to see that. Is what you're telling me. And now
Hey,
you're all in
you
Atlanta.
can tell me that you like something, and I may believe you, but until I go try for myself, that's when I really know.
Okay.
So if you sit courtside at a Raptors game, you switching your mind?
No, of course.
West.
Thank
Come on.
you,
Call
Wes.
that out.
Maybe if I'm with Drake, I'm with him. You know, we're
Yeah,
having a couple
okay.
drinks.
You're a
I
fraud.
change my mind.
What's wrong with him?
But no, for real though, we're on the topic of the Raptors. Though the Raptors are just not as good as the Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks. I don't believe for this how I measure it. I actually give the Hawks and the Cavs a decent chance. Like it'll be a series versus the Boston and the Celtics. They will lose, but they'll lose like in 6
I
games.
think Boston
It's a
dogs.
dog. It
Atlanta.
really is.
I think
They'll
they
lose in
dog Atlanta.
6. The Raptors get
I'd
swept
rather-
straight
I'd rather-
up.
You're
I'm
not
not.
getting
I think Toronto puts up a better
That's
fight
what I was-
against
I was
Boston
about to
than
say, I
Atlanta.
think I'd rather
I
play-
think
Why?
Boston dogs Atlanta out. That defense is going to be such a problem for that backcourt.
I don't know who I'd
and I
rather
don't.
play,
And Clint
honestly.
Capella is going to be damn near irrelevant in that series.
I almost
John
want to play the
Collins.
Hawks more.
The thing with Atlanta and Cleveland and Toronto, and I think you're alluding to the talent. Atlanta and Cleveland have obviously
The
more
names.
talent.
No,
than
the
Tor-
names.
No, they have
No,
more
they have
talent than
talent.
Toronto. But what you're forgetting is Toronto has the cohesiveness. They have the experience. They have the coach. They have the continuity together. They have all that, and that matters in a playoff series. Now, I'm not saying I do think Atlanta and Cleveland are better, but you're talking about clear. I think Cleveland clears.
You're not
They
I
were
think
about to
Atlanta-
get swept by a fraudulent Sixers team last year.
about to.
went to
What's
six.
what you in about
I
to it
know,
almost?
They were up 3-0.
Scotty was hurt also.
People were talking
And so
about
Fred got
Philly
hurt
being
also.
the first team to blow a 3-0 lead. In
Yeah,
that
yeah.
series.
He
Like,
said they
they
were
had
going to
some
do
I was
it.
momentum.
ready. I thought it was going to happen.
It was not going to happen.
They looked
and that
ugly.
was with Embiid being injured. That was with Harden being to sell himself.
Didn't Atlanta win
Oh,
one?
but Fred
Didn't
being
Atlanta
out
win
means
one
nothing.
game?
Scotty
against
being out
Miami?
means
Fred
nothing.
doesn't change the series, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Oh
honest.
my god.
Yeah, no, that was ugly too. But I mean, that's without DeJounte.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just want to get to the Cavs because the last 5 games I think are a bit overblown. Yes, they've lost all 5. The Clippers by 2 points. They blew a 13-point lead in the 4th. The Kings by 7 points. They were just fouling. The Kings shot 30 free throws. They had 30 points at the free throw line in that game. The Warriors beat them by 5 points. The Cavs were up 8 with 5 minutes left, and then Steph Curry happened. And the Timberwolves, they beat the Cavs by 5. Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell did not play. And the Bucks was the first real bad loss.
Yeah.
And Jared Allen didn't play, and that was huge for how they contained Giannis. And even then, they did a fine job on Giannis. It was just all those kickouts, and Brook Lopez had a vintage game, and he was just, he had, 27, 29 points, so he just went completely off. The biggest thing has been their defense in the last 5 games. They've been surrendering 122 points per 100 possessions. But I'm not worried about their defense. If you have Evan Mobley, you have Jared Allen,
Correct.
your defense is going to be fine. And Donovan Mitchell has been a solid defender this season. They have the pieces, but they're trade away. They need a trade for a wing
position.
And I do think the Cavs are one of those teams that should be a suitor for Jay Crowder. I think Jay Crowder could come into Cleveland and he can instill some leadership and some consistency there, some culture. And Jay Crowder, I know he's not the best of players, but in all the stops that he's went to Memphis, they made a playing team. Went to Miami, they made the finals. Went to the Phoenix Suns, they made the finals. This is a guy that he goes to their team and he changes coaches.
You're starting to lose me.
Jay Crowder's a culture changer. That's what he's saying.
Lose me.
He definitely holds players accountable.
Yeah, just as long as Isaac Okoro is just far from this.
But tonight,
That's all I can,
Sorry, bro.
that's all I can do right now.
but tonight the Cavs are facing the Hornets. They should win this, and this should be a bounce back game for
Ironically,
them.
Toronto's playing the Hawks. Super great.
Oh, it should be a good
Super
game.
Great.
Toronto beat the Hawks last time they played.
Yeah,
If I'm not
no,
mistaken.
Toronto beat the Cavs. That was opening day.
No, they beat the
blanking
Hawks. They did beat the Hawks. If I'm not mistaken, they did beat the Hawks.
Maybe you're right. I'm blanking off the top of my head.
All I know is I think that Cleveland will be fine, and they're still in that second tier of Eastern Conference teams.
They smoked them.
Listen, I'm a believer in talent. You can talk to me about this continuity stuff. That does help a lot, but the shot creation outside of Pascal Siakam
worrisome.
is so limited that you cannot trust the team in a playoff series.
I know about OG, man.
In the playoffs, what matters is
Or Gary
creation.
Trent.
You need to have shot creation in the playoffs. It's as simple as that.
Gary Trent? That doesn't matter to you?
He cannot. He's
They've
a
got a little
spot-up
bit. They've got
shooter.
a little bit.
So, like, outside of
He
Atlanta.
can't what?
He can't create consistently, bro.
Who?
Gary
Gary
Trent
Trent.
Jr.
He's right. I mean, Atlanta only has 2, and Toronto has the defense.
DeAndre Hunter is a semi-good shot.
You have
shooter.
high-level
They
shot creators.
they have enough defenders where DeAndre Hunter's not
Bogdanovich is
gonna-
pretty good when he's healthy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Bogdanovich, I forgot about him.
Bogdanovich is good, but I think
Yeah.
Toronto
He's
has the
cold.
guys defensively where they
Bogdanovich would be
the
the Raptors'
offensive
second best shot
creators
creator.
for the Cavaliers are Garland and Mitchell, right?
Maybe.
So you're just saying the one extra gives you the edge?
Oh, for
What
sure.
are you talking about?
Well, you
You're
need.
saying-
You need 2. You need 2. I mean, like,
100%.
let's look at the
Garland's like
history
a
of the
wait and
NBA.
see.
You're gonna need 2.
And
Garland's like a wait and see.
Trey Young is better than Siakam.
I mean,
He's better than him.
congrats. You're telling
What do you
me
mean,
stuff
congrats?
that we know. Like, we
I
know
know, but
this.
the Hawks have the best player in the series.
But again, you're not.
and then
this season,
DeJounte
though.
Murray.
But let's not talk like Siakam is not still one of the better
He was-
players.
yeah,
in the
he's
league.
Yes, he
playing a better
is. There's no doubt.
That's it.
I love Siakam's game. I love Siakam.
Enough.
What do you
make
mean?
me sick.
What do you mean?
Oh my god, you love everyone apparently.
No, yeah, I do. I'm an
I'm
enjoyer of
not.
basketball.
Big DeJounte fan.
Let's talk to us,
Shout
man.
out
What you
to
think about
Kenny
Cleveland, man?
What's this?
What you think about Cleveland, man?
I don't think it's that concerning. I think it's more of a testament to the league at the moment. Like, if you look at the games they lost, Clippers, who they've had their struggles, but you've still got Paul George. They lost by 2. The Kings, who have been hot. The Warriors won the chip last year, and the T-Wolves. And like Joel said, it was pretty much the Bucks game was the only bad loss. I think they were up in the fourth quarter, the last 5 minutes of all of the other games apart from the Timberwolves game. Like, it's just kind of what can happen in this league at the moment. There's so many teams that can go on a run, hit 33s in a night, like 23s in a night, just get hot. And I think that's kind of what it is. They had a few injuries in that period of time. Their closing has been an issue. Like, you'd think with a team with Garland and Mitchell, they went like 4 minutes without a bucket against the Warriors. Like, that shouldn't be happening.
It was bad.
Yeah.
They have had some issues there. I think in isolation as well, they've been struggling, which is weird considering they've got those 2 shot creators. They can't get it done at the end of the game, which has been a little bit of an issue, but I don't think it's that concerning as a whole. I think they're steady.
And it's also a lot of away games too. I think almost all
went
of
on
the
a
road
West Coast
trips.
road
Yeah,
trip.
it was
Yeah.
a road
Yeah, it
trip.
was all road
Yeah.
games. And right now, Donovan Mitchell's playing 39 minutes a game. I mean, he's out there damn near
They'll
the
get
entire
Rubio
game.
back eventually.
He's
Yeah.
right now. JB Bickerstaff's Nick nursing them.
So, Wes, do you think Atlanta,
a pun?
Cavs, Toronto?
No,
What do you
he
think?
plays them. He plays
like
these
a
players a
ton
lot
of
of minutes.
starts.
Oh,
I'd say Cavs on top.
Mhm.
Atlanta and Toronto kind of need to see a little bit more from Atlanta as well, like just to see where they're at with DeJounte. I'd have them in the same tier. Like, I wouldn't have any of them clearing. I'd say Cavs are the most talented, definitely.
Yeah.
And it depends on Mobley's progression throughout the year.
correct.
If they can get a wing like Jay Crowder, who's not great, but like he's a clear upgrade on Okoro. They've been relying on Shetty Osman and Dean Wade.
And LeVert.
If they get a wing, then I'd think they'd be a decent level above. But as of now, I'd have them in the same tier.
I feel like Cleveland does lack another shot creator. Rubio hasn't been back either, and I think when he comes back, that's going to help a lot.
For sure.
But they need a shot creator. Jay Crowder I like just for the culture fit, but he's not a shot creator. I would love if they can go out and trade for Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is somebody who's rotting away in Houston, who when he was on the Rockets in those playoff series with James Harden and Chris Paul, he was the third guy that would just bring this huge spark. He's a shot creator. He can get to the basket. The two teams for me that I would love to see him on are the Cavs or the Suns. I feel like Eric Gordon. I feel like they need a player like Eric Gordon to kind of for the Suns add that extra shot creation, for the Cavs to add that extra shot creation as well, and leadership too, because he's a guy who's been through a lot of tough battles.
Trials and tribulations.
He's battle tested. Eric Gordon's battle tested.
Riv, what's wrong with that statement?
Is Eric Gordon not battle tested?
Who cares?
What do you mean?
You need some bets.
Who cares if he's battle tested, bro?
Bro, he's battle tested. What do you mean?
I mean, they have outside of Mitchell, like, what real vet do they have?
They do have Karis LeVert.
Did you just hear?
He's so inconsistent, though. Karis LeVert.
Yeah, no, but so is Eric Gordon. Like Eric Gordon's.
But they don't have a lot of guys that.
They'll give you
I mean,
5 points on a
we
night.
kind of laugh at it, but like
wasn't
outside of
Karis
Mitchell,
LeVert dropped 40, and then
And
the
then
next
he had
night
like 2
didn't
points.
play.
No, he does that. This is what Karis LeVert's life.
That's the Jordan Poole. That's the Jordan Poole.
Please.
Ooh.
That's all I can do.
I'm a
right
big
now.
fan of JP. That's future MVP. But
Oh,
yeah,
I've seen never mind said that shit.
I'm kidding. I'm
never
kidding.
went that far.
Future All NBA.
So you don't think Eric Gordon helps
Crickets?
the Cavs like that?
Future All
No, I
NBA
think
Jordan
he helps the
Poole.
Cavs. He's 6'5", though.
Yeah, I think so.
Steph's got to be
Nice,
long
6'3".
gone for that to happen.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
I helped him.
6'5" felt a little.
I don't think they need to go get Eric Gordon's another 6'3" guy next to Donovan Mitchell.
He plays small forward in Houston right now.
No, I understand. You
But
guys
that's not
play
ideal.
small
No,
everything.
he's 6'4" actually.
Yeah,
But he's a good defender, though.
PJ Tucker was your center in Houston, so I can imagine.
Eric
he did
Gordon's a good defender, though.
that. No, I think he is, but I think they need a bigger wing. Like Jay Crowder would be cool. He's not a better defender than Gordon, but he's 6'8".
Eric Gordon, in those battles with the Warriors, he locked them up.
Oh.
He locked up Klay up.
They lost. I mean, it's not hard. Okay, Klay has no bag, so what is he locking up? What is he locking up?
Eric Gordon can move, man.
No, but I'm saying Klay has no bag, so what is he like?
And he's built. He's built like a tank.
Okay.
He's strong.
What are you doing here? He's 6'3", bro.
He's not 6'4". I checked it right now.
Oh, so now I told you 6'4".
How much
You
does he
said
weigh?
He
that
said
wrong.
6'5".
What's his weight?
Like 220.
He has to be like 230 pounds, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Sturdy man.
I don't think he's 230.
230.
I told you he's
215.
217.
I actually am trying to get his weight right now.
Just take
He's 216.
230.
I gave him an extra
230,
15
yeah,
pounds.
230
230, he
OD.
wouldn't be in the league.
230
That's
was
kind of
OD.
crazy. 230 is
Yeah.
like, wow.
230 was crazy.
The New York Knicks right now are 8-7. They're 8th in the Eastern Conference. And the question for this topic list is, should the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau? Right? He's had questionable rotations. Players that deserve more playing time, a.k.a. Obi Toppin, he doesn't give on a consistent basis. And, I'm going to give my thoughts on this, but Wes, I want to hear your thoughts on it because I don't get outsider perspective of the Knicks too often. So I want to know what your thoughts on the Knicks are. Do you think this is a Tom Thibodeau problem or he's just getting dealt a bad hand?
I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't really watched the Knicks at all this season.
I mean, listen,
I haven't watched a ton of them.
That's okay.
I feel like that's the only team I've kind of lost track of.
I'm screaming.
I've seen Obi's been playing well in the minutes. Emmanuel quickly. I don't really know their direction. That's the issue I've got with the Knicks. They've got some decent young talent, but then they're playing Julius Randle 35 minutes a night when Obi Toppin's backing up and playing 20 minutes of good basketball. Like you'd think there'd be some more minutes there, but yeah, that's the one team I've kind of, not really watched a ton of.
It's understandable.
It
This is gonna be a me and you
speaks
thing, I'm
volumes. Yeah.
I've watched the Knicks. You know why I've watched the
Yeah,
Knicks.
of course.
How many
What's
games have you watched?
The Reddish.
9.
You watch more than me. I don't watch the Knicks.
I was gonna say that he's
Really?
not too far
Oh,
off.
wait, I watched.
Why are you
didn't
watching the
watch
Knicks
9?
now?
I don't watch the Knicks because it's difficult to watch them.
Oh, well, Cam Reddish starts.
I'm not saying it's difficult in the way that like it's difficult to watch them play.
I know what you mean.
But I have YouTube TV. MSG isn't on YouTube
Stream
TV.
East.
NBA League Pass, I can't watch the Knicks on NBA League Pass because of blackout restrictions. And the streaming sites, like after 2 minutes, it always freezes.
You know
up.
what I do? I put my phone on D&D, so I don't get any notifications of and I just sit there and I watch.
And for me, if the Knicks are on and the Kings are on, I'm gonna watch the Kings.
You're not a Knicks fan. You're a Kings fan.
You're
And I ain't
kinda
mad at
losing
you.
me.
I'm not mad at him because when the Warriors and the Bulls are on, you know what I'm watching. I'm
Yeah.
watching the Warriors.
I know.
Undoubtedly.
You guys honestly
better.
make me sick.
You guys have to be
Hilarious
better.
from you.
Why?
Because you're just like me.
I
I'm
watch-
just
I
a
watch
heightened.
a
I'm just you
losing
on
team.
steroids. That's
How?
what it is.
How?
You have 8 teams.
In what?
NBA.
No, I don't. All right, name.
You have
3.
all LeBron's tenure, so that's 3 already. Like, then you have Boston.
I'm not a Boston.
Crying at Boston. I'm crying.
Like the way you
He just
went,
knows ball when it
no,
comes
the
to
way you
Boston. That's
ranted
all
about
it is.
Boston last year, I was convinced.
I was a ball
Well,
You
it's
were a
because
bigger
you
Boston
two,
fan
you two
than
were
him.
disrespecting Boston.
No, we
What
just,
the
I had them
he?
going to the finals.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You had him losing in the first round.
of you
It's
guys.
a dub.
I did
It's a
too.
dub.
But I took my L.
I know, but that's why Drew had to ride so hard for them because you guys were disrespecting.
I was gonna ride till I fucking.
Finish, yeah.
That's actually cap. I
Boys
had them
almost
going to the
finished.
finals.
You had them
Bro, you
losing
had
in
they
the
lost
first round.
You had the Nets beating them.
I have my playoff cheer right here.
You had them lose.
Bro, it doesn't
I don't
matter.
Give a fuck what your
You
playoff
said the only
said.
thing
Well,
that
after
matters.
the Nets series,
Enough.
yeah, I had them go
Okay,
to the finals.
You're losing me.
After the Nets series, I had them go to the finals.
You
What do
had them
mean?
beating
What's
the
wrong with
Bucks?
that? Yes, I did. I did.
Can you confirm or deny, Drew?
Come on,
I
y'all wildin'.
only remember the Nets vividly.
You're
Yeah, 'cause it
wildin'.
was-
But to talk about
outrageous.
the Knicks, what needs to happen specifically is that you have a coach that is more fit to work with the modern NBA player. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way towards the Knicks players. You know, there's some guys that have the old school mentality, but there are some that need the TLC for lack of better term. That's just the one that comes into my mind. You can't constantly keep throwing out the same players over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's called insanity. You have Obi Toppin, who's been playing very well. You have RJ, who hasn't been playing very well. You have RJ, who's been playing. Oh, excuse me. You have Julius, who's been playing better than last season, but still been a little underwhelming. But Obi is a young player you drafted with very high capital. And I say very high capital because you drafted Obi Toppin over Tyrese Halliburton when we all knew you needed a point guard. But even still, you don't put a very profound effort into giving him more minutes. And even Cam Reddish. It took Cam Reddish really showing out on the defensive side of the ball to really get him into the starting lineup. And that was like pulling teeth for Tom Thibodeau. I think you just need a change of direction. You need new leadership in there because you need not that Thibodeau's doing a horrible job because, again, they're 8-7.
Oh, God.
That's fine. But that being said,
Right.
you need someone that is more in tune with the modern NBA player.
First of all, Thibs is doing a horrible job. His rotations stink.
Yeah, they're bad.
They are dog
They're bad.
shit. He's stubborn and stuck in his ways as a form of. He's got guys on that bench. You know, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish until he finally got the starting knob. He got some young guys on that bench, and I think he's quickly. You know, I just think his rotations and the way he's developing these guys and putting these guys in position to succeed. Your job as a coach is to put your guys in the best position to succeed, and when you're not doing that, that goes solely on you. And then to talk about the team in general, the Knicks are playing well, but they're the most.
It's weird.
They're the most mid team in the league in the form of everything about them is just mid. You know, where they ranked in the league, you know, who they haven't beaten a good team all year. They're kind of like the Bulls of last year in a sense, where they haven't beaten anybody good, you know, but they win the games that they need to win. So, what are you guys laughing at? I want to see.
No, we're just looking at tweets.
Joel has just picked every side known to man in the history of the universe.
Huh?
He's just on every side of everything.
What you mean?
So he's always right and always wrong.
What are you ready about now?
No, it's
Wait. For one, after the first round of the playoffs last year, I got like 60% right, but after the second round, I got every single series right.
It's not
About
hard.
every-
It's 2 series left.
No, after
No,
the
in the
first
se-
round,
after the
there's
second
You said
round.
after the second round you went 100%.
All right,
Okay,
no,
it's
it's
three.
two,
It's
four.
3 series left.
No, it's
six,
7 series.
7,
left.
yeah.
No,
Seven.
after
East, West.
the second round is
After
the
the second round. He said after the
WCF
first
No,
round.
I said
That's
after the
the
first
first
round.
You went 100%.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Didn't you pick Philly
I
and
had-
then you flipped off?
Philly
I'm asking. I'm
played
just
who?
asking.
Miami?
Yeah.
No, I had
You
Miami.
had Miami?
I had Miami.
And you picked Phoenix or you picked Dallas? Be
I
honest.
picked Dallas. Yeah, I picked
To
Dallas
start?
in 7. Yeah.
Okay. And then and you picked Memphis or Golden State?
Golden State easily. Yeah.
Okay. And then you picked the Bucks or you picked Boston?
I picked the Boston Celtics.
Did you flip in the middle of the
No,
series?
bro, I picked the
I want you
Boston
to be
Celtics.
100%.
I went to
100%.
Because with you, I don't
You never
know.
know.
I
And the-
went
never
100%
When
on
Phoenix
series.
went 2-0, did you flip? Because I think that was the one where you flipped until
That
I
was
got
that
Phoenix.
was a close call. It was.
You flipped on that one.
I'm
Okay, so
just
you didn't go to
Come
100%.
on, man.
Yeah.
I went better than Yato.
That's good. We don't
That was
flip.
a
None of us
close
flip.
call.
That's the
Bro said that was a
the
close
Dallas
call.
and Phoenix one
Crying.
was like
We needed
they
the
were
Celtics
they
to
were
win.
up
They would've
2-0.
had a better
And
record.
The
I
Suns
think
were up 2-0, and
you picked Phoenix.
I was like, yo, the Dallas Mavericks are a little bit outmatched here, but I didn't count out Luka.
But did you decide
Y'all
Phoenix was gonna win?
y'all said Suns was winning in 5. I had them winning in 7.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, when they went up 2-0, because I remember you having a rant about it, Did you decide that Phoenix is going to end up winning that series? Because if you did, that's not 100%.
I probably did.
I know you did.
But I did go 100.
You did not go 100%.
I went 100% on everything else.
No. That doesn't work.
100% everything else? What does that
What's
mean?
wrong with
It doesn't
you?
work
That I
like
didn't
that.
get
You don't
many
get
of them
one
wrong.
and be
What are
like,
you
well,
talking
everything
about?
else, that's not 100%. It's fucking 92.
No, if I get a question wrong on the test,
You didn't
It's
get
not
100.
outside of that question, I got 100% right.
But you didn't get 100
Your
on the
grade isn't
test.
100.
You got a
it's
90 on the test.
Yeah.
Yes, but outside of that one question, I got 100% right.
Oh,
Yo, you're crazy. You're crazy.
man.
Are we talking about the Knicks still?
We are talking about the Knicks, and listen, Tom Thibodeau has shown some growth. Cam Reddish is in the starting lineup. Evan Fournier is now getting benched.
Good.
Tom Thibodeau grouped in Quentin Grimes today. I have no idea why. The Knicks had a team-only dinner after they lost to OKC. They surrendered 145 points to OKC. Then they beat Denver, but without Nikola Jokic, so take that with a grain of salt. Listen, whenever the Knicks aren't as good as fans think they should be, people love to scapegoat, and they never hold players accountable. I understand Tom Thibodeau is not the best with rotations. He's very bad at that. I question his lineups all the time. But RJ Barrett is not good. He's shooting 40% from the field.
Wait, not
He's shooting
good or hasn't been
25%
good?
from
Did this
three.
last year. We had this
He's
conversation.
mid. He's
We had-
mid.
Stop.
RJ Barrett
So
is
you're
mid.
Mid is.
Stop.
Come on.
Is Tobias Harris mid?
Hell fucking
Is
yeah.
RJ Barrett as good as Tobias Harris?
Right now, he's not playing as good.
Right.
But I would have RJ over
Yes,
Tobias.
agreed.
Why would you have RJ over Tobias Harris?
To start a
basis
team,
do you
I'm
have?
not picking Tobias Harris to
Who
fucking
cares
start a team.
if you want to win a championship? And you
Neither
need
of
to
them
play.
I would pick. If
You'd
we went-
rather
no,
pick
I would
Tobias
neither.
Harris.
I would literally
Wes,
just go
Wes,
to
would you pick RJ Barrett or
Yeah,
Tobias Harris? Tobias
Tobias
Harris.
Harris.
Tobias
Floor
Harris.
said that with
spacing,
confidence.
shot creation is better.
Shot creation,
Yeah,
floor
Wes,
space.
that
Tobias
was-
Harris has
that
been on
was
playoff
easy.
teams, and
Too
you have
easy.
forgot he played.
At least he can knock down threes.
RJ
That's what
Barrett
you're
cannot
getting from Tobias
shoot.
Harris.
He can't shoot.
At
And
one point in
this-
time, he did. And last year, listen,
One season he
started,
did.
He did it. He did this. What he's doing now.
Yeah.
Last
Bro,
year.
RJ Barrett was never good. He was a horrible shooter coming into the
no,
league.
that's fine. I agree with that.
People
But he
progress.
did shoot 40% one year, outlier year. I can agree.
Fans weren't in the building.
What that year that
Now that
y'all
guy-
went 40%? That was when y'all were the 4th seed. What are you
Yes,
talking
fans
about?
weren't in the building.
Nah, he's right. That
Oh,
was the, yeah, you're right.
facts.
Julius Randle shot 40% for the
But
year.
last year, RJ came out the gates and struggled. It wasn't until 2022 that he really started to cook.
Who do you think is better shooter, Julius Randle or RJ Barrett?
Probably Julius.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Yeah. I mean, RJ's shooting, what, 25%?
25% from three.
And 40% from the field.
This is
Yeah,
the thing
it's
about
not been
RJ
great.
Barrett, and it's funny because everybody wants to blame Thibs and stuff, but RJ Barrett has not made a drastic improvement. And last year, when he started off slow, I got on his case and I said, "Listen, I think this guy's just like a Harrison Barnes. He's just a role player." RJ Barrett does not have a defined role on any team in the NBA because he can't be a go-to option scoring. He's inefficient. He can't be a second option scoring or a third option scoring. He's a good defender, yes. His playmaking is shit. He cannot pass out the pick and roll. He's a terrible playmaker. His assist-to-turnover ratio is terrible. Last year I said that I don't know what his role in the NBA is. He had that little stretch. It fooled me. I got back on the train. And now he's starting the season off bad again.
Throw us off the train.
RJ Barrett, people...
Theme.
RJ
Huge
Barrett,
team.
Knicks fans hold this guy to such high regard when he's literally been mediocre. And it's funny because all Knicks want to do when Tom Thibodeau has a slip up, man, Tom Thibodeau, his rotations suck. He should be fired. When RJ Barrett shoots 1 for 18 from the field, he'll figure it out. There's no accountability for RJ Barrett when he's shit.
Can you blame Knicks fans? They
No,
want to
no,
have
it's
hope.
not even
They
that.
see-
RJ
but-
Barrett is young. Thibodeau,
Yes,
he's
exactly.
been here for a while.
RJ
Thibodeau's
Barrett's in his
not gonna
fourth
take
year.
you
Can I
over.
also
You see
ask,
RJ
are
can
you
do
going
that.
to share what you shared with me of players in that draft that you're going to take over?
the tweet, he
RJ?
had-
But yeah, I
some
will.
good
But,
names.
but
Some good
look,
names.
look at these splits.
DeAndre
RJ Barrett, 4 for 18,
No,
5 for
losing
18,
it.
2 for 10, 5 for 14,
It's
7 for
ugly.
18.
Yeah.
What
Gets
are
to the
you
rim, he can't
talking
finish.
about?
He gets to the rim. It's weird.
The best thing about him is slashing to the rim, and he can't finish around the basket.
Can't make free throws either.
And yes, I will get to the players I'm taking over RJ Barrett quite easily
Les, I want you
in
to
his
lock in on
same
this
draft class.
because there's going to be a moment 5 months from now where if RJ's
listening.
playing amazing, he's going to be like, "I told you." Just be ready for that moment.
Yeah, I stay firm on my opinions all the time.
Jesus
Y'all
Christ.
crazy.
You just said that you embrace being called Mr. Flip Aside.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about my taste. I'm talking about what I stacking cheddar. Players from the 2019 draft that are without a doubt better than RJ Barrett. Zion Williamson. Is that correct, guys?
Yes.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
of course.
Ja Moran.
No debate.
Yes.
Yep. We don't need to talk about it.
No, I need you guys to just say yes.
Yes.
DeAndre Hunter.
Without a doubt, I don't know.
That's the one where I'm
Without
like,
a
Say
doubt.
Hunter, but
toss up, but I'll take DeAndre.
I'm gonna say I'm taking RJ because I'm not gonna overreact to one. move.
Yes.
Darius Garland.
Hell yeah.
Garland.
Oh, yeah.
Garland.
Tyler Hero.
Yes.
give me Hero.
Yeah.
Damn it!
You should say yes.
Why should
You're a
I?
big hero guy.
What?
Are you?
Since when have I
That's
been?
not true.
Yeah,
I
thank
lied.
you.
Sorry. You're a Trent guy. Pardon me.
Thank you. I'm gonna go
worse.
hero, but it's
without it again. Without a
it's
doubt,
tough.
I don't know.
No, hero should be the consensus right here.
Jordan Poole.
You know my answer.
Jordan.
Pool
Come on,
money.
Jay.
Oh, if we're gonna over that, we're gonna
He
overreact
starts
to
out, he
RJ.
averages
We're not
29
gonna
points.
overreact
Essentially
to
the same
Jordan
guy.
Poole.
He averages 29
The
points when he
same
starts.
guy.
RJ
The
Barrett don't
same
average
guy.
29 points when he starts. Give me Poole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
put
we're
Poole in the
overreacting
starting
to
lineup in
RJ.
New York. He's giving you 24.
If you put Poole in the
24
starting
and
lineup right there, he's averaging 24 and 7 clean on efficient shooting. The defense
Yeah.
may be a little, but offensively he's a dog.
I'd go Poole, but not by much.
Pool party.
Keldon Johnson.
They the same
Keldon.
dude.
I probably
They're not the same dude.
because Keldon's improved year to year.
Keldon Johnson.
and-
is-
Keldon's been nice.
Keldon's coachable.
In the sense of they came out as slashers, and one guy has steadily improved. The other guy's just like, give me Keldon though.
RJ Barrett is a disappointment of a third overall
Jesus
pick.
Christ.
And listen, these three players may not be better than him on an individual standpoint, but in terms of fit, I'd rather take Cam Johnson than RJ Barrett. I'd rather take PJ Washington over RJ Barrett. And Kevin Porter Jr.
Bro,
is the
that's what I
debate.
said. That's what I said. I said
What?
PJ Washington.
PJ fucking Washington?
Yes.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Joel.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I
Joel.
said to him. I said
And then the KPJ, what you said, KPJ?
No, KPJ.
KPJ.
Kevin Porter Jr.? That was a little spotty too.
KPJ is more understandable than PJ.
Why?
PJ Washington can space the floor. He can
PJ, you
defend.
lost me with that one. I don't get. I give
As
you-
a role player on the championship team, would you rather have RJ Barrett or PJ Washington?
I don't know. I Cam, yes. I give you
But
Cam.
let's just say the Phoenix Suns. Would they rather have PJ Washington or RJ Barrett?
PJ Washington.
The Milwaukee Bucks, PJ Washington or RJ Barrett?
RJ Barrett.
RJ.
He'll put
Over
pressure on the rim.
PJ?
He'll put pressure on the rim. RJ Barrett.
And that's-
He cannot finish around the rim.
Hey man, listen. I promise you, nobody's picking fucking PJ Washington
Yeah,
over.
I
The,
don't know.
the Celtics, PJ Washington or RJ Barrett?
Oh, that's PJ Washington.
That's
No.
not
They
fair.
need
We
a
don't.
big.
We don't need guards.
No, they don't.
Even though RJ.
I'm just saying that there is not a skill that RJ has currently,
Getting to the rim is a skill.
but he cannot finish.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he's
the other part
getting
of
to
the
the
skill.
rim.
There-
but
there
he's
is not-
got
two
half the
parts.
skill. Yeah,
Bro,
he's got
there
half
is
it.
not a skill RJ Barrett has that a championship team looks at and says, we are missing that on our team.
Defense.
He's a good defender. He hasn't even been great this year.
He's not elite, but I mean, he's not a
He has,
cone out
he's
there.
took a little bit of a step down this year.
That's my biggest gripe with RJ Barrett. That's my biggest gripe.
What about PJ fucking Washington that gives you this excitement? What is he?
It's
done?
not that he's exciting. He's steady. I know what he is.
I mean,
I don't know. I think the Knicks trying to fire Thibs. Just
This year,
it's a
PJ
roster
Washington,
situation,
PJ
bro.
Washington's averaging 15 and 4 this year.
I'm actually crying at that.
Generational hate, man.
you hear this shit, Wes?
I'm hearing it. I think I like that tweet.
The PJ Washington shit.
I didn't say that to
that's-
PJ Washington.
We were on.
You might
We
have
were
said
on
I didn't
live.
see
Yeah.
PJ
Yeah.
Washington. I
No.
saw Hunter.
But it's
Yeah.
just PJ Washington for his career, 12 points, 45% from the field, 37% from three. You know you're going to get a great three-point shooter.
Average.
At
yeah,
least, you know.
great. Oh, come on.
A good
He's not
three-point
Sam
shooter.
Hauser.
You're gonna
Come on. It's not
but,
Sam Hauser.
but spot up, you're going to get a good one. And he's a good defender.
He's a guy, yeah.
And you got to understand, with the Hornets, like last year, it was LaMelo, it was Hayward, it was Miles
Rozier.
Bridges.
Yeah.
Now, this year, he's averaging 15 because he's like the second option.
LaMelo's been
on the
out.
next-
They're not
and they
good.
have Terry Rozier. Like, he's been the fifth option on the Hornets.
Kelly Oubre.
If he's been in the RJ Barrett role where he's the second option, he's averaging over 15, 16
Where's
a game.
the team though?
That's what I'm saying.
If
There's
PJ
not gonna be
Washington's
a
your
team.
second option, you're a
If
top five
RJ
pick.
Barrett
Yeah,
is
you
your
did.
second option, you're not very good either.
You literally made the playoffs as RJ Barrett's your second option.
did.
You literally did.
Derrick
that.
Rose is better than him that
Jesus
year.
Christ. Be for real here.
That's facts. Bro, we got Derrick Rose winning 24 and 11.
Okay, but RJ Barrett was your second option.
Yeah,
that
he
year.
for sure.
Now in the playoffs, Derrick Rose in the playoffs was our guy.
Well, I mean, nobody was your guy in the playoffs. That's why you lost 5 games.
Derrick
But what
Rose was
I'm
your
saying,
guy.
walking in, RJ was your second option. And right now, he's your third.
And also, like, Emmanuel Quickly, his defense has been terrific this year, but he's shooting 29% from three. He shot 39% from three as a rookie.
This
So
guy who's unmovable.
I'm just saying that, like, Knicks want to hold Thibs accountable for everything,
It's
but
a roster.
these players are not
It's
playing
roster.
well, and they do not get spoken about.
The Knicks don't have a number one or number 2 on the roster that's a championship level player.
As a Knicks fan, I just want a superstar. I want a young star.
Yeah.
I just want somebody that I could turn the TV on. I'm like, I want to watch this guy. I've never want to watch RJ Barrett. Never.
Bro,
I don't.
This is getting rude.
I don't turn the TV on and say I want to watch RJ Barrett.
I want to watch Cam. I don't lose.
Do any of you say, you know what? I'm gonna tune into this game to watch RJ Barrett?
I don't
really.
Have you ever said that in your life?
Nope, not once.
The playoffs.
No, you didn't.
The Hawks one.
You watched the Trae Young. Stop it.
I know, but it was a great series.
Yeah, but you didn't look. It wasn't great.
It was
Was it?
exciting.
It was 5
It was
games.
exciting. It was exciting.
It wasn't that exciting either, brother.
It was
man.
funny more than anything.
It was definitely a comedy
The
show.
fuck Trae Young chance, like come
Yeah,
on.
but you were more excited for the
that's got
fans
nothing
than
to do with
actually
RJ.
RJ Barrett. Like
maybe
No, you were
more the
watching that for
atmosphere
Trae.
than anything.
You were watching that.
It just hurts my heart that
Does it really? You look fine over there.
no, it hurts my heart because in 2019 we had the best odds. We should have had Zion. KD and Kyrie should have came over. We should have had a championship by now.
I mean, you're
We
asking
not
for a
only
ton.
did we not get Zion, we didn't get Ja either.
Yeah, you got RJ
It
Barrett.
hurts.
You could have got Garland too.
Could have, but I mean at 3. I don't know. Were people
What was he,
consider-
5?
That's true. But was he really in consideration at 3 at the time?
He was.
He was.
There was articles about
Okay.
the Knicks taking him. Yeah.
It's just
That's
it was after 3 to 5 was like up and down, but 1
Yeah.
2 was.
Porzingis has been
Yeah,
hooping
yeah,
this
yeah.
year.
Porzingis
Kristaps
has
is playing
been-
pretty well.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Everybody plays
the
good
one,
when
the one
they
that
leave
got
the
away.
Knicks.
There's a lot of the ones that got away.
Now, there's this tweet that at Wade_Josiah sent us, and it's a graphic of this every team's biggest disappointment. And it's from, I think, this account called Slam Studios. So shout out to them. And we're going to react to this team. We're going to react to this list right now. I'm just going to name the player, and you tell me if you think that player has, in fact, been the biggest disappointment or it's another player on that team. Who's tweet? What?
That's our boy Sean. Surge tweet. I hate the Broncos, Yankees, Lakers, Dolphins, and Arsenal.
He
All
just
the
hates
Drew's
everybody you
teams.
like.
And he said Andrew.
All right, so every team's biggest disappointment this season is sponsored by Boom Fantasy. Right now, we're hosting a NBA League Pass and YouTube TV giveaway. If you deposit $10 or more into the Boom Fantasy app, the link is in our bio.
We have a winner too.
For Modern Warfare
Are
2.
we announcing that yet?
Yeah, who? Yeah.
Let me pull up the name.
Didn't you email him?
I emailed him. He has not answered, but that same thing happened with our last winner. And once he heard the show, he responded. Let me find his name real quick.
Yeah, what's his name? Let's shout him out on the show real quick, then get to these every team's biggest disappointments in the league. I guess we could just start right now.
Jackson's his name.
Jackson Rogers, I believe.
Yes.
So shout out to Jackson Rogers for winning the Modern Warfare 2 giveaway. We're going to have another giveaway for YouTube TV and NBA League Pass. Just deposit $10 or more into the Boom Fantasy app. The link is in our description.
And Jackson, I emailed you, so respond to me. Let us know what system you play on your
You get a
social
week.
media.
You get a week, Jackson.
You get a week, or else we're going to have to pick another winner.
Every team's biggest disappointment, first team, the Atlanta Hawks. This graphic here has Trae Young as the biggest disappointment.
I agree.
It's a fair statement to make, but he's gonna cook up.
Yeah,
it's inevitable.
it's
It's
matter
just
of
his
time.
business efficiency, but I agree.
Yeah, give him some
right
time.
now.
So,
Like,
you know,
imagine how
gel.
good the Hawks have been as is without Trae Young being Trae Young. That's scary.
What do you think, Wes?
Yeah, as of now, it's definitely Trae. That's because of the expectations we have for him, but also his shooting span. Yeah.
For the Celtics, it's no one.
I
Ime Udoka.
mean,
That's-
Brogdon got banged up, but whatever.
For me, it's him.
The answer is no one. They've been amazing, every single player.
The Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
bad.
he finally had a good game last night where he looked.
ate 6 or 6.
Yeah, he
Dude,
shot
he was
well,
good.
but
Dude said he ate and he scored 15 points.
for Ben Simmons, that's
6 for 6.
That's
He
a
have,
career
what do you
game.
have, 12?
3 or
Was it
4 from the
12?
free throw line.
Was it 12 boards?
Knocked him down.
6 assists, yeah,
Congrats,
something like
bro. He ate.
that. That's a big step for him.
That's
With
got-
all
yeah.
jokes aside, it's a big step for him.
It is. Ben Simmons, I would agree with this one, or Kyrie. The Hornets, PJ Washington.
Ironic.
That's hilarious.
I haven't watched much Hornets. I truly can't answer this
Yeah,
one.
I mean, the Hornets are kind of a mess right now. LaMelo just re-aggravated his
Hey, you
ankle.
could say
too.
Miles Bridges. That's been
There's one.
There it is.
I mean,
That's
he's
the
technically
answer.
not on the roster, though.
And that's only because of him.
How about the FO for letting these dudes act like that?
Actually,
go. That's
not
well
PJ
said.
Washington, but James Bucknight. Where is he?
He's got a lot of that this episode,
Yeah,
right?
James Bucknight, I
Hey,
think
man,
it's a
I
disappointment.
take my L's in quietness.
I would take James Bucknight over PJ Washington for this. The Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Patrick
super
Williams.
disappointing.
Oh, my God. If I can put him in a blender and just trade him for somebody like
Oh, that's what I'm glad that's where you went with it. Put him in
I
a
was
blender.
wondering where he's going with that.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, Evan Mobley.
No, fuck no.
I
Isaac
wouldn't
Okoro.
say. Yeah, there it is.
But coming into the season,
He was a top 5 pick.
it depends who.
He was a top 5 pick.
depends what you
He was a
thought
top
about
5 pick. I don't
Nah,
care.
bro, nah.
He averaged
I
2
know,
points.
but
And Mobley,
years
no,
ago.
you can't say
But we
Mobley.
knew, but the
Mobley-
Okoro, we know the
Mobley's
Okoro
offense
player
was gonna
who
take
was.
time
Exactly.
regardless.
What's the disappointment that he's not averaging 20?
Yeah.
The defense
His
is still
offense was going to
elite.
take. Isaac Okoro is a top 5 pick, averaging 3 points in year 3. He is easily the most disappointing player I've
Were you
ever
expecting
seen.
Okoro to take a leap this year?
I was expecting him to average 9 to 10 points or something.
I'm just
He
saying.
averages 3.
I know, but, like, I feel like it
he's not
depends-
even in the
it depends on
rotation
your
anymore.
expectations.
Dean Wade is playing more than him.
Yes,
Lamar
exactly.
Stevens, guys like that.
I don't think Mobley's been a disappointment. I think he's playing a role. I do think Okoro is the biggest disappointment. Now, this one shocked me. It's the Mavericks, and it has Christian Wood here.
Oh, your guy.
Ridiculous.
Reggie
Yeah, he
Bullock.
started
It's
off hot.
Reggie Bullock easily.
Yeah, probably.
Reggie Bullock's averaging 4 points.
He has like
Yeah.
hella 0-point games.
He's shooting
I
horrible.
mean, what
from
is
three.
Reggie Bullock really?
Supposed to be a spot up 3-point
He's
shooter.
at least an
defender.
11.
That's like their
A
entire
a
roster. outside
3
of
and
Luka.
3 D player.
It's the roster.
That's a guy who contributed a lot for that little.
I know.
Christian Wood's been good for them, though. I don't know why he's
Maybe 'cause-
disappointing.
6th man of the year.
Yeah, that's the case. Nuggets, Jamal Murray.
That's
That
easy.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean,
That's
but
easy.
injury.
It's
you know.
he's
Give
going
him
to
some
find
time.
himself.
Yeah.
I believe it firmly, but it's understandable that you say that.
As of right now, I guess can't disagree with that one too much. Next team is the Pistons, Sadiq Bey.
Yes,
Haven't
Yeah.
taken too much Pistons on.
I think at this point, no point of putting Killian Hayes up here. He's just who he
okay.
I
is.
mean,
That's
Killian
fair.
Hayes is utter
Yeah.
trash. With all due
He's had
respect,
a few decent games,
Oh God,
What's a decent game for Killian Hayes?
7 and 4.
like 10 and 7.
10-5, just efficient, just
Yeah.
I was gonna say
efficiently.
he
Not
can pass the
shooting
ball.
20%.
Yeah,
Like,
He
that's
can pass
decent.
the ball. That's about
Honestly, if he played a game and he scored 2 points and he went 1 for 2, but he did nothing wrong, that's a good game for him.
it. We get mad disrespectful.
No,
on
ve-
Killian
No,
Hayes'
it's
game
like
on
watching
this
him
show.
is like
He dribbles with like his head at his knees. Like, he's like dribbling like that.
he's always
Like,
trying to
it's
make
not
these
great.
Jason fucking Kidd passes, and it never goes through.
It's just something about French players that just don't pan out. Hopefully, Victor's different.
Yeah,
He might be.
pretty good.
Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson.
Could be him or Poole.
Yeah.
I would
was-
probably lean Poole because Clay is still working back from injury. But it's
Good.
under.
Clay's even worse than he was last year.
No, good
No, for
good.
sure.
He wasn't bad last year.
He wasn't bad.
What I'm
He was-
saying is
no.
he's worse this year, even
Clay-
further
I
removed
watched
from injury.
Klay Thompson take 3 pull-up threes and 2 people roll.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
This next one is the Houston Rockets, Jabari Smith Jr.
Easy. Well, he's a rookie, but
Yeah,
all right,
he's a
yeah, that's
rookie.
fine.
Like,
yeah.
Rookie a month in.
I was
You
saying
would've
Steven
said, 'cause you
Silas.
would have said Jalen Suggs last year for Orlando.
I'm saying Steven Silas.
Okay. Yo, Usman.
Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't specify player.
Usman Garuba.
No, you're sick.
Yeah.
He's
Yo.
still not worth the top 10.
No. But hey, your boy. Let me not get into this one. Let me just be.
Actually, I
wise.
really want to know now.
No. I was gonna say
Sengun's
Kuminga. No, I was just gonna be an asshole and say Kuminga.
Kuminga's fine in his minutes.
Yeah,
he
he
just
is.
doesn't play.
He is.
The next team is the Indiana Pacers and Chris Duarte.
Well, I mean, he was a 25-year-old rookie.
He's averaging 9 points this year.
Yeah, definitely.
You would think
not
he would be
playing as
more.
well
He
as
would
last
come in
year.
with more poise, have the veteranship. Being as he played so long in college, so it has to be him.
You could also say Jalen Smith, who's been terrible defensively.
He's 21.
Yeah, I understand. So, I mean,
He has good games though.
occasionally, you're right.
Duarte stinks, man.
Love the goggles.
I can't believe they did.
You know that the Pacers have
He looks cool.
the only 2 players averaging less than 30 minutes a game that have 18 or more points per game.
Benedict.
Mathurin and
Mathurin
Halliburton?
and Miles Turner.
Oh, Miles Turner.
He's about to be the first rookie to come off the bench to average 20. That's right. That's apparently what the
He's been
trajectory
eating.
he's on.
The Clippers' biggest disappointment is Norman Powell.
Where's Kawhi Leonard?
Well, I mean, Kawhi hasn't played.
Reggie Jackson.
Another
Guess
good
there's a few
name.
names on that team. Yeah.
Reggie Jackson. Norman Powell.
You gonna name Kawhi?
His knee. I would name his knee before him.
You're disappointed in his knee?
Yeah.
That's fair.
His knee.
Lakers.
Everybody.
LeBron James.
Nah.
Are they dead ass?
I would
No,
say.
yeah, it has LeBron James here.
I would say Pelinka.
Can confirm. It says LeBron James.
LeBron's up there.
I would say
He's top
Pelinka
3 at
or.
least.
I don't think you could have Braun.
Gotta say Pelinka, man. Come on, what are we doing here?
As a player, though, I think Patrick Beverly is up there as a player.
Patrick
he's been
Beverley's
bad.
been horrible.
Really
He's
bad.
really just been running. No, he
Good
runs.
cardio.
I'm angry.
He
Cardio.
runs.
That person
Oh,
was.
shit.
He's waited years and years to do that.
I mean, I guess because LeBron's not doing what he's been doing.
yeah,
so.
no, yeah, I understand. I mean, listen,
But he's still.
it's
Like even when
disappointing 'cause
LeBron's
it's not
teams play
LeBron.
bad, he always is the one where it's like at least
Yeah, I mean,
LeBron's
Braun
LeBron.
giving you 30, right?
The Memphis Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks.
I mean, he's always the disappointment. So yes,
Dylan Brooks' shot selection is one of the most bizarre there is.
He has the lowest IQ in NBA
He
history.
swears that he's Kobe Bryant. He needs to relax.
And his defense has become a bit overrated.
You think so? I feel like that's the only reason why they still put him out there.
I just
on
don't
the
think
court
that
as much as they
I
do.
think they're waiting for Zaire Williams or to find a better deal to get a 3.
Yeah, I agree. It is Dylan Brooks. Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo.
What about Kyle fucking Lowry?
Yeah, Lowry.
I'd go Kyle Lowry.
Has
I don't think
Lowry
he's
been
been
bad
bad.
this year?
Pat Riley for not building a better roster?
Yeah,
I feel like
you can't
Lowry
rely on
has
Kyle
adjusted
Lowry.
to his role. I guess offensively,
Bam's been
points
good.
per game.
I really didn't think Bam was playing bad.
Kyle Lowry this year is averaging 13, 4, and 5, shooting 41% from the field and 36% from 3.
I guess he's
It's not
kinda just playing his
horrible.
So I'm gonna
role.
say
It's his
Pat Riley.
role.
I'm
Pat
naming
Riley.
Yeah,
I'm
bro's
naming
going front
everybody.
office.
You're naming the
Link
front
up.
office.
The
Pat
only
Riley.
reason
I'm
why
coming for everybody.
the only reason why you could say Bam is because he hasn't become more well-rounded in
Yes,
his
Bam
offensive
hasn't
game.
become a top 10 player in the NBA, so let's
Yeah, I
shit
mean,
on
it's
him.
That's
not
not
gonna
that's
happen.
not what we were expecting of Bam.
I think Duncan Robinson is also another disappointment.
He was
here.
disappointing last year.
Yeah, I think that's just continued though. They
Shout
get
out to
money.
Max Strus. Max Strus needs some respect.
For the
My
Milwaukee
20%.
Bucks, it has no one has been a disappointment.
I agree.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, it's been Anthony Edwards.
D'Lo.
What are your thoughts?
It's D'Lo.
It's
Easily.
D'Lo.
No,
It's
way.
D'Lo.
No way. It's Ant, right?
No way it's Ant.
No, it's not
At all.
It's D'Lo without a
D'Lo's
doubt.
been rough.
For the Pelicans, it's Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, he hasn't been closing for them at all. So I'd say, but I don't know. That's kind of just he doesn't fit with Zion.
Yeah, I just
in
don't
those
think. I
closing
think they
lineups.
just have I
Yeah.
think they need like a Miles Turner, like a stretch 5 to let Zion just work. CJ McCollum.
He's been good.
Oh, he's been bad. Yeah,
has not been good.
like
Bad?
last 2 games, he's been good.
Like
He was
last
averaging
two-
like 10 points
for the
over
season.
4
Like in the
games.
season
Okay,
totality. He hasn't
okay.
been that good.
He's averaging 19 on the year.
Solid.
Yeah, coming off a year where he was much better. When he played.
There's a
with-
lot
he
of
also
mouths.
played half the
There's a
time
lot
in
of mouths to
Portland.
feed in that offense. You have to cater to Zion and Brandon Ingram, and McCollum is just trying to find himself in that offense. It's taken some time, but again, Pelicans are still looking good.
For the New York Knicks, it's RJ Barrett. I think that's obvious.
Yes.
OKC, it's Josh Giddey.
What about what?
Yes.
That's you, Giddy man.
Yeah, I mean,
His offensive output is just not there.
you
Did y'all see
expected
his
Blue
bag?
Dort's been pretty bad.
Did I see the 8 in and outs the other day?
From who? Josh Giddey?
Yeah, that shit was
Respect his
hilarious.
bag.
He scored
Respect
too.
his bag. He scored.
He dead scored on that play. That shit
I'm
was
looking.
crazy.
I'm looking at the Thunder's roster. So
Wes, are you a Josh Giddy guy?
Of course. It's just kind of you got to be.
Yeah, you have
You got to
yeah,
put
he's
on for the boys.
Australian.
You look like.
So
Josh
are you a
Giddey.
Ben
That's who you
Simmons
really
guy?
look like.
Yeah, I don't mind Ben Simmons actually.
Respect.
Are you
I
a
don't mind
Kyrie
it.
guy?
I mean, he identifies as American, so I don't really need to.
I don't think
step
anyone's a
up-
Kyrie guy these
Step
days.
up for Kyrie.
So I think Josh Giddey sure has been disappointing. You can also maybe group in Darius Baisley into that, but I think Giddey had higher expectations. So
For
I
sure.
would say Josh Giddey for right now. Magic, Jalen Suggs.
Suggs has just been injured, but I wouldn't say he's been disappointing really.
I'd say Mo Bamba.
I'm gonna say.
But I feel like that was the expectation was you were gonna have Boncaro step up, Wendell step up. I can't say the expectation was for Bol to be this.
Shout out Bol Bol.
Well,
He's
shout
been
out
balling.
Wagner. He's been amazing. But
He
if,
has
we're- if
been.
y'all brought up Kawhi, I'm talking about Jonathan Isaac.
But he hasn't even played.
Like points. That's
I used to play like 4 years.
it's been.
that's
You talk
not
about
a
Kawhi's
disappointment.
But there's different
How's that a
expectations for
disappointment at
Isaac
this
and
point in
Kawhi.
time?
Come on.
All
There's
right,
different.
I'm just
I
talking
would,
about-
I
I'm just
would,
talking about the lack
and
of
I'm,
not
I'm not
playing.
saying this. I'm saying
He's
this
been in
very
more
loosely. For
parades.
Orlando, for what they're trying to
It's all
do,
been all
I
hype.
would say no one.
I would say
Isaac's waiting for Trump to get back in. That's when he's gonna make his return. Or 2024.
I would say Mo Bamba just because last year it looked like he had like a little bit of a revelation. They extended him and now he's not playing
I
much.
think it's because of Bobo.
Yeah, he's
That is
been better.
exactly what it
Yeah.
is.
The Sixers, it's PJ Tucker.
Is Tobias not someone you could throw in there?
I would probably go
I
Matisse
guess.
Thybulle.
Where do I go?
Matisse, what is another? That's another one. I'm not saying this to be rude to you. I'm just speaking very loosely.
He's
What's the
trash
expectation?
talk, so just-
He needs to do something on offense.
He's Isaac Okoro. He's Isaac Okoro.
That's why he's this. Well, I would probably say Tobias.
That's what I said.
Yeah, PJ does what he does.
He's doo doo.
The Suns, it's DeAndre Ayton.
Really? I would say Chris Paul.
I was gonna say exactly that.
I don't think
I feel
that-
like
Yeah,
for all the
as of
drama
right
in the
now-
offseason for Ayton, he's come in like
he just
Yes, it's
dominated
bad.
the Warriors the other day. But I'll say
Aiden
right
has-
now it would
yeah,
be Chris
I
Paul.
would
just
go
right now.
CP3.
I would go Chris Paul too. The Blazers, it's no one. The Kings, it's Harrison Barnes.
I agree.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's averaging
Yeah.
11 points.
He might lose himself at the rotation in general. That team's been clicking, man.
It has been.
Fuck the Kings.
The Spurs, it's Josh Primo.
Are we?
Oh, good Jesus. Come on. I mean, yes, but.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How they gonna
Move
name?
on.
They couldn't name Miles Bridges for the Hornets.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
What type of shit is that?
Nah, Miles Bridges was on a roster this year, though.
All right, to be fair, but I feel like we saying Primo because of, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't playing bad when he was there.
Nah, he wasn't playing good either.
He was all right, whatever.
Maybe I would say like Malachi Branham. I don't know.
Blake Wesley.
Like he's been okay when he's gotten some minutes. The Raptors, it's Scotty Barnes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
by far and away.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I
think
mean,
they
if
thought he
you
was
thought he'd be a
superstar.
superstar elite, yeah, this is the easy answer for you. But if you didn't think that,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
not,
we were,
yeah.
no
Sorry.
matter if you thought it was superstar leap or not, you were expecting better than this.
I wasn't saying superstar, but he was entering. He should have entered
He
another.
should be
Should've-
improving.
you said he should have entered another round.
He should have.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
upsetting. He still has time, but it's upsetting me.
The Utah Jazz, Colin Sexton.
I agree. I mean, he had an injury, but okay, that's fair.
It's been okay.
I feel like I would honestly say no one.
THT?
I mean, what did you expect? of him?
THT.
I mean, people
It'd be
did think
somewhat better.
Sexton was going to come in and start
Be
and
the-
average
yeah,
at
be the
20
guy.
plus.
And fair, but the coach had a different idea of putting Jordan Clarkson to start, and I was fine with that because then you have Beasley and Sexton off the bench, and they've provided a great spark. I'm fine with it,
And for Washington, it's been Rui Hachimura. That's the last name.
and that's fine.
Rui.
Or you could say, he got the commercial. They were calling him Devin Booker. He gets almost no
Johnny
playing time.
Davis.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess. So that's going to do it for the biggest disappointments in the NBA this year. Now, on to this week in the NBA. And this week in the NBA, for you guys that are listening and for you, Wes, since you're on the show right now, it is just a moment that happened this week in the NBA that you want to highlight or pinpoint. And I'll start off with two. You know, I always got to have two in here. John Collins, potential trade. He's in trade talks. And I couldn't not name Embiid. 59 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists this past week. In phenomenal performance. And I got to name Joel Embiid just for that game.
Respect it. I'm going to talk about a player that we spoke about a little bit earlier in the show, Therese Halliburton. Therese Halliburton right now is on pace to be the first player in NBA history to average 20 points, 10 assists, and average 40% or higher from the three-point line. Right now, he's averaging basically 21 points per game, 10 assists, shooting 43% from the three-point line. He has been amazing. He has the Pacers right now in playoff contention. Who knows if that continues, but it's a credit to what he's been doing. He's definitely taking that all-star leap. Most likely will be an all-star this year. How great he's been playing. I had to give him his praise.
For me, mine's very simple. I oozed a lot over the past 2-3 weeks because Steph Curry becomes the oldest player to drop back-to-back 40-point games. He had 40 against Cleveland. Absolute masterclass, walk down on the Clowns. And then he had 47 in a tough loss against the Kings. He's been giving the Kings buckets, but they came to fight that day. And it just goes to show a lot of shit Michael Jordan still has records for. But credit to Steph Curry for breaking one of those. Well, getting into that conversation. When you're in a conversation with the greatest player ever, that's always something to be good.
And I need to give Steph Curry his flowers in terms of the longevity. Because this man is, 35?
He'll be 35 in February.
And he's doing the things that he's doing.
You don't know the date?
I do not.
I'm shocked.
LeBron at 34 did win.
His game is timeless, man.
It really is. It really is. So credit
love
to Steph
Steph Curry
Curry
so
and what he's
much.
been doing.
My this week in the NBA.
I'm just glad you let me in. Thanks, bro.
That's
I really agree. I really.
No, that's crazy.
Oh my
So he's Steph
You're
high,
a Harden
but
guy. I can never let you in. I'm sorry.
I picked them to win a championship last year.
And I let you in the Golden State fan club, but you left. You literally left.
You did.
You
leave.
left.
I was being objective
You
about
can be
what's gonna
objective and not leave. You left. And you
What do you
called
mean?
it.
I've been saying Steph's my guy. I like Steph.
You're a Harden guy. We cannot be guys. It can't happen.
Harden's guys with Steph. He follows him on Instagram. They follow each other on Instagram.
Good for him.
So why can I be a Steph guy and a Harden guy?
I cannot
If
have
they
that
follow
happen.
each other on Instagram, social media, why can't I follow?
Because he's a
suit?
bigger man than me. I am not. I'm sorry. Grudges is set in stone. Just like I
He
can't
had
be.
the Celtics winning.
Who?
Drew the finals, but he gets let in the Steph club.
I was the only one with an agenda
You're
here.
absolutely right.
Are you serious?
You know what? That's a good point.
I gave credit where
I'll
credit
take
is
that
due.
back.
I had the Warriors winning the championship since
I
August.
have to take that back. You did indeed pick them clowns to beat us.
That had nothing to do with.
I'm sorry.
The
You was on the
Warriors.
wrong side of history. You're an idiot.
Oh my god. An idiot?
I
You're
get
an
called
idiot for picking the
for
fucking
that.
Nets. How about that?
Yeah, how
buddy?
about that?
That's a fair one.
Dumbass.
That's a
Are
good.
you
That's a
gonna
good
shake my
rebuttal.
hand?
That's a good rebuttal.
Thank you.
I was firm
Nah,
because
that
I
was
did
bad
pick them.
opinion right
You
there.
also
Yeah,
was
both
on
of
the
y'all.
side of history with me.
You called me an idiot for like.
An idiot
We
was
didn't even have the Celtics making it past round 1.
I know. I just at that point I kept having to be a hater.
You make me
I
sick.
respect it.
You actually
I
picked
do
against the
respect
Celtics every single round.
One time it worked. It had to work eventually.
It did.
Bastards.
If you'd have
If
went
the
4-0,
Celtics,
that would have been
if the
fire.
Celtics
Oh
won
my
the
God.
championship,
That would have been so clean.
Y'all really,
Fuck.
oh man,
But-
oh my God.
Sorry, we got him next year.
You mean this
I
year?
should say.
Yeah, you won't win this year.
I had the
Next
Celtics
year.
doing their thing.
It is
for real.
technically next year.
Facts 2023. My This Week in the NBA just reported a couple hours ago about Miles Bridges. Apparently, there are several teams, including the Lakers and Pistons, that are monitoring his situation, according to Shams. I feel like this is going to go on throughout the whole season. Listen, the Lakers, with all due respect, you guys are desperate. You're in the Kyrie Irving sweepstakes. Really seem like the only team interested. Now the Miles Bridges sweepstakes. This is probably going to go on for the rest of the season until he gets signed. I think he's a restricted free agent, though, which means they could even salary cap, I guess, to sign him. But I doubt the Hornets would match anything that got offered.
Honestly,
Miles Bridges.
Oh yeah.
honestly, I know Miles Bridges did something very, very bad. He should definitely face repercussions for that.
Did you guys see that video?
From a basketball standpoint, though, I always wanted him to go to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Should
see
he
the
be out of the
video?
league for this?
Did you see the video of his baby mama knocking on his door after they got a restraining order?
No.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she was going crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a fake.
Should
I
video.
mean,
Miles-
if he's did he? I mean, he didn't get acquitted, did he?
He pleaded no contest. I think the court still
So
going
if he
on.
beat the case, I mean, technically,
Oh God.
He pleaded no contest, so whatever that
you
is.
know,
I don't think
I'm just saying, like,
I feel like you shouldn't be out of the league for this. No, am I bugging? I honestly kind of forgot.
Next topic.
No,
I'm
no,
kind of-
it's
I'm
it's
kind of
not
losing
as strong
it
as
there.
Riz making it, but
I think if you
until
beat
it's complete,
somebody,
no,
bro, if
until-
Deshaun Watson's still in the NFL, then
Like
That
I
don't
feel like
mean they
there's
did
been
that- but that
worse
don't mean they,
stuff, and people have
and also
they
that
handle
doesn't
it
mean that
right.
it's technically he's saying what he's saying is 100% correct. It's let's wait till all the facts are out, and then we can make our decision. Because
think the
from
facts
what's
are out.
already out, it's not good for Bridges at all.
yeah, I'm just saying if he beats the case, though, I don't think they'd get him out of the league for that.
technically probably
No,
not.
if he beats it, but the video footage still and the picture evidence still shows, it's going to be tough to allow him back.
It's bad. Just
Yes.
like it would really be the first time the NBA has completely blackballed someone for, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't, but it would
I
just
get what
be,
you mean.
A big moment for them.
Well, you're seeing what the NFL has done and how they've treated certain situations like this. So it's allowing you to believe that maybe the NBA does something like this. So
but
who
even,
knows?
I mean, NFL didn't blackball Deshaun. He actually got
no, but that's
$230
what I'm
million.
saying. That the NFL kind of botched whatever is going on with
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Well, it wasn't the NFL. It was the Browns.
That's true. Well, also the court ruling also said that he was to be suspended for 6 games, and then they came back, rebooted, overruled the.
And
I
listen,
definitely think
verdict.
Miles Bridges, if he's not found guilty, then he gets a suspension.
He'll have a suspension for
But it all
embarrassing the league.
it all depends on the team, bro.
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying? Like,
and
it all
also,
depends on
Miles
the team.
Bridges and Deshaun are 2 different level of players in their respective sports.
It's very true. Deshaun and Bridges are completely different levels in their respective
So yeah,
sports.
it's a bit
One guy's
easier.
a game changer,
Yeah.
franchise changer.
Bridges-
Another guy's
and
just
that's Miles Bridges.
He's an all-star. Close. He's not?
He's literally not. He's literally not.
He
Is he
averaged
anywhere?
20
Is
last
he
year.
anywhere near Terry Halliburton?
No.
All
I
right,
called
so
him an
then
all-star. He
that's
doesn't
it.
even sniff the one.
But 20 points per game is good in his respective right. He's not a scrub. At
Not a
least in
scrub.
basketball.
Is he anywhere near Brandon Ingram?
You're asking.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm just saying these are guys that are all stars, but lower end. Thank you.
Is he near Ben Simmons? Made an all-star game.
But that was when he was actually good.
All
At
right.
least you admit he's
An
not
all
good
NBA
anymore.
player. No, I'm done. I'm off that way.
Reacting to tweets that you guys sent out. This one is from @RamboSlice. If you could make one current role player into the next NBA legend, who would it be and why?
Alex Caruso.
For me, it's
'Cause-
easily Cam Reddish. Oh my God, Cam fucking Reddish. Yeah,
I say Alex
Stamp that
Caruso
for me.
because that man is at 100% every single time he steps onto the floor. The effort that he puts out is something that I want every single player of mine to have. I would love
You're
for,
oozing
and I
over
miss Alex
Alex
Caruso. I miss him badly.
He'd be a great piece for you guys right now.
but he'd be the only piece.
We should have signed DeMar. We should have kept Caruso.
Who you picking, Dehls? You're not really a role player guy.
Do you have one off the top of your head, Wes? I gotta think.
Ben Simmons.
Oh shit, that's actually going Australian.
one.
Your guy.
I mean, I'm going with PG Tucker.
Jeez, I
of
can't.
course.
Are you
I
surprised?
couldn't be
Why are
in the
you
league. I couldn't be in the
surprised?
league. I can't be in a league if PJ
That's
Tucker's a legend.
nasty.
I couldn't do it. I wouldn't watch.
There's
the
an
NBA.
alternate universe where PG Tucker
And I
is Draymond Green.
I would literally kill myself. I couldn't do it. Like the way he's just watching him come up the court, bringing the ball up. That shouldn't be.
Another one's J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith's one of those.
J.R.'s a legend as well, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
He is.
Correct.
Like,
but he was
like
still
in
a
the Jamal Crawford type of conversation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
JR
But
like
if J.R.'s lit.
Yeah.
Chris Duhon.
Killian Hayes.
Killian.
Is he even a role player?
You would
Are
need
we
so much.
associating
He's
him
a
with-
role
He's a
player.
reserve player.
Yeah, nah. For me, it's Cam, man.
Yeah.
Cam's a good one.
Is he even he's a starter?
Gerald Green.
I like that one.
Yeah.
What about Brandon
2K
Jennings?
legend?
To a degree.
I wouldn't say he was a role player.
Yeah. It's facts.
He
Imagine if
became one later on in his year.
Yeah, but even still, he wasn't.
Good point.
That's a good question, though.
You didn't name one.
He's not a role player
I
guy.
don't want to like
Like, the
Sam,
only thing
Sam
he's
Just to say
Hauser.
Sam Hauser,
Say
Grant Williams,
Grant
and
Williams,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, Grant.
Grant. He's fat and shitty. I thought.
He is. I'm
That's
standing
wrong.
on that.
That's wrong.
Okay. Wait till primetime lights come on.
He had 27 in a fucking game 7.
then
to
what do you
win
do in the
against
finals?
Milwaukee.
Shane Battier.
What are you doing
It
in the
doesn't-
finals?
who
Shane
has
Battier
who
is
has
another
27
role-playing
point game
legend.
sevens?
What are you doing? He was wide open.
He was
Steve
making them.
Novak.
Congrats for making it.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
Jimmer
it's a
Fredette.
skill.
Jimmer Fredette, actually, I would have hoped he became a legend, actually.
Trey Burke,
Jared Culver.
Shabazz Napier,
Isaiah Whitehead.
Isaiah Whitehead.
They weren't there, man.
I don't know.
They weren't there.
Who's they?
Hey.
You're nuts. Kemba Walker.
Now,
He's
this
not a role
next
player.
tweet,
Starter.
this next tweet is from @icon0925. Not really a hot take or anything. Would just like to hear guys' top 10 centers. There's some good ones and some greats. Who could get left out? Much love.
Top 10 now or all time?
Top 10 now. It doesn't specify all time right now.
Jesus
So.
Because he
Christ,
said there's
he's
some
asking for
greats.
so
let's-
much right
so y'all
now.
want to all knock off a name?
All right,
We go-
all right.
Nikola Jokic, Joel
Yeah,
Embiid.
off the top.
Bam.
Yes.
Bam. Facts.
Bam. That's 3.
Gobert.
Jared Allen has to be
Rob
in there.
Will.
6.
Rob Will. Hold up.
Wait, are we doing this in order?
Rob Will could be in the
He's
top
in
10.
the top 10 for sure. He's
let's
not.
do
He might
this
he's
in
not
order.
5, but
Oh,
Okay, so the
God.
Joker, Embiid.
Joker and Embiid. Is Cat still a center? Or is he a power forward now
I would
this year?
consider him a power forward. You can't have him and Rudy
So,
on the bench.
because we don't consider AD a center anymore, so I'm not considering Cat.
Well, AD's a
power-
center right now.
I don't
But
disagree.
I
with
wouldn't.
you.
But Cat and you can't have Cat and Rudy on the list.
So
Right now it's
Jokic,
Rudy, yeah.
Jokic, Embiid,
Bam.
Bam, Rudy,
Are we saying AD?
Jared Allen,
No, I don't think we're not.
Okay,
Going.
I agree.
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, you have to put.
Where are
him
we
in
putting
there.
JV?
I was gonna say Valanciunas.
Oh,
Jared
Nurkic.
is a
Where are we
4.
putting Nurkic?
Nurkic probably is top 10.
It's
Hey,
hard off the top.
Centers get bleak after 7.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Gotta be in there.
Balling.
Looney.
Yo,
Pirtle.
Jakob Poeltl's
Jakob
Pirtle,
Pirtle,
like
Jakob
10?
Pirtle or Looney?
He's actually been
When
good.
are we going to say Rob Will?
Oh, no,
No,
we're not
Rob.
gonna say
No,
that.
no,
Just
Rob.
gonna be
I'm
honest
taking.
with
No,
you. I'm
no,
not gonna say
no.
that.
I'm
You're
gonna say.
taking
Wait,
Kevon
what are we
Looney
gonna
over
say?
him?
Alperen
No, I'm taking
Şengün.
Kevon Looney over him.
Bro, can you take
What
the
are we?
fucking
When are we
Warriors
naming
hat off, bro?
Alperen Şengün?
Sengun's been eating.
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. He's 4th in
Number one
PR.
post
currently.
player in the league.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Right now, NBA, ESPN, PR
It
has
gets bleak.
these are the top 10 centers PR wise: Jokic, Embiid, Porzingis, Turner, Sengun, Jonas Valanciunas, Drummond, Cat, Nick Richards, Walker Kessler.
Drumming out that fucking.
Then
list.
11 to
I see.
20 is Clint Capella, Pirtle, Christian Wood,
Clint
Are we
Capella.
talking-
Nas Reed,
Nah.
Jericho
Are we having
Sims,
Sabonis as a 4?
4 for sure.
Rudy Gobert.
No, Sabonis is a 4.
No, he's
He's
a
been,
Turner's
five.
the
labeled, he's been
5.
labeled as a power forward and a center throughout his career.
Nah, Sabonis is the 5 this year.
5. He's a 5.
Yeah, the
We can
starting
put
lineup
Sabonis
is
in there.
De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter,
This year they have
Keegan
him at
Murray,
4.
Harrison Barnes.
But Turner plays the 5.
What are you talking about?
They're not on the same team anymore.
I apologize. No.
Sabonis
Oh,
and
bro,
Turner,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I'm
You're
drunk.
thinking of Indiana.
Correct.
So Sabonis is up there too.
Yeah.
He's in the top 10. We named 8.
Yeah,
No, we need more than 8.
yeah, we
What?
give him like a top 12.
Rob is. I could
We
put him
did
at
this
11.
guy his due
You're
diligence.
sick of me.
Next tweet is from @Henry Everett 76. Thoughts on Pistons rebuild? Lots of money if we got a star in free agency plus another top 5 pick. Cade, Ivy, and Duran all are guys with insane ceilings.
I don't know if you could bank on bringing in a superstar player for Detroit.
I
don't
mean,
think you want to.
Detroit still is a historic franchise.
I think
you have an
sorry.
exciting player in Cade.
I think at this point you just want to bring in like they brought with Bogdanovich, guys that complement
Facts.
your
Yeah.
young guys.
And let the young guys
Let the
develop.
young
and
guys
let them be
Bogdanovich
the
was an
stars.
amazing addition.
Cade has that ability. Ivy has shown the flashes of having that all-star high-level ability. You got the guys. Duran, when he fucking plays, he's amazing. So
He's
you have the
very
guys.
good.
Just
You
bring
can
in
speed up the
vets.
process if you get someone who fits also at an all-star level.
That's the
though.
thing. In the age of that guy, what is he going to be? Like, how is he going to fit with the program? Like, I think the way they're doing it is fine. They're about to bring in another top 5 pick. So
Wes, if I'm not mistaken, your YouTube logo is a Pistons logo.
Yeah.
are you a Pistons
I'm
guy?
Pistons fan.
He's a Pistons fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of Rib's 13 teams.
So what are your thoughts on the Pistons
Um,
rebuild?
I think it's going well at the moment. I thought they'd be better this year than they are, to be honest. I think a lot of people did as well, but they've been kind of underwhelming, which isn't an issue because they're in the Wembanyama race. I don't know any of the other top prospects. Scoot as well. If they get another top prospect, like you guys said, another trade around the edges, maybe even package Bogdanovic up to a contender. See if you can get something back there before the end of the season. And then, I think by next year, if Cade takes that leap, hopefully we see something second half of the year that's even better. And then I think they'll be good to go soon.
This is from @DavidA27. Jordan Poole will be seen as a massive overpay by the end of the year, and the Warriors' young core as a whole is mid as fuck.
Riv, what do you think of that?
It's facts.
I mean, Kuminga is the only one you could look at that saves the face of this young core.
JP,
What?
you
And
got,
he-
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's-
that's a
No,
strong
no,
statement.
it's Jordan Poole.
That's a strong
that
statement.
saves the
But
young
Poole
core.
already
Jordan
got paid.
Poole.
Poole already got paid, so
you
he's
see what I have to deal with
expecting
when-
to be great.
Riv, stop being disrespectful.
You told me Kuminga was Paul George. I know you
What the
deny
fuck
it. but
is
you
wrong
did.
with
You
you?
said it.
Stop saying
Said
that.
it.
No.
Said it.
I'll be honest. You might be right here.
Okay,
I'm gonna-
check this out.
Because Jordan Poole already got paid, so we're already expecting him.
Are you gonna let me,
Like,
the
I
Warriors
just-
guy,
I just really
speak?
quick wanted to get my
Let him get his thoughts
because
in.
Jordan Poole has already almost elevated from this young core. Jordan Poole has elevated
No,
from
but
this young
he's in
core.
this young core, though.
I know, but he's like he already
Clay's holding him back.
But he already contributed to a championship. Like Jordan
Stop.
Poole is young, he's part of it, but he's already exceeded that. Now we're looking at Moody, Wiseman,
holding
and
him back.
Kuminga.
Clay's holding him back.
Who? Poole?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into that later.
I don't think it's overrated. I just think people like myself overrated it too fast, but I do think people are underrating it too much. I think when you look at Kuminga, he just turned 20 years old. Moody's still relatively young. Jordan Poole, like you said, he's probably the head of the spear in terms of this young developing core, but he's still young and he doesn't have a
Like 24.
23. Like he doesn't have a defined role yet because there's guys in front of him. But when you see he's showing the flashes, I think it was a little bit overrated with me included because I think we pushed these guys too fast, too quick. But I still.
How worried are you about Wiseman?
God, what's going
I don't
on
know.
here?
I'm not. I'm concerned now. I wasn't concerned
G-League.
before, but I'm concerned now. But I'm not gonna I'm not done with him. You know what I'm saying? He still
You
has.
can't be done with
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned right now. But for the other guys, when Kuminga plays, he's shown that potential elite defense. When Moody plays, he's shown that discipline. It's just about these guys being inconsistent. They've just been so inconsistent and they're young. Poole, when he starts, he's literally better than Klay Thompson. Like literally better than Klay Thompson by far. When he's off the bench, though, it's a little
What's
different.
The difference?
When he starts, he's literally a 24 point per game scorer.
No. I
When
mean,
he's off
the
the bench,
difference. You have more
he's playing
freedom
off
off
Steph.
the bench.
When he starts, you have
Fair.
the
You're right.
best
He-
defending guard on Steph.
You're right.
when he starts, he has the freedom. When he's off
So
the
he's
bench,
not as good as we may think then,
I don't know how you can put that on that, but okay.
because you have.
No,
the
but he was
gravity-
also doing this last year when Steph was out.
Yeah, when Steph
He put
was
up
out,
those numbers.
yeah, he started and he was.
He's a
insane.
starter. That's just what he is. He's a starter.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand how. Sure, because that logic makes sense. Steph was out. He was starting. He was playing well. But you're playing against a worse unit in the bench. Not that bench
necessarily.
unit.
Because he has when you got to think when
9
he's
out of
when,
10 times.
when he's you have to think of his responsibilities coming up the bench. He has to make sure the young guys that are literally in his core are in a position to succeed.
does not need to do that.
He does. That's
just
what
needs to
that's,
worry about
no,
getting his
he
buckets.
doesn't.
He's a lead
literally
guard.
the lead guard on the bench. What are you talking about? He has to put when Wiseman plays him in a position to see Kuminga, Moody. He controls the second unit. That's his. So he's getting the bulk of the responsibility. He has to make sure he eats. They eat.
Is
That's
Jordan
what a lead
Poole a
guard
point
does.
guard in your opinion?
At times he can. I don't think he's a
He's a
point
shooting
guard,
guard.
but he can be a
He's
lead
a
a
guard.
combo.
He's a combo, but I'm looking at him as a shooting guard.
But you're asking a shooting guard to pretty much
But
be
that's
the
all
lead
I'm
guard
at-
off the bench.
Is Anthony
then what
Simons
they're
a point
asking-
guard or a combo guard?
That is you have me. All right, fair.
I'm screaming at you have
No,
me.
he does have a good point
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when Dame isn't playing, he can be a point guard, but he knows his responsibility. And Anthony Simons just clears Poole.
They're the same player.
They're not.
Simons is better though.
Okay,
They're the same player.
well said.
Clears is crazy.
I don't care. I don't care.
I get it. Clears is cool. It won't be clearing for a long.
I'm worried, man. I'm
What?
worried.
Worried about who?
Jordan Poole.
Literally, have you watched him when he starts?
I
What's
know
the
when he
worry?
starts, he's very good, but I just don't understand how you're playing against a worse unit and you're not
Because it's not
at
it's
least
different responsibilities.
somewhere near what you are.
Well, Jordan Clarkson starts now in Utah, and he's been better than he's ever been.
He also doesn't have Donovan Mitchell with him in the offense and has more.
But on the
freedom to do
second,
what
he was
wants.
on a bench last year.
And he also was the sixth man of the year.
Yeah, Jordan Poole was a 6 man of the year candidate
He was.
last year too.
Oh, but that's only because Klay came back and they forced him to the bench.
Yeah, he was better than Klay in the starting lineup.
He was.
Yeah.
I'm not screaming.
But I'm just saying that Jordan Clarkson was a 6th man, now is starting, and he's playing the best he's ever played.
Again, Donovan isn't on the team anymore, so there's more freedom to do what he wants to do.
He had the freedom off the bench. He wasn't on the
And he
court with
still
Donovan
was. He
Mitchell
was a
on.
6th man of the year. It's not
All
like
he had to
Jordan
do was
Clarkson.
his only job was to score. That's not Poole's only job coming off the bench.
But that's what I'm saying. I wish that was his only job.
Can't be.
You're not wrong.
They run a specific.
You're not wrong. But at the same time, get yours.
We trying to win. That's the problem with your organization.
Exactly. No, but
we're trying to win.
If that's the thing, and you understand that Jordan Poole's your best option scoring off the bench, let him get his.
Or just start him.
This
That too.
segues perfectly
It does.
into the next topic.
Just start him.
Should the
other guy.
Warriors bench Klay Thompson?
Is their issue just Klay Thompson?
Have you looked at the numbers when the starting 5 plays?
Have you looked at the defensive numbers? Because Draymond Green, the pride and joy of the Golden State Warriors defense, when he's on there, they drop to like the 15th percentile of defenses.
They are a top 5 offense. The starting 5 is a top 5 offense and a middle of the pack defense.
But what about the
Draymond
defense?
Green has not, but this is the thing. Draymond Green, he admits he has to get better. Wiggins has been fine. What's the other person that is supposed to be the anchor of the defense? The other perimeter defender. What's the other person on offense that's supposed to be helping Steph?
initiator.
It's one problem. I watched Steve Kerr put Klay on Devin Booker to start the game. I don't know why, but that's what he did. Klay Thompson is not at a point where he can guard primary players anymore. He's not. And then it's like not even that it's one thing to miss shots that you normally make, but then it's another to take bad shots.
He's pressing right now? That's what Kerr said after the game.
He's 1,000% pressing. He's forcing a lot of shots because he's trying to get his rhythm back, which is okay. Yeah. But let it come into the flow of the offense. Let it, like, maybe he does need to come off the bench to maybe get his rhythm back, get the confidence back. I mean, you've seen his latest post games, like the way people have talked about him, how he feels like hurt, disrespected by the fact that people were kind of counting him out.
He wants to prove something.
Yeah, it's getting to his head mentally. Like mentally, Klay is not there. But I don't think Kerr would ever bench him. To be honest, I think maybe benching him is.
If he's playing like this, bro,
I think maybe benching him, it can either damage his ego or hurt or help him out in a big way.
Or this could be the new step in his career.
Coming off the bench,
like this,
$40 million.
You have to look past that at this point. Like you're trying to win championships,
bro.
That's my point, though. That's why it's so hard to bench him.
There's no,
you're not
ego with
benching him.
That's benching.
He's a role now.
He's always had a role.
No, but a new role.
Klay also seems the type that he would be open to if it's going to help the team. He doesn't seem like
Draymond called us clowns for saying that Klay Thompson was going to come off the bench.
He called me a clown for saying Klay should come off the bench.
Specifically you.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for
and
that.
I was right. I was right all along about that.
I was not here for that episode.
No, yeah, he wasn't here. Yeah, I was right. And my point still stands. The Golden State Warriors were the first seed last year before Klay Thompson came back. I understand injuries dropped them off, but they were better when Poole was starting. And now this year, Poole in his starts is averaging 29 and 5, and he's shooting efficiently. So it's not like it's on this unsustainable efficiency. It's regular, 47% from the field and 39% from 3. That's what Poole can shoot on the regular pretty much. Klay Thompson has to understand that at some point in every great player's career, they have to swallow their ego and their pride. Russell Westbrook is now coming off the bench, who he's had a better career than Klay Thompson.
For sure.
He's a better pound-for-pound player than
Easily.
Klay Thompson. Carmelo Anthony had to swallow his pride when he came off the bench for Portland.
Took him a little bit of time.
And yeah, it did.
Takes time.
I just
kicked him
don't.
out the league. It
You
took
look
him
at
that
the
long.
relationship that Darvin Ham has with Russell Westbrook. There was enough respect there for Russell Westbrook to accept his role. I don't believe Russ does that if that's Frank Vogel. I do believe Kerr and Klay are at a point in their relationship where there is too much mutual respect for one another for Kerr to bench Klay Thompson. And for Klay Thompson, I think the trust would be totally gone if Kerr does that.
It has to be Klay has to do it. Klay has to go up to Kerr and tell him Kerr's never gonna bench Klay Thompson. Like it's not gonna happen.
It's just all how you spin it to the media. That's all it's gonna matter. If it comes out that Klay is getting benched, it's gonna look bad. If it comes out that Klay, the Warriors,
unless they
come
have
to
that
this agreement,
conversation prior, then it's like.
And I understand.
but they're never gonna spin it like we're benching.
And I understand Klay Thompson. He's come back from 2 gruesome injuries, 2 of the worst injuries you can have in basketball. It's simple as that.
Worst.
But last season, he averaged 20 in the regular season. He shot 38% from 3. In the playoffs, he averaged 19, shot 38% from 3. I don't know if this is just his injury that is holding him back at this point.
You can't blame it on the injury.
Because he was good last year.
He was.
He was manageable. He was a good player. And in the finals, he did an excellent job on Jaylen Brown defensively. So you cannot blame this on the injury. There's something going on at every point in the organization. I think it's an ego thing. This is the first time in the history of Golden State in this era that every player outside of Steph Curry has this insane ego. Draymond Green is trying to prove something because he didn't get paid. Jordan Poole got punched in the face. He just got his money. Andrew Wiggins, he's trying to prove something. Klay Thompson is taking bad shots.
I think he meant Wiggins knows his spot.
Draymond Green is trying to prove something because
he's real. Hey.
Draymond wants to get his money. Klay Thompson is taking bad shots because he now wants to prove to everybody that he still is the same player he once was. I feel like there's ego at the top to bottom in the management. Bob Myers not wanting to swallow the bullet on most of these young players like Wiseman specifically and trade them for a better asset. There was a point in time they could have traded Wiseman and a combination of Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody and a pick maybe for Sabonis. And Sabonis on this team would have really opened them up. Yeah. But they were too stubborn because they didn't want to get – they're trying to rebuild and compete at the same time. There has been no team in the history of the NBA that has been a dynasty that has tried to do both. When the Bulls had MJ, they went all in. When the Lakers had Kobe, they went all in. When the Miami Heat had LeBron and Cleveland had LeBron, they went all in. When the Lakers had LeBron, they went all in. I understand it messes up your future, but the championship is worth it. And this is a point in time in Golden State that the championships are much more worth it than development of these young players that may never develop into what we think they're going to be.
There's also, sorry, Drew, real quick. There's also not many dynasties that have, in the middle of a dynasty, you're so bad that you're getting multiple top picks. Right? There's not many situations.
Because they should have taken LaMelo.
That was the dumbest shit there ever. No,
he was the better prospect.
No, it wasn't hindsight. In the moment, you should have taken LaMelo.
You already have Curry and you have Klay. Like, you already have 2 guys that are stamped. Yes, looking back, it's very easy, but if Wiseman reached his potential, it would have been an easier fit for the Warriors.
Wiseman was somebody that played 3 games in college. Onyeka was a better prospect coming out than James Wiseman.
Yes. I don't know. No,
I can see why he says that.
I don't want to get into that conversation, but the conversation ends with LaMelo Ball. Passing on LaMelo Ball might be Golden State's biggest mistake for their future.
Do you still get Wiggins?
If you have LaMelo?
And we talk about the Warriors scouting so much.
Wiseman missed the season.
But that doesn't mean that's fine.
And we talk about the Warriors scouting so much, but they took Kuminga over Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner on this team. I mean, that's scary.
Kuminga also, he had top 4, top 5 potential.
Yeah, he did.
The ceiling, yeah.
I'm saying draft pick wise.
There's no doubt.
I thought Wagner got picked before with Kuminga.
No, he was
did not. Pick. It was Giddey, then Kuminga, and then Franz.
What was Kuminga 5?
No, Kuminga was 7.
Okay.
Because Moody and him was 7 and 13, right?
Right. Yes.
I think Steve Kerr just views Klay Thompson as somebody that's earned the right to get out of this slump. That's really what it is. But
Klay, is it wrong? I want to give him that benefit of the doubt also.
But Andre Iguodala came off the bench for the betterment of Golden State. So it's not like Steve Kerr can't have these conversations. I just feel like with Klay Thompson, it'd be a little bit awkward.
But I think Iggy didn't that feel more towards this is the end of your career?
No, he was an all-star when he went to Golden State. He was coming off an all-star appearance in Denver.
Okay. Was that year?
He started the year after. 2 years after, pardon me.
What?
He came off the bench 2 years after.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't the...
When they got a new coach.
That's why I didn't think it was the
I believe
year right
I believe
after.
he came off the bench with
Okay,
Kerr.
so 2011-2012 season, Iggy was an all-star. He went to Denver, wasn't an all-star, and then he was in Denver for 1 year. Mm-hmm. Golden State beat them in the playoffs, and they went to Golden State.
How old was he his first year in Golden State?
And Iggy did start for Golden State.
Yeah, I think he started for Jackson. He didn't start for Kerr.
I know. At what age was
31.
Iggy on the bench?
31.
Okay, that's younger than I thought, actually.
No, Iggy got that.
No, in his prime, he basically came off the bench.
Iggy got that old soul, baby.
Is Iggy a Hall of Famer?
Probably not. I mean, well, the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
they let anyone in.
Wes, talk to me, baby.
With the bench thing, the only thing with Klay and JP is like going forward, if they are to correct things, Like when you're looking at a playoff series, who would you rather have coming off the bench leading the second unit? Like they don't have the same kind of depth now. So you will be relying on a Moody, a Kuminga, guys that they can only really do bit parts offensively. JP could lead a second unit. I can't see Klay doing it. You'd have DiVincenzo next to him, who's been okay. But it's like, is there enough firepower there? You know, Steph's going to give you like 35 a night. And with Wiggins, if Klay can just be okay as that second option, as that third option, whatever he is at this point in time, I think the benefit of having Paul off the bench, that's the only thing I'm worried about. Paul's clearly, at this point, he's just the better player. Like, we know that. He's the better player. But in terms of fit, Klay's got more size as well defensively. He's lost his step, which is weird considering last year was the year he came back from injury. But he did also get better defensively throughout last year, which is why there's just something telling me he could get better because we saw it last year. He struggled to start the season, got his shot back, got better defensively in the finals, had some big games. Paul off the bench, although he's struggling, like he's the prototypical guy that could give you 20 a night off the bench, 5 assists, and just kick fire that offense. That's the only kind of question mark I have, just from a fit perspective.
So would you wouldn't bench Klay right now?
So at this point, no, I'd give it some more time. But if like Klay's shooting, he's shooting like 40% from 2-point range.
I was gonna
It's
say,
ridiculous.
he's
Like,
he's
How
shooting
much time
33.
do you need? Like, we 15 in.
Listen, Klay Thompson is historically known to waver around 40% from three.
Facts.
The fact that he's down at 33%, he's clearly going through a slump. He's pressing, as we alluded to a little bit earlier. Can't we trust Klay Thompson that
I'm just
1
asking
month?
how many games does he get?
I would say you
don't have much time.
You have until the end of this year.
What? What
This-
the fuck?
2021.
Oh, I thought you meant the
Oh,
season.
I'm so sorry.
End of the
2022,
month.
excuse me.
Because you look at it, Steph, as great as he is, this is a ridiculous rate that he's not going to be able to continue.
I mean,
for the season,
It's going to be hard. The
it's
season's
going to be
very
extremely
difficult.
hard
It's
to
like he's
do
gonna-
that.
and
Like,
Steph
and
is
that's putting a
doing
lot on
these
him
numbers,
already.
yeah.
He's about to be 35.
I mean, he's been amazing.
He is, but you don't want to keep. You want him ready for the playoffs, is what I'm saying.
you
You
let
don't
him
want him to
keep
you don't want him to
backpacking.
gas out regular season,
right,
and then
you're
the
right.
playoffs
Yeah,
he can't
and
do
the
that.
first
But his-
time he'll be in a position
but
that
his
James
con-
Harden was in his entire career.
His conditioning is at a
I'm
different
not even
level.
going to acknowledge that.
I know.
loser
We're having a
James Harden
conversation
over there.
Take it
Yo,
easy.
Zeke
Stop
is
being rude.
nuts.
We're having a conversation. Steph Curry's conditioning is at a different level than
course.
a lot of other people in the
Absolutely.
league. It's sustainable that he can continue to play at this level, not the 54, the 45, the 93. It's going to stay for the rest of the year, but he can be the 40% from the 3-point.
yes.
He can probably shoot over 50% from the field. He probably can. The 33 points per game, that's where you could probably see a dip.
He's going into games, coming back into the quarters down 12. You know how much energy you have to
Defense
put in?
is garbage.
No, it's the bench, bro.
No,
he's coming
it's-
back from the. He's
All right.
literally the bench. The starters go out. They can build the 10 to 12 point lead. This shit literally just happened in the Kings game. They built the 13-point lead. The bench comes in. Steph Curry comes back in. They're down 7.
Not that stats are the end all be all, but let me read you some defensive stats. All right, here we go.
Defense stats for the team.
Because your transition defense and your pick
Garbage.
and roll defense has been very bad. Golden State, 15th in the NBA in field goal percentage allowed in transition. It's because you guys turn the ball over a ton.
Yeah.
Your pick and roll defense, they allow 1.07 points per direct pick, which is 28th in the NBA, where last year you guys ranked 3rd and you only gave up 0.93.
That's for the team,
And
right?
Draymond Green,
That's for the team, right?
yes.
I wish you looked up the defense for just the starting 5.
Well, when Draymond Green is on the court,
Yeah.
your defense is in the 16th percentile.
You know he plays with the bench,
When
too.
last year, yes, but he also plays with the starters.
All right, watch this.
Because last year when Draymond was on the court, he was in the 99th percentile, which we gave him his credit. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year when he was on the court. But this year, it's a completely different story. He's turning the ball over a lot. Curry's actually turning the ball over almost not even at all. Under 3 turnovers a game
crazy,
is unbelievable. But you guys are just turning the ball over a bunch. Kevon Looney has been amazing, actually. He's in like the 92nd percentile of defenses when he's out there. And he rebounds the ball at a very efficient clip. I just think as a whole, the focus for me is not the offense as much as I'm looking at the defense, where it's just not nearly as good as it's been in past years.
I do think just I mentioned this earlier, just the ego top down. You have Bob Myers not wanting to give up on the young talent. I understand it. Steve Kerr's ego and not wanting to bench Klay Thompson Thompson's ego and wanting to shot chuck, Draymond's ego and wanting to prove that he can live up to a high-level contract if he were to get one. It just feels like for the first time there's a lot of ego. And I think there's ego coming from the young players like Kuminga, like James Wiseman, that feel like they should be playing. I made this comparison on my show the other day, the Joel Moran show on YouTube, that Jonathan, like looking at these young players, they may have been overrated because Moses Moody to me feels like a Danny Green role player, which isn't bad. Jonathan Kuminga, there is a spectrum where he can be a Jaylen Brown level player. He's a raw talent that develops, but he also can be Al-Farouq Aminu, someone that doesn't develop his offensive game enough and is just a wing defender that's limited. And James Wiseman, I mean, to this point, he's just been a bust. I mean, it's as simple as that. That's exactly what he's been. And Jordan Poole, I love his game, but he feels to me like Tyler Hero. That's not bad, but, you know, your ceiling is capped if that's your best young player. So just this young core as a whole is just not that good, and they're not ready to contribute to a championship outside of Jordan Poole. Wiseman's not ready.
Definitely
not even
in the
nearly.
G League.
Yeah. Kuminga's not. Moody's not. It's just, I think my intuition about this team in the offseason was right, where they lost too many key players. Otto Porter, Gary Payne II. You lost Bjelica, even though that was kind of replaced by Jermichael Green, but Bjelica is a much smarter offensive player and a passer. He's a better passer, too. So I just feel like the Warriors didn't make the right offseason moves, and they banked on this young core being ready now, and they just aren't ready.
But Wes made a good point. If you do bench Klay, I mean, for the regular season, you could get through it with Jordan Poole, but in playoff time, when you are relying on him as a second unit, the leader of the second unit, I mean, things are going to get dicey. Right now, though, the Warriors have to figure out, they're going to get in the playoffs, we know, and the Warriors probably really don't even care about seeding as long as they get in, but I'm sure they still want home court advantage. I'm sure they still want to get one of those top 4 seeds so they could be there, and there's no doubt in my mind that they've proven it year after year that I still have faith in them. If this was any other team outside of maybe 3 or 4 in the NBA, you're looking at the situation, you could say it could get ugly because Jordan Poole, who just got paid, is probably thinking, I'm better than Klay right now. There's no reason why I shouldn't be starting. But with the culture they've built, throw away the whole Draymond fiasco punching Jordan Poole in the face. They've just built such a good culture that I think they can have that conversation at some point. But then you're going to be taking a hit on the bench who's already been probably the worst unit in the NBA. And now you're adding Klay to it, who's been, like, no disrespect, one of the worst players in the NBA this year, right? He's not been able to find his shot. So, I mean, it's a rough situation for the Warriors, but to your point, losing those bench players, we overlooked in the offseason, but right now it's coming back to bite them.
Yeah, and this is what I was telling you before. The Bucks have a defensive rating of 105.4. The highest net rating is the Boston Celtics at plus 7.1. The starting 5 of the Golden State Warriors have a defensive rating of 106.3, which would be second in the league. Their net rating is 21.0. That's with Draymond Green not playing to the best of his ability. With Klay Thompson being literally, like you said, one of the he has his field goal percentage is close to Killian Hayes. So
Draymond
it's
Green? Yeah.
No,
Klay
Thompson.
Yeah,
so it's like it's not like the starting 5. You know, it has its ups and downs. Clay's.
You guys are
Christ.
turning the
How does
ball
this
over.
get solved,
Stop turning the ball over. Draymond Green gets good again. Klay Thompson.
Well, the
finds
biggest
how to
problem
shoot.
with Golden State is their bench right now.
Yeah, how does the bench get, like, are you relying on the young players who are
Has
looking
to
to
be.
make a move?
Nothing. What can unless they move Wiseman. And
What's Wiseman's value right
I
now?
don't fucking know. Realistically, Kerr has to figure some
Honestly,
shit out.
Kuminga's going to be the one that has to go if you want anything of
Would you
value.
rather have Wiseman than Ben Simmons?
No.
Would you rather have Ben Simmons?
Yes.
I mean, one's in the G League.
I just got to grab my charger real quick.
All
All right, all good.
Sorry,
Ben
wait one
Simmons,
sec.
we would fix Ben Simmons.
Oh, yeah? He would come in and be Draymond
16,
2.0.
10 and 10.
16.
They would fix Ben Simmons. I think
they
that's
fixed
that's
Andrew.
disrespectful to Ben Simmons. James Wiseman, are we serious?
Yeah,
I
that
was asking.
Yeah, that was
actually
rude.
I was asking.
That was crazy.
Because, I mean, last year, are we having that conversation?
We were not having that conversation.
James Wiseman.
James
we're not
Wiseman was
talking about it.
crazy low. I don't think we were having that type of conversation about Ben Simmons.
I don't know. You're probably the type, though.
To joke about it, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we were having like a serious conversation like, hey, Ben Simmons or James Wiseman, who would you rather not play? I don't think that's...
I mean, we're acting like Ben Simmons has been any sort of good.
Oh, my
Just had 15.
Let's take out that game. He's averaging more
He's
fouls
been
and
dealing
points.
with injuries.
I think he'd be
though.
much better in the Golden State system
So
as
is
opposed to
Wiseman.
Wiseman.
Wiseman just, this is his first time really getting significant minutes in the NBA.
I mean, it's the
Simmons
first
doesn't
time the
do
whole
anything.
5 has really gotten significant minutes together, so it's still a work in progress. I don't
So
know.
a common theme on this show, as we all know, is when a player's playing great and they're playing fantastic, we do a would you rather on that player. Because we're gonna overrate them a little bit. We have these names, we have these spicy names. When a player's playing bad, we do the opposite. We do a would you rather on that player because we want to see what spectrum that player now falls in.
Oh, perfect timing.
I have a would you rather on Klay Thompson. This is gonna get spicy. It's gonna get disrespectful. There's gonna be names in here that we might take over Klay Thompson. People might say you're recency bias.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm
not gonna do that.
This is right now.
Right now. Right now. Who would you rather
strictly
take?
right now?
Would you rather right now?
Yo, bro, that was.
I saw you rise too. I saw you rise for that one.
All right.
Bro literally said like this.
This is would you rather Klay Thompson edition right now. This is right now. Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole.
Oh my God, you're acting like Poole has
pick a
been
damn
so
answer, bro.
I'm gonna go Klay Thompson.
He hasn't shot above 50% all season. So
And they're basically
Clay's shooting 35% from the field.
I know it's really bad, and Poole's at 42.
That's much better.
7%.
Who was better last year, Klay or Jordan Poole?
Overall, probably Poole, but it's not like Klay didn't come back from not just an ACL, but an Achilles.
Yeah, we're a year removed from
so
that.
We're not a year removed. We're a couple
literally
months.
From his injury?
No, from the injury, of course.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm saying he came back and played very well.
So now you'd rather have Klay than Jordan Poole?
Yes.
Okay. Buddy Hield.
Okay, we're all right. Klay
This
Thompson.
is how disrespectful we're about to get.
Hey, let's get it fun. Klay Thompson now.
I'm going Klay.
I'll take Klay.
And Buddy has been playing relatively well this year.
Yeah, I'm going to Jordan Poole, and I'm going Klay Thompson, by the way. OG Anunoby.
I'm going with OG. I'm going OG.
OG,
Easy.
100%.
Damn, I was not expecting that to be consensus.
OG is locked
I'm
up.
going EG.
Yeah.
OG easy.
I guess defensively.
Bro was thinking Eric Gordon.
So you're going OG and not Poole?
Yes. OG is a better basketball player than Poole
He's
right
got
now.
the Raptors agenda.
He's a better defensive player than Poole. Offensively, Poole clears
Because he has an unbelievable three-point shot that right now is not as
in
unbelievable.
an unbelievable bag.
Insane
His
bag.
bag
That's
is crazy.
crazy.
His bag's crazy. So you're a bad guy, I guess.
I am right now.
He's a nice finisher too.
I mean, if I'm starting a team,
he can
if
get
I'm starting a
creative around the
team,
rim.
Jordan Poole gets picked ahead of OG pretty easily.
Poole bag when he put it behind the
It depends on what your team needs, but I understand where you're coming from.
Devin Vassell.
Ooh, give me Vassell.
I'm going with Vassell too.
Breakout year for Vassell.
I like
This
Vassell.
season, Vassell.
Yeah,
I like Vassell game a lot.
yeah. I'm gonna. Damn, this is.
Who would have thought the 1-2 punch of Kellen Johnson and Devin Vassell?
Win some games.
Vassell has been nice. It's crazy. I'm going Vassell.
Next name, this should be an easy one. Devin Booker.
D-Book.
D-Book. His enemy right now.
D-Book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to mention it because he's his enemy. Kevin Huerter. He's shooting 51% from three
You
this
couldn't
year.
wait to say that shit.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
already
couldn't.
know
I'm
that.
going Klay Thompson.
Oh,
I don't think that's going to last, but he'll be in the 40s.
Porter's and he's been knocked down.
He's
He's been knocked down.
I'm still having
Give me
faith in
Clay.
Clay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm
Give me
still
Clay,
having
give me
faith in
Clay.
Clay.
That was
Clay,
tough.
You,
Clay.
we have reputations, guys.
So speak for yourself.
I did it. I am. I'm trying to
You took
ensure
two
that,
over Aaron Rodgers.
that was fine. In 2022,
It's like the same situation.
2022.
So in
It's
2022,
It's the
Jordan
same
Poole or Klay
situation.
Thompson.
and they're essentially the same player right now.
They're not.
Bro,
Except
How many
one,
games
he
have you
can-
watched?
Oh my
Be
god!
honest.
So what? Because this guy
you
can
answer the
dribble
question?
the basketball.
That really matters a lot. That's why OG is limited.
Tough.
Barely limiting to more.
That's why OG's
And pass.
limited.
All right. He's still.
I'm
Best
gonna say
defender by
right
far.
now, Kevin Huerter and Klay Thompson is Kevin Huerter right now is outplaying Klay Thompson
He is.
dramatically.
Yeah, he is.
They're the same
Drastically.
size, too.
You're just
Easy.
putting your faith in Clay figuring it out.
Oh man, this
Like,
is
is
tough.
that wrong of me?
I picked Clay, but I thought about it.
I feel like if I go with Huerter, I had to go with Buddy Hield. So I am
Facts.
going with Klay. I think
Facts.
I'll figure it.
That's good logic.
Max Strus.
What the fuck? Klay Thompson, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going with Klay.
We are violating now.
I'm going with Klay too. Max Strus has been very good this
Why
year.
are you trying to do Klay
Max
like
Strus
this?
is averaging 15. He's shooting great from three right
He
now.
is, but why are we trying to do Klay like
No, but
this?
all
I
these
mean,
players
these are
right now
peers
have been
right
playing
now.
better than
They
Klay.
have been, but we're 1 month in.
No, Max
It's
Strus was
Klay
kinda crazy.
Thompson.
Gary
know his
Trent
vibe.
Jr.
Oh, please be consistent, Mr. Drew.
Gary Trent's better than Poole.
He's better who?
He's better than Poole. I said what I
You're
said.
an idiot.
I said what I said.
Give me Trent.
Defensively, it's not even a question.
Offensively, it's not a close.
It's not. But not close.
No.
Not close? Yeah, that's why you can't look me in the eyes.
'Cause I'm
Cut the
deciding my
bullshit.
answer.
Trent shooting this year?
I'm going Gary Trent. I'm going
Over
Gary.
Klay.
Over Klay.
So you're not going Herter over Klay?
No, because Gary Trent's better than Herter.
I'm gonna take
I'll take
Gary
Klay.
Trent.
Yeah.
I'll take Klay. I'll keep the same logic.
I'm going Klay.
Gary Trent's him, actually. Fuck
Gary Trent is not him.
Shooting 32% from 3 this year.
Gary Trent?
Yeah.
Gary Trent's mid, bro.
That's right. He's having a rough stretch, too.
He's not even close to Kevin Herter as a player right now at all.
Okay, right
at
now.
all. And Kevin Herter's better in the playoffs. In the Hawks playoff run, Kevin Herter was
Did you
unbelievable.
see Gary Trent last year?
Yeah.
Who you
Gary
taking,
Trent
Wes?
last year was very good.
Who's better, Kevin Herter or Gary Trent Jr.?
Big
Wes?
Klay.
Okay. But Wes, who's better, Kevin Herter or
Just
Gary
about,
Trent
just
Jr.?
about. This season, Kevin Herter.
Yeah, this-
All around player. What do you think?
It's Gary Trent.
I mean, we've only seen Kevin Herter in this role for like a little bit of time. So like he's got an expanded role and he's
He's taking
paying
the
off.
same type of shots though. Realistically,
Yeah.
That's true. He's knocking him down at a higher rate.
Yeah, he's just knocking him down. Like ain't nothing really changed. So I'm still take Klay though. I gotta trust in Klay. For that one.
I thought you said give me Trent.
Oh, I thought we talked about Herter. I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
facts.
I thought we talked about Herter. Yeah, no, wait.
Klay or
I'm changing
Trent?
that. Clay.
Okay,
Give me
whatever.
Klay. Trent is
But, yeah.
So
funny
I'm
guy.
gonna name some more names. KCP.
Klay.
Klay.
Come on.
You're just completely disrespectful at this
He's
point.
been knocking him down though. But
No,
yeah,
he has.
Klay.
Yeah. Defensively, he's a good defender. He
Listen,
knocks
give me
down.
Klay
I miss
still.
him. I miss him very dearly.
Anthony Simons
Anthony Simons.
clears, right?
Yeah,
Simons.
Clear.
Simons.
Looking at some more.
He had no
Simons is
list.
not
He's just
even
looking
present.
up names.
Now, Fred VanVleet.
Fred clears.
Federico.
Yeah, Fred.
Fred.
He's looking at the Raptors roster.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
This season.
Yo, this one's crazy. Actually,
He's been
yeah, nah.
bugging.
Bojan's been amazing. Bojan's legitimately
Yeah,
been
he's been cooking.
amazing. I'm going Bojan.
Boyan's been fine his whole career.
He has.
honestly.
One of the more underrated scorers. flat
I
out.
believe in Klay in this regard though. So give me Klay.
I'm going with Bojan. He's been better.
That's good. Bojan's been amazing.
Nah, I know,
dude.
but just give me Klay in this one. Give me Klay in this one.
Looking at different names, I may have ran out. DeAndre Hunter.
Klay.
I would go Klay.
Klay.
Do we need more than
No, that's it.
Big
These are all the
list.
names.
Yeah,
Sam
Klay.
Hauser.
Sam Howes, come on, bro. 50%. Are we kidding me?
Nah, I think I'd go. Kevin Herter's better though.
Barely.
He's 51% from three.
Doesn't
Respect
move me as
him.
much.
Respect them. I'm gonna be honest though. All these players are better than Klay Thompson right now, like easily. And by the end of this year, we could be taking all of these players over Klay.
I agree.
This season, I think, everyone's been better.
I'm just
That
gonna-
was listed.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I'm gonna trust Klay to figure it out.
Buddy Hield's averaging 19, shooting
Nah,
42%
Buddy's been
from
crazy.
three.
Buddy's been crazy.
Yeah, like all these players have been clear of Klay. It's not even close. Even Max Strus, he's clear, and he's also a good defender too. It's not bad. He's averaging 15 this year. You know that, right? Max
I know,
Strus.
bro. He's a fine young role player.
Yeah. That's what Klay is now, though.
Klay's more valuable to his team.
Gary Trent shot 38% from three last year. He's going through a rough stretch right now.
Kevin Herter has always been a good three-point shooter, though.
I'm not disrespecting him.
Yeah, I
And
know.
defensive side of the ball, Gary Trent's him.
Gary Trent is literally mid, bro. He's one of the worst
Mid?
starting shooting guards in the NBA.
Is that saying bad? Is that bad?
Yeah, I think it is. Gary Trent is very replaceable.
Plays his
Barry?
role well.
Eric Trent or RJ Barrett.
I'd go RJ.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. I'd
would?
actually rather have RJ Barrett
I'm
than Gary
shocked.
Trent. He's literally
I'm
mid.
appalled, actually.
I'd rather have KCP than Gary Trent Jr.
Gary Trent's only gotten better as he's gotten into the league, but
Gary
this is the
Gary
one year
Trent
that he
is
struggled.
a shot chucker that sometimes happens to make them when he gets hot. But he's a shot. He's a shot chucker. That's what he is.
He's solid defensively.
Kevin Herter is better. Buddy Hield's better. Devin Vassell's better.
Buddy Hield. He's
Devin
playing
Vassell
well.
is definitely
Very,
better.
yeah, Devin
Devin Vassell is
got
easily
it.
better.
Vassell got it.
Keldon Johnson is better.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
completely different positions.
Different.
But
Yeah.
Well, was a forward. I mean, Keldon Johnson was a forward guard coming into the league at Kentucky.
power forward now.
No, he's not. He's small forward.
I apologize.
Yeah, Jeremy Sohan's a forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jeremy Sohan's a forward.
All right. Let's talk about SJ.
Let's talk about the Kings.
Facts. Ugh, so much.
Because the Sacramento Kings, coming into the season, I know you guys were low on them. You guys had the Lakers being better than them, which was always pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, not the best take.
8-6 this year, 8th in the Western Conference. I was told they wouldn't be better than Lakers. I was told they wouldn't be Golden State. Last show, And what did they do, Riv? They beat Golden State. You know why? Because Sacramento, they're kings.
2-1.
They're rolling right now.
2-1.
They're putting their
2-1.
imprint on the NBA right now.
2-1.
Something is brewing. They're winners of 5 straight, but 3 of their losses have been by 3 points or less. And I think this year is the end of their playoff drought. I'm all in. I'm balling. Something about me, you check my tracker, whenever I have a team that I think is going to be the surprise of the NBA, last year it was the Wolves. They made the playoffs. This year it was the Kings. Oh, yeah, they're going to make the playoffs too. My track record in picking these surprise teams is second to none. It's high. Last season, the Kings were 4th in pick and roll possessions. And I want to talk about this because this is what the switch in the Kings have been. This season, they're 29th. Sacramento now leads the NBA in handoff possessions at 10.5 a game, and they're top 5 in points per possession. I want to say this stat for those out there that are still frustrated by the Tyrese Halliburton trade. The Halliburton trade was made to get a player that fit with De'Aaron Fox. They're having so many handoffs per possession because this is what fits Domantas Sabonis, and that's the effect he has on an offense. Without his skill set, running an offense like this would not be possible. If they still had Tyrese, it would have been pick and roll heavy again. This offense went from looking at every other offense and copying their style in heavy pick and roll with the guard versus playing like Golden State. Like, they play like Golden State in terms of their ball movement, their dribble handoffs.
Mike Brown.
Kevin Huerter right now, he is averaging 3.4 dribble handoffs per possession, 16 points per game, shooting 51% from 3. They're second in offensive rating, second in points per game. Sabonis 18, 11, and 6. Fox 25, 5, and 6. He's been shooting efficient from the field and from threes. He's one of the best finishers at the basket in the league right now. And this is the first time Monte McNair has been able to put his imprint on this roster, getting Malik Monk in free agency, getting Kevin Huerter in free agency. He really hasn't missed in the past 3 drafts. Tyrese Halliburton, Davion Mitchell, and now Keegan Murray, who looks awesome. The Kings are making the playoffs. It's as simple as that. This is one of the funnest teams to watch. This is one of the most electric teams in the NBA right now. Offensively, they are one of the best. Defensively, they struggle. That could be their Achilles heel. I believe that if they can make a trade to get a defensive presence, maybe Miles Turner's a reunion is in the brewing for him to come to Sacramento. I don't know. Or maybe to get a wing. This team is legit. Like, they're legitimately good. And people cannot sleep on the Kings anymore. They're here, and De'Aaron Fox is here.
I agree to the degree. You can't sleep on the Kings no more. I'm not going to go as far as saying they're a locked playoff team. You know, I still think.
No, they're not a lock. They're a playoff team, though.
Well, I mean, if you.
Like a
So they're top 6.
No, they're a playoff team. Like, they're going to be in the playoff seedings.
I don't know.
We know playoff teams top
The
6.
playoff seedings is top. No, that's a playoff lock. A playoff team is a top 8 seed.
No, because if you're a top 8 seed and you lose in a play-in,
Exactly.
you're not a playoff team.
Correct.
Yeah, but I am not projecting.
Is the play-in now the playoff?
I am not projecting them to lose in a
What's your
play-in.
opinion?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I can't go all the way to say they're a playoff team, but I think they've asserted themselves as a play-in
hypothetically
team.
speaking, they play the Clippers in the play-in. Stamp it. They're beating them?
I'm at who's healthy. I don't know. The Clippers are up and down.
I'm at. Well, so you would take the Kings.
If it's just Paul George, yeah, absolutely.
Timberwolves, they play the Kings.
It's a toss-up. I like the Kings in that game.
Very interesting.
They've been a pretty exciting team. You know, they're a elite
Mavericks,
offense.
they're 7th seed right now.
The Kings can beat the Mavericks.
I would take the Mavs.
So
Luka's losing?
Luka's not losing to the Kings, bro.
I don't think
Come
Luka's
on.
going to be in the play-in, though. I think he's going to be a top 6 seed.
I know. We're just saying.
So
in
who's
this
going to drop
hypothetical
into
world.
the Jazz?
The Kings are going to beat the Jazz, bro. Pretty easily.
Based off what?
What do you mean based off what?
Are you going to say De'Aaron Fox in primetime moments?
Who do the Jazz have in primetime moments?
Neither team have anybody.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I trust De'Aaron Fox more. And Sabonis more.
All right, well, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think they're the clear 2 best players in the series. I mean, in the
Golden
playing game.
State's 12 right now. Are we expecting them to stay that low all season?
No,
They're not going to stay that
12.
low all season.
So let's say they're a play-in team. Are they beating the Kings?
I mean, I think we can acknowledge that definitely the Kings will be in the hunt. You know, they'll be
No,
a play-in
for sure.
team.
I think
for
they're
sure.
a play-in team. Playoff lock.
I didn't say playoff lock. I said a playoff team.
No, but all right, a play-in
The
team
play-in
that's
has-
guaranteed to go
the
to the
play-in
playoffs.
has
That's what you
created-
told me.
A playoff lock is a top 6 seed. A playoff
Okay.
team What are the playoffs? The first 8 seedings. I think the Kings are our first 8 seedings team.
That's my whole
The
point.
play-in has created so much diversion.
Yeah,
Correct.
it really has. It really has. The play-in
Those
just made
teams
it
in
so
the play-in,
confusing.
I don't believe will beat the Kings if they match up. I think the Kings will beat them.
They don't know who's in the
But
play-in.
we don't know who the exactly. We don't know who the play-in. People are going to
You're
be.
the
Yes,
playoff lock or you're a
I
play-in
don't think
team?
the Warriors will be a play-in team. They will be a top 6 team when it's all said and done in the West.
Respect.
The truth comes out.
Interesting.
What do you mean? I just don't think they win a championship.
I'm just curious who's going to drop off, honestly.
Well, we know the Lakers can't drop off anywhere. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA.
You
thought they'd be better than the
stray
Kings.
was unnecessary.
What I would appreciate if we could just stay on topic.
Can the Kings beat the Lakers in a play-in?
No.
Huh?
Oh, no, I apologize. We're not making the play-in.
No, no, you're
That's
not.
why.
You're not.
No, that's not going to happen. So you have to worry about that. All right? We're cooked.
10 seed was such a stretch.
So, yeah. So if we could stay on topic, it'd be cool. So let's look at the top 6. You have Blazers, Suns, Nuggets, Jazz, Pelicans, Grizzlies. The one team out of the 6 right now that we can look at that think that they could fall off, probably the Utah Jazz.
And the Pelicans.
They're going to drop out of the top
And
6.
the Blazers
could
aren't
be a
even the
play-in
one
team
seed.
The
again.
Warriors have to take somebody's spot.
I'm telling you
Blazers
right now,
aren't
the
even the
Pelicans are
one seed
staying.
I think the Clippers take somebody's
I
spot.
think the
too.
Grizzlies are staying. The Suns are probably going to stay. They're just going to be consistent. Are the Blazers staying?
Not at the 1 seed.
They'll stay. I
Hell,
think they'll
obviously
stay.
at the 1 seed.
They will
Top-
stay. They'll
Wes,
be a
what do you think?
Top
6
6 seed, you think?
I think the Blazers drop out of the 6 is tough. They'll drop out of the top 4, I think.
Like, Kawhi gets healthy, anything can happen with the Clippers,
Yeah,
but we
that's-
can't bank on
yeah,
that.
we
We
can't.
can't bank on that. So I would say the Clippers
Clippers
are
just gotta
probably a
get a
playing
play-in
team.
The Jazz and the Pelicans are the teams that are going to drop off.
Pelicans aren't going to drop. I don't know what's shown you that they're going to drop.
CJ has been underperforming.
And
Zion,
Herbert's just getting back. Zion's what?
Zion, he doesn't play every other game.
He's getting back to it too.
They rest him.
Herbert's like
Still
the,
averaging
Herb Jones is
24.
like the worst
I know. Herb Jones
wide open 3-point shooters in the NBA.
is not good.
Like, for example,
Marcus
if the Kings face the Pelicans in the play-in, that's a
He's a weird
toss-up.
guy.
That's a legit toss-up.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
The Pelicans versus the Kings in the
Did you just
play-in?
tell me the Kings and the Jazz clear because they have Fox and Sabonis? So do you not trust BI and Zion?
De'Aaron Fox has been a better player than BI this year.
He hasn't been utilized well, but I think in a moment like that, I would trust BI more. We've seen it.
Your kids
But that's a
think that?
toss-up. Like, if you see these two teams play, there is nothing that tells you the Pelicans would easily beat the Kings. That's
Easily, no.
legitimately a toss-up.
One team in
Easily
the
no.
NBA is top 10 in offensive rating, defensive rating, net rating, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. Name the team. Guess off the top of your head.
Pelicans.
The New Orleans Pelicans.
They're not
Pelicans.
second they're not second in offensive rating. That's the Kings. The Kings have legitimately the second best
I'm
offense.
telling
in
you
the
right
NBA.
now,
We'll
there's
just do
only
it for
one
stat.
team who's top 10 in all.
He said top 10,
But
he said top
I'm
10.
telling you, just respect the Pelicans. It may not be all clicking at once, but they still have been playing good enough
The Kings are
basketball.
a good team, though. They'll be,
I'm not,
they'll
and
be
I'm
in the
not
hunt.
trying to disrespect the Kings. I do think they're a playing team, but to say that they're okay, I have to be very specific with my wording. There's playoff locks as in the 1 through 6, but to say you're saying they're going to guarantee get in the playoffs based off the play-in is strong when we've seen teams that are lower than them right now that we just believe are probably going to finish higher.
What lower team right now?
The Warriors.
That's it.
I would take the Timberwolves over the Kings as well if they matched up.
I don't know.
Clippers
that's-
are a wait and see, so I can't bank on that yet.
We're talking
George-
just playing
Paul
game
George
right
can
now.
beat the Kings. He can lose, but he can.
Hey, no,
also
we're
beat
just
the
talking
Kings.
no,
just
just the play-in right
I mean,
now.
one game, bro. Like it could really go either way.
There's nothing that the Timberwolves have shown this year that says they would beat the Kings, bro.
It's a new roster. They're getting acquainted with one
We're
another.
also talking
The
about
Kings
star
are new
power
roster
earlier in
too.
the show.
Relatively, but last year they still played how many
So
games
it's
together?
It's too early.
They're
to think
adding
about
two new
playing
pieces
matchups.
to the lineup. Keegan Murray
Porter
and
and
Kevin
Keegan.
Huerter.
Yeah, you're right.
And Sabonis and Fox will
And
play like
Malik
10
Monk.
games. Malik Monk, yeah, off the bench. See, that's a new
Good
team.
points.
It's still too early to think about playing matchups. But one thing we can definitely agree on is
They're
the
playing
Kings have
very
been
good
playing
basketball.
Extremely well
That's the
basketball.
and I'm
they'll
not
definitely
afraid to
be
say
in the
that
hunt.
for sure.
You know, they've been giving teams fits. They've been in close games. Offensively,
has
they've
been
been a
amazing.
firepower. Fox has improved his game as a jump shooter. You got Malik Monk. You got Kevin Huerter. Sabonis has been good. Mike Brown has instilled that type of culture that you want to see in these type of teams. So we can go back and forth on the playing shit all day, playoff
Sure.
team. But
Just
one thing is
throw
for
some
certain,
respect
they're
on
going
the
to be in the hunt.
Pelicans.
And they ain't been in the hunt in a while. So
I mean,
that's
let's not say wow. It was what 2 years, 3 years? What was it?
12 seed?
When they no, bro, the 9.
Yeah, but they went
The
to
year
the
that the Clippers were 8.
Yeah, when?
The year that the Clippers played Golden State, and that Golden State and the Clippers series was better than what it should have been. Where Lou Will, Pat
The
Bev,
Warriors won.
huh?
The Kings were the 9th seed in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's been a couple years. So I think I don't know. Playing, I think they can beat.
It was a year early, man.
I think they can beat teams, but I think they can lose to teams too. It's just about matchups and stuff like that. I'm not going to go too deep. It's November, so I'm not going to go too deep into playing. And stuff
We're talking about something that's going to happen in March.
But they're going to be in the hunt all year.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And the Kings do deserve that credit. They got
too hot of a start to really.
It's just about if the Kings can keep it consistent. That's all it is. Can they continue this pace? I don't know. I mean,
Mike Brown is going to. I mean,
all they do is be around 500, and they'll be in the hunt without a doubt.
Yeah,
the Kings lost their first couple of games because of bad calls by the referees. I mean, 3 of their losses have been by 3 points or less. But the Kings have been in every single game, and they have great wins under their belt. Great ones under their belt.
Long season.
It is, but I believe in the Kings.
And you're a big Kings guy.
Oh, listen.
Keep
riding, baby.
De'Aaron Fox, all your guys.
They're going to make the playoffs this year. That's stamp that. Like, they're going to make the playoffs.
They get swept.
I don't know if they get swept. They're a tough team. They could be the Pelicans of last year. What's so funny about that? If they face the Portland Trailblazers, they can't take that game. They can't take that series to 6.
That's not ridiculous to say.
Or 7.
I still think I got Dame winning.
Yeah, you do. Yes, but the Kings and the Blazers, that would be a great first round matchup.
It would be.
It wouldn't be a sweep. It'd be a great, exciting first round matchup.
It could be a tough
Only
sweep.
one sweep happened last year.
Did. Them boys. Them Boston boys,
Ooh,
man.
Who got swept?
Ooh.
Sound like a damn
KD.
owl.
Kyrie.
KD and Kyrie got swept.
You fucking picked to win.
Word.
Buddy boy.
You picked the Celtics to beat the Warriors in the finals. You lost.
I did. I picked them to beat the Nets. I was right. The Bucks. I was right. The Heat. I was right.
So, Wes, question. Kings, is it too hot of a take to say they're making the playoffs for sure?
The play-in makes tricky now because, I'm thinking 7-8, but I think they'll be in that 7-8 range. Their offense looks legit. They're doing really well on the half court as well. It's not just transition anymore. Before, with Fox, it used to be just run and done, which they can still do. But now with Sabonis, the handoffs, Fox with the spaced floor looks better in the half court as well. So they got the shooting. Mike Brown's done a good job, which, I mean, you look at the Warriors, maybe we weren't giving him enough respect as that assistant coach because they struggled without him. But I just like the way they're set up. They're a team built like the modern NBA to knock down a lot of threes, be a great offense. And I think defensively as well, they'll improve because that's what Mike Brown was brought in to be. He was brought in to be a defensive coach.
Yep.
So if he's brought this offense as well and can bring the defense, I think 7-8.
And on to the last topic of the show, SGA. He should have probably been early in the topic list because of how great he's playing, but we have to have a topic about him.
Unreal.
Him being a superstar this year, he's taken that type of leap, I believe. How much pressure is on OKC to now build a winner around SGA? And I'll start with you, Wes. Did you even envision this coming from SGA coming into the season?
I mean, I know Thunder fans have been high on him. You got to give Thunder fans credit because I've seen them saying they'd go SGA over Booker for the last 2 years, which it was an early take.
Yeah.
It was probably not true at the time, but right now you could make that argument. In terms of the pressure, next year I think the pressure is with Chet. Giddey needs to be better off the ball. We can see what he can do with the ball in his hands, but is he a good fit alongside SGA? I have question marks over that. Is Lou Dort good enough as a shooter, spacing the floor? Because you do want guys who can space the floor with SGA. I think this is a good year where hopefully they're good enough to the point where they don't have to shut him down. They don't really need another top pick. Chet can come back good next year, be an impactful player. And then I think the pressure's on, but I don't think this year there's too much pressure to win because of those reasons.
As much as I love SGA, and he's been on this projection for 2-3 years now. He just
injuries.
The thing that's been messing him up is injuries. But I'm not ready to call him a superstar yet because you don't become a superstar in the regular season. You definitely don't become a superstar in the first month of the regular season. No. So, but I definitely think he's making that case of you can build a team around him, and I think that's the most important part for OKC's rebuilding process. Unfortunately, Shetton went down, so we wasn't able to see him. But with him, Giddey, they're probably going to have a couple picks, not just one, a couple picks in this draft. You got Trey Mann off the bench. Dortz, I feel like Dortz is going to be the odd man out, unfortunately, but as of right now, elite defender.
That's it.
Somebody who can attack the basket, put pressure on the rim. You got a nice team. And SGA, he's been backpacking this offense. He's been elite on that end, and he's I think he's top 3 in paint scoring in the league. He might be 1. So establishing a core and a team around him is the most important thing. I think worrying about if he's a superstar or not, you can figure that out later in life. Just right now, build the team around him, build a competitive team. Because right now they're really realistically just competitive because SGA has to put on Herculean performances, get some guys around him, build a competitive team, and then you figure out what type of player he truly is, and that comes in the playoffs.
It's almost not the worst thing in the world. Like, obviously, you want to see Chet play, but being able to be even worse than you probably would have been with Chet, almost guaranteeing yourself a higher pick that you would have had. The only thing I worry about with the Thunder is just getting too young player prospect hungry, where you're just keeping all of these draft picks and continually building through the draft and all of these, and all of a sudden you have top 10 picks that are just a 7th or 8th man on the bench, right? The way that SGA has been playing right now, of course you're not a superstar in October and November in the regular season, but I mean, the path is there. Like, it's right in front of our face. We see SGA is eventually going to be that superstar type player. It's just a matter of time until the Thunder really put the team around him so he can make that leap. So I would be hoping that the Thunder this season probably going to have a top pick, but after that, I would like to see them get aggressive with all these draft picks. Like, you don't have a 40-person roster. They have an insane amount of draft picks that are just being stashed away right now for the next 10 years that they've done a great job accumulating. I mean, look at that Paul George trade. You got SGA, who's playing damn near at his level right now. I mean, SGA is playing better than Paul George, as crazy as that sounds. Plus all the draft picks on top of that. It was a great trade, a couple years later down the line. So I would like the Thunder to get a little bit aggressive possibly in the next offseason, because I don't want them to just kind of, not stagnant's the right word, but at least speed up this process so you could have SGA bring in another all-star caliber player with Chet and then still have young guys, or even mix that in a couple of vets on the bench too, because we see the West right now, it's wide open. Who thought the Trailblazers are going to be the 1 seed? The Jazz are a top 5 seed. So we see the West being wide open. Obviously things change year to year, but if you're able to be aggressive and get that extra piece with the way SGA is playing, averaging over 30 a game, we all had him in the MVP ladder. So I mean, right now he's not a superstar yet, but it's going there, and the Thunder have enough pieces to go and really make a push in the next coming seasons.
I'll say one thing. SGA right now is more of a superstar than most of these great shooting guards that we thought were going to be that have been. He's more of a superstar than Zach LaVine ever was. He's more of a superstar than Bradley Beal, if anybody thought that ever was, even Jaylen Brown. SGA right now, you can make a legit argument. You can make a legit argument that he's the best shooting guard in basketball right now. The only person that can be comparable to him is Donovan Mitchell.
Devin Booker?
He's playing better than Devin Booker right now.
Well, it's 1 month.
I know, but we're not putting SGA over Booker right now.
But he's playing better than him right now.
I know, yes.
Booker has
He
a
is
laundry list
for
of
1 month.
seasons of being
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, but what are we doing?
Please don't jump on the SGA stand. I don't need you there. I don't.
You're not an SGA stand. You took Darius Garland over him
I'm
and
also
Paul
a
George.
Garland and a P.
But
You put
SGA
my
clears
stands
Garland
against
over
himself.
him.
You're not an SGA stand. Please don't.
He's better than PG and he's better than Darius Garland. That's not even a debate right now.
So he's better than Devin Booker?
He's playing better than him. Yes, he's playing better than him. God. There's no doubt he's playing better than him.
Just because you're playing better than him doesn't
and also
make you
SGA
put him
in terms of
no, like apparently it does.
wait,
ridiculous.
hold up.
We
In terms of isolation scoring, SGA has been a top 5 isolation scorer for the past 3 seasons.
I know.
That is, what do you mean? I know too. That's not an anomaly. What do you mean? That's not so it's not like SGA is just taking this leap right now. For the past 2-3 years, SGA has been a top 5
God.
isolation
it's been
scorer.
the injury. That's always been the question.
But we can't put SGA above Devin Booker. Like, are we putting
I didn't
him right
say that.
now?
I'm saying, right now he's playing better than the only person comparable to his level of play is Donovan Mitchell. That's the only one. He's
Saying
playing
as a
I
guard
think Book's
or as a
still
2.
cruising though.
as a 2. That's without a doubt.
Book's still the best 2 guard in the league though.
And SGA is the only player out of all these guys that it doesn't matter what role he's in, he thrives in that role. As a rookie, when he was a role player on the Clippers, he was great for them. In his second season, he's in OKC. They get Chris Paul. He's the second option. Everybody thought they wouldn't make the playoffs. They made the playoffs. He was averaging 18 as a second option, only 20 years old. In the playoffs, he had a good playoff series. Now, in his third year, he was averaging 23 plus, and OKC was 16-19 when he played. Last year, he was averaging 24 to 25 a game. Now this year, he's taken a 6-point leap, and this isn't some fluke. He's done this against the best and most high-level defenses in the
I don't
NBA.
think anyone's arguing that it's not a fluke. because it's not. SGA,
So it's not a fluke. Why is it crazy to
you're
say
saying
that
Devin Booker.
Him
Booker has a
I just think
laundry
you're jumping
list.
the gun.
him versus Devin Booker?
It's not a conversation right now.
Why is it not because of
I'm not
accolades?
no, because I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation because of 15 games.
Pound for pound, player versus player, their skill set. It's
Pound for
very
pound, you
comparable.
never would have thought of this until these 15 games.
Yes, because he's taking a leap.
What he's not. He literally hasn't. You literally just admitted he hasn't taken a leap.
like
he just has been doing a little bit
No,
more.
he's
the
more.
same
No,
player.
he's more efficient from 3 this year.
A little bit, yeah, but he's
What do you mean a little
for the
bit?
most
He's shooting
part.
40% for 3.
No, but for the most part, he's still that same dominant paint prince that he's always been. He's still
yes,
that guy
but
that
he's
gets
added,
to the rim.
He's added more to his game, though.
Yeah, a little bit more. He's added the 3 ball to
yes,
the game.
and that little bit more has taken
It's
him.
also-
It's
It's
also
a lot,
less
but he's still one of
It's
the
a
most.
little less
Bro,
He's
John
good
Morant,
at
John
execution.
Morant added a little bit more to his game in the 3-point ball, and that's now put him at a top 5 MVP ladder conversation according to NBA.com.
top 5 MVP.
So
See,
you
but
can
listen,
you
the
can add a
difference
little
is-
bit more.
No, I
if,
agree, but
if
Shea
you're
is-
already
but you
great,
don't-
you
but-
can add that little bit more to the
No,
game,
I'm
and it
not-
makes you
no, but I'm
much
not-
better.
I'm not
And
saying
Shea
that,
also
but
is
you're
averaging
putting him
40 on
over.
3
You're putting him
attempts,
over
less than
people
3
who's done it,
attempts.
bro.
That's intentional.
I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm saying it is 40%. He's 50, 40, 90 right now. Listen, my plan was to come on here and praise SGA.
Yeah, we can praise
That
somebody
was
without
my
putting him in
plan.
a conversation
That's
he's not
it.
in. He's
Right
not.
now, he's in that conversation. He's playing at that conversation. You cannot say he's
15
not.
game, like it's very early. You wouldn't be doing this
And,
about a
and
lot
listen,
of other players.
the question was superstar, correct?
Is he a superstar to you?
A superstar is what? Player that I'd build around, correct?
That's not a. Like, what are we doing here? Is he a top 15 player in the league?
Right now, he is definitely.
Is
It's
he a
not
top 15 player in the league?
Yes,
So
he
he's
is.
officially now marked
Yes, he
jumped into your
is.
top 15.
He's a top
so he
15 player
cannot
in the
drop
league.
out. He's in there.
He's a top 15 player in the
I
league.
bet.
All right, so I actually have this list here of the people I believe are superstars currently in 2022. Luka Doncic,
Easily.
Giannis,
Yep.
Jokic, Curry, Embiid, Tatum, Ja. I would still give KD the benefit of the doubt. I won't name Bron. I won't. So now these are the people in the bubble. These are the people in the bubble. Donovan Mitchell, D Book, Trey, Shea, Zion.
that's his tier. That's
Is that
more than
wrong
fair.
of me? I feel like this is pretty spot on.
If that's his tier, then what's the problem with saying SGA is like Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell?
No, my reason is no. You're
You
saying
just
that
had them in the
he's
same tier.
Wait, who's in the
well,
same
no.
tier?
It's I only have them in that tier because these are people that are on the in the bubble, but they're still a tier in this
And
tier.
all these guys outside of Zion have a track record.
And I'm giving Zion this credit because yes, you can build around him, and on top of that, we still seen what he can do when he's on the court.
Well, Zion
In
doesn't
what
have.
setting?
Zion has no track record.
He has
Same
no
with SGA.
track record.
And
I get the Mitchell part. Mitchell has
27 on
SGA
61%.
No, but I'm saying I get the
And
Mitchell
right
part.
now,
He has-
SGA is on pace to be even better than that
and
year.
Shea
Mitchell has the
I'm
regular
giving-
season and the
I'm-
postseason. Same
yeah,
with
like,
Booker,
SGA
but
has
Zion
been
has
good in the
no
postseason.
track
Am I
record.
coming across like I'm not giving Shea's praise?
No,
I'm
no,
asking.
I'm just saying, like, in terms of like what he's saying is your argument is Mitchell, yes, Mitchell and Booker have the regular
That's it.
season in the playoffs,
They're the two.
but Zion has no track
so
record.
Trey or SGA? Let me ask that.
I'm taking Trey Young.
I'm still taking
Trae Young got
too.
the track record, but right now SGA is playing better. And when I'm projecting in terms of
the
just
first year.
when I'm there's not the first year he's been great.
He's
No,
been-
no,
he's gotten
no.
better,
Wait,
obviously,
hold on.
Not
but-
what I'm
hold up.
saying.
First year he's
Let
been
me-
at
let
this
me-
level.
Yeah.
That's
Hold on,
what
let
I'm
me,
saying.
Let me ask you something. Before this season, SGA or Brandon Ingram?
Before this season,
Yeah.
probably Brandon Ingram.
Why?
I don't think I would put it beyond.
I wouldn't have put BA over SGA before the
Really?
season. I
Really?
would not.
Really?
I would not.
Oh.
Because SGA gives me the
I don't know if he's right.
SGA
I don't
gives
know.
me
I don't
Brandon
know.
Ingram
I
scoring,
just
I
I'm
don't
taking
and
his
he's
word, I
a
guess.
better
I don't know.
playmaker by far.
I feel like most people.
I don't know. I feel like when he had that
name,
playoff
in
run,
all these offseason conversations we've had, SGA's name never even got brought up once on this show.
It really didn't.
Nobody thought he was gonna wait. For
There
one,
it is. That's all you
Wait,
needed
hold
to
on,
say.
Hold up. That's true.
Listen, Riv, yes, you get your credit, and
No,
I
no,
gave
wait,
you
hold
that
up.
acknowledgement.
Riv,
Absolutely.
you did not think SGA was gonna do.
No,
Nobody thought
no
SGA was gonna do
one.
this.
not
So that's what I'm
this.
saying. So to say that you would have taken him over Bi, like, I don't want to hear that.
SGA was a 25 point per game scorer
he
before this
was
season.
fantastic, but
he
the
was
injuries,
what he
since
is
when-
what Bi was, bro. Like him and Bi were like.
and with
what are you talking about?
injuries, which he
I think what
clearly
Bi
was-
did in the postseason, you wouldn't have taken SGA.
No
But
way.
SGA, we never had that conversation when we had all those
The
debates.
conversation was always we have to wait to see him do it in the
Yeah.
And
competitive
Mikal
volume.
Bridges, this lockdown defender, right? What did Bi do to him in the playoffs? He made him look like a child. Throw some respect on Bi's
Little
name.
early.
This
SGA
is credit to
and
SGA.
BI
Yes, Shea's
SGA
playing
and Bi
better.
have been in the same tier for the past 2-3 years, bro.
Okay, but coming into this year, you're telling me straight faced you're taking SGA. You're flat out lying to me.
I would have taken SGA because
You're
he
flat out
offers me
lying
the
to me.
playmaking aspect.
I don't know.
He offers me the playmaking
Yeah, I can
aspect.
play make too.
But not like SGA. We know that.
I don't know. After the postseason run, I think people were pretty high on BI, bro. I don't know.
Yes, but they're in the same tier. They were never. It was
I just
never
never remember SGA's name being brought up in these conversations.
because nobody talks about OKC. We thought they were going to be a bottom dweller.
Before this year, what was SGA? Top 30 player in the NBA?
Definitely.
BI was top 25, borderline top 20.
Yeah.
But
He
that's the
was closer
same.
to
That's the
20.
same tier though.
In a sense, yeah.
And you could have had
But we
SGA in
still
the top
had
25 too.
BI over him.
I think BI was closer to the top 20 than SGA. I don't think there was no argument for SGA being in the top 20. It was legit discussions after the postseason on what BI done. He was getting talked about being a top 20 player. That's
When you watch SGA for the past 2 years, it's quite literally.
I agree with
he
you.
has been great to elite.
I agree.
It's just the roster, and they have to
And
stash
he's been
him.
hurt.
injuries.
I agree.
They have to stat. There was not. He's also been hurt, but it's been more of we don't want you to play because they wanted to tank. This year, he's taken a massive leap that puts him in that conversation with those other players. There's no doubt about it. He's in that conversation.
I just want him to do it for the whole year. Not this, but around this. I just want to see him do it for the whole year.
32.
Yeah, this is probably
unsafe,
not.
but he could definitely average 27 plus for the year.
I want to see it. I
And
do
in
wanna
20,
see it.
Devin Booker has always been a 26 point per game scorer for his career. D. Mitch has been 26 to 28.
It's the playoff aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
but SGA was good in the playoffs when he was there his first time.
He wasn't them.
Yeah, because he was second option. He was 20 years old at that point.
He wasn't them.
Yeah, but he averaged 18 a game in the playoffs.
Whatever you can, it doesn't matter what you can say. He wasn't them.
Yes, but people projected Devin Booker to be great in the playoffs before his first playoffs.
Yeah,
He was.
There is nothing that Yeah, I know. I projected him to be that. There is
So
no.
did a lot of
there,
other people.
there
It's
is
not like
there is nothing that
groundbreaking
tells
shit.
me SGA would not do this in a
I
playoff
agree with
setting.
you, but we have to see it though. We just
We
have
do.
to see it. That's all. I agree with you. I think he'll be fine in the playoffs.
Facts.
We have to see it.
Yeah, but right now he's playing at a superstar level. There's no doubt.
He's playing
He
at a
averaged
superstar
16
level,
in the
but that
playoffs.
doesn't make you a superstar off
He
the
was
rip.
18. He averaged
He's on-
16.
That's a drop off from his regular season.
Yeah, he averaged 18 in the playoffs.
We could agree that he's
43%
on
from the
pace to
field.
become a superstar, but we're not going to call him a superstar right now.
Nobody's saying he's a superstar right now.
Did you not just say that?
I said he's playing at a superstar level. That's
the question
exactly what I said.
Semantics
What's
that
the-
ass
so
are
is he-
insane.
What do you
question?
mean?
Isn't the question is SGA a superstar?
He's definitely somebody that I'd build around. I said he named superstars, and I said if he's in that Trae Young, Devin Booker tier, then how do you have Zion in that tier and he hasn't proven more than SGA?
He's last on this list.
Some respect on Zion.
Zion's
gonna say that.
Zion needs his respect, but he
27 a
last
game.
Yeah,
on 61%.
I think Zion can be a superstar level player. There's no doubt. But SGA right now has done more than Zion to make you more confident in SGA.
In
also
15
injuries,
games, yes. I'll shake your
Zion's
hand right
full
now.
season was better than
That's not
this
even a
season of
question.
Shea is better than what Zion's full season was, but any of Shea's full seasons before this aren't as good as
Correct.
what Zion did.
No,
Yeah.
that's 100% true. But also with Zion, what doesn't worry
The
me
health.
that much, but just it is the health, but it's more so this. It's more so his fit within a team. Right now, he cannot play with Jonas. You have to have a certain type of center to play with him. You can see that him and BI haven't really found the right groove and click. CJ is struggling because when they're trying to have
He's found himself.
Zion in
I
the
feel you.
offense, it's tougher. So Zion's also a tougher fit, and maybe some of that is Stan Van Gundy had that point Zion philosophy. Willie Green is clearly not buying into that. So SGA can go on more teams, and it's easier to build around SGA than it is around Zion.
Yeah, I mean, guard.
We got to see it.
I was going to say, and this is not a slight to SJ, because he's clearly not the reason OKC hasn't made the playoffs. They have their
When he
ways to go.
plays,
We're
they're as
smoking these
competitive
guys.
as ever.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a smoking.
We had
But
67 and a half.
CJ and BI are both playing well. I'm just looking to see if
I saw
Zion-
Jalen.
And SGA players, they're as competitive as most teams in the league. So
Oh,
They
Zion
can. They
didn't
can.
play
I mean, they
today.
give it to any team in the league when he plays. They gave it to Boston.
Well, what you mean?
SGA.
Gave it to us.
Yeah, they gave it to you.
Why?
They gave it to you rough and hard.
Did we take it or did they give it to us?
Y'all took it in.
Spit that shit out. Got the belt.
All right, is this how we're going to end the show?
Yeah, they took it in hard. Respect SGA and Thunder. And I can't believe you're not hyping SGA like this.
no, I just
Riv,
think
Riv
you're-
doesn't overreact.
You're an
Riv is very
overreactor.
level
No,
headed.
he does. No, you overreact a lot.
and-
No,
Am I
I
co-
overreact about stuff with actual
Yo,
evidence.
Wes,
You're
am I
really-
coming
you're
across
bad.
You do
as
have
a SGA hater?
evidence with
I'm
this.
just
There is
curious.
no real evidence.
No, not at all.
Okay,
Not at all.
I'm just
I see your
making
point.
All right, thank you. That's all I'm wondering.
You have to chill.
Why? Because SGA is taking a legit leap, and I'm proud of him.
This is what you're doing. Look what you're
I
doing.
bought a product because she proud of me.
I'm proud of him. You're not proud of him, bro.
No, you're just a bandwagon.
Wait. Okay, OKC in his second season.
You're about to jump on SGA. You have not spoken
He has
a single
He has.
word
Yes,
that was
yes,
my
yes,
issue.
yes.
That was
on
my issue,
Twitter,
bro.
on Instagram.
Yo, I would have taken him over B.I.
There was literally
He's never said that, though.
there was an Instagram post of me posting SGA highlights. I have them on my lock screen.
firm.
I'm
You're
a
in.
firm.
You don't
You
have
have
to
not.
convince
You're a
us.
giddy guy. You have never been an SGA guy. And now that he's playing at an amazing level, which us SGA
was
fans
gonna
love
take him
to
over
see,
at BI.
now all of a sudden I've been on
That's
SGA.
not
stand.
crazy, bro.
No. What was
What
crazy?
do you think BI is?
The issue is
What
that
do
you
you
said
think
to me
BI is, the
that
question?
you
SGA tier
coming
before the
in,
season.
coming in, you would have taken him over BI.
Yes.
I've never heard you utter a thing like that.
You never
Ever.
asked it. Did you ever ask it? Am I just gonna come on the show and say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna take
Have
SGA
you,
over BI"?
no, because you guys apparently text on basketball on the side. Relatively.
No, SGA
Has he
does not get
ever
brought
up
up. No,
SGA?
no,
that those
no.
two
Have I ever
letters?
brought up Brandon Ingram?
No.
We don't, bro.
But we talk about Brandon Ingram on the show.
When Riv and I talk basketball through text, we talk about college players. That's what we talk about.
When we talked
We don't
about
talk about
BI,
NBA
how many times have we talked about BI on this show, especially in this offseason?
bro,
On
we
the plane.
talked about him in the lens compared to Brown and Tatum. We never have talked.
Exactly.
When we did a would you rather on
Exactly.
BI, it wasn't an SGA
That's
one,
a
bro.
credit to BI. We never did it with the SGA.
Is
because
SGA still?
No, but we
wait,
knew-
is
we knew
Jalen Green
BI was
still over
never
SGA?
Huh?
Is Jalen Green still over SGA?
Jalen Green,
Yeah. Is Jalen Green still over SGA?
on.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
potential wise,
Yeah, I know.
SGA is like. I mean, Jalen Green's like that.
Yeah.
It's done.
What do you
It's
mean?
done.
That's how you cut it.
Jalen Green's like that, bro.
This tweet was April
Back it up,
15th,
Joel.
2022.
Wrap it the
Right
hell
to
up.
the
Keep
end
on
of
the
this.
show.
That's exactly
Can we
how
add
he's
context to
comparing
that?
SGA
Fuck the
to
context.
Jalen
It's
fucking
over.
Green.
It's
That's
over.
what he's doing.
Bro,
It's
hold up.
Hey.
Can you read the entire tweet, please?
It's a hot take.
No. Can you read
If
the
we're
tweet?
projecting, which is you included, Jalen Green is over SGA in the 25 and the 25 players list.
If we're projecting, yes,
So you think
I still think Jalen Green could be a superstar, bro.
So he's gonna be better than
He's
SGA.
not. Jalen Green's not.
could.
He's not.
Bro,
Hey,
Jalen
look,
Green in
look,
the second
look,
season
look,
has been
look,
amazing.
Look. This is
Jalen Green's in his second year, bro.
this is
Can we allow the guy to grow?
Please.
But SGA is playing at an MVP
gonna
level.
make
This is his
You're gonna
fifth
make me so
season.
sad.
But I know, but
He
still,
doesn't talk about
MVP
SGA, so
level
it's
is
nothing to
literally
find.
top 5 in the
Exactly.
league.
Bro, how about you find this? When SGA got traded to the Thunder, did you have the Thunder making the playoffs with Chris Paul? You did not.
I did not.
I
That
had them
doesn't
making the
mean
playoffs.
that has nothing to do with
I
SGA.
had them making the
That has nothing
playoffs.
to
I had them making the playoffs.
That's like a 3-year-old take.
No, it's not. I mean, it was a right take because I like
I know,
SGA.
but bro, it's
What are you
not-
talking
You
about?
didn't do that because you like that shit.
Yes, I
You like
did.
Chris
What are we
Paul.
talking about?
And I said the roster was very good. It's getting slept on because SGA was on the roster. I was very high on SGA, bro. With the Clippers, I was very high on him. What are you talking about?
End the show, please.
Y'all are bugging.
End it.
We're bugging.
And
First
we're
things
projecting
first.
still. Jalen Green is like that. Second year is averaging 20 plus. What are we talking about?
SGA
Listen.
is playing at a top 5 level right now.
Yes, but I said if we're projecting 25 under 25, I'd have Jalen Green over SGA. I
Okay,
never said
Jalen Green has to be top
obviously,
5
right,
at some point.
SGA or LaMelo?
SGA.
Really? Sure. Like
Yes.
you want to die on this? You want to die on this hill right here?
Right now it's SGA.
Oh, now you're
Wait,
changing
are you
it.
talking about 25 under 25?
SGA, right? SGA or LaMelo? No, you said last year you put him in a Brandon Ingram tier.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
No,
sure you didn't have
coming
LaMelo
into
next
the
year. You had him
season,
under.
I would've
So I'm
been
asking you
SGA
right
over
now,
Brandon.
and you felt like
Yo, we got
and
to
you
clean up
felt
Twitter.
like
Caught
We
you.
gotta
We
clean up
caught
Twitter.
you at
Dehls, he
4K.
felt like SGA was going to go on the trajectory. So I'm asking you right now.
Yo, answer.
SGA
be
or
smart.
LaMelo?
Yeah, I
Be
know I don't
smart.
take my Twitter seriously.
There's always a cop out.
SGA or Garland?
Last year was Garland.
No. Right now.
Right now it's SGA.
So you're
clear.
changing it. But you felt like SGA was on this trajectory for 3 years. This is what you felt like.
No, I never said that.
You just said that.
Bro, we just said that nobody thought SGA was doing this.
No, not this. This is an historical. But I'm saying you thought SGA was on this projection.
On an
for 2 or
all-star
3 years,
projection,
and you
there's
can
no
build
doubt.
the team around. So
Yeah.
I'm asking you, SGA or Darius Garland?
Right now it's SGA. At the time I tweeted, it was Darius Garland.
SGA or Cade?
Cade future, yeah.
Okay, so that's the only one you stand it on. Okay, understandable. That's
see
the only
this.
one.
Wait,
me see
did I
this.
not stand on Jalen Green? I stand on Jalen Green.
So you think Jalen Green could do this?
Yeah, I do think it's in his future.
End the show.
Maybe.
First things first.
It's-
Wes,
Jalen Green can't do this?
Wes, I really want to thank you for
This is
taking your
Michael
time
Jordan
out.
like.
The
Yeah,
fact
appreciate
that
it,
you
bro.
were able
Nah, I
to stick
appreciate it.
around with us for
Three-
what?
3 hours is crazy.
3 hours and 26
3 and a
minutes.
half hours.
Wes, before we go, I always like to do this. Is there anything that you want to shout out before going, man?
Just the YouTube channel, I guess. 6 Man.
There you
That's
go.
where you can find me.
There you
That's
go.
pretty much it.
We'll have that link in the
Yeah.
description 100%. But, dude, we appreciate you. All
Sweet.
right.
Thank you guys for listening or watching. You could follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast, on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod, and follow my account at Joel V. Moran. And let's go through my SGA tweets. Let's find them. Let's see what comes up, because I stand on what I say. There's no doubt.
I'm sorry, Joel. Follow Joel V. Moran. Follow my boy Joel Dehls. Get him to 2K. Follow my boy Durag Riv. Follow your boy Handrew 5A's. And Wes, what's your Twitter, man? Do you have a Twitter?
Yeah, 6 man. I think
6 man.
Yeah,
There
6
it
man.
is.
And follow the Joel Moran
brand.
podcast.
That's
Thank
a
you,
brand.
bro.
That's a
Joel Moran
fact.
podcast.
Follow
Thank you.
the Joel Moran podcast. He just had John Tortorelli, our editor, on his most recent. I'm pretty sure that was your most recent.
Yes.
Give that a tune in for sure. Listen, how many? 3 hours?
In 27
It
minutes.
felt like it, but it was a great show.
That's crazy.
Thank you guys for listening or watching. We'll see you next time.